coming right there.
There might not be, but see.
Oh, we're live.
We're live, and we're live.
That's
Hey,
right.
gents, welcome to Tactical Jackassery. I am here with Chris Weatherman,
That's
a.k.a. Angry American. I know this is not how we usually do our pandemic live
This
streams.
is exactly how I usually do mine.
However, those of you that don't know, I brought the whole Tactical Rifleman team down to Palatka, Florida. Why Palatka, Florida? Well, that is the home of the round canopy parachuting team.
Yes.
And it's been on mine and my son's bucket list to actually jump together the airborne way. So I brought my son down here and the whole TR crew, and they even had me go back through Jump Master Refresher, but then I got to take my son through airborne school, and we've been jumping. We've been jumping a lot. My son even broke his cherry with that sixth jump. We jumped out of a C-47. It's actually the Tycho Bell, and it's one of the old C-47s.
He did it like a boss too.
Yeah.
He did it like a boss when he got out on that sixth jump.
I pulled a couple strings.
Yes,
right?
he did.
Nice being a social media influencer sometimes.
Yeah.
I got Chris up in the plane with us.
He didn't jump though.
He actually got to record. Well, I got to be primary jump master, putting my son and then Chad, and then it was Emery and Leaf LeBlanc,
Gwen,
and a couple other guys. Yeah, Gwen, little Mike Gwen, a bunch of the other TR guys, everybody except for Jerry, because Jackass tried to do a stand-up landing with a locked knee and he fractured his femur. But other than that, we had a great time. But that brought us down here. There's no way we could come down to this part of Florida without stopping in with one of my favorite authors. I started reading his books a decade ago.
it's been
you guys know I try to stay up on, to be a subject matter expert on something, you have to admit that you don't know everything. So you're always wanting to learn from other people. You can learn a lot of stuff from professionally done fictional novels, and especially certain artists, certain authors will actually dig deep into the details. I found a guy that'll do that with the series. It's basically the Home series.
Yep.
And it's this guy named A. American. A. American. Little did I know I was going to end up meeting this guy. So before I get into that, I want to thank our sponsors, our usual sponsors that we do on Tuesdays. You know, we didn't do one Tuesday night. We're busy jumping, gents. We had a great time, but they are loyal supporters of ours. So Sportsman's Guide, EDC Coffee, who else we usually have? Global Ordnance, Big Daddy Unlimited, all those guys.
And we're repping Survival Dispatch for being
Survival Dispatch, Safe Life Defense. Another one is Nutrient Survival. Have you seen any of this stuff yet?
I haven't seen that one.
Nutrient Survival. You know the number 10 cans. You just lost 100,000 cans in the fire. But there's certain Mountain House and all these other brands that make freeze-dried survival food, good for 25 years.
Yep.
Okay, there's a bunch of companies like that.
Yep.
Nutrient Survival, and I just met these guys. They said, okay, but instead of it, it's got to taste good or nobody's going to eat it.
That's right.
But why does it have to be just empty calories? They actually decided, hey, we want to target like your professional athletes, your special ops guys going up on the mountains.
Oh, so they're making real food.
They're making real food. Nutrient Survival. It's not just, and you get the calories, you get everything. It's top quality stuff, but if you're going to put the calories in, let's give you, because if you're eating survival food, you're in a survival situation. Why would you not want to have literally the best food that you can put into that machine? That's important to me because I like, and granted, I'm a fag now. I'm a former action guy. I'm not taking my sniper team up onto the mountain, but I still like doing eco challenges and what we call man-exes, going out and doing manly exercises. So I want to be putting into my body the same food that our special ops guys want to make them the best performers. And that's when I started looking at what these guys are putting in there, it's all this amino acids, nutrients, vitamins, all kinds.
The calorie count too, and most of the average freeze-dried food stuff, they'll tell you, oh, this is a 1 month supply for one person. When you look at the calorie count, you break it down, they're giving you like 1,800 calories a day.
Yeah.
And the book I just
enough.
did, Decline and Decay, I broke that
Not
down. The average male, whatever the hell that is,
Yep.
who's hiking the Appalachian Trail carrying a pack that weighs between 25 and 42 pounds, will burn over 5,000 calories
Exactly.
a day. So that's just hiking. If you're in a survival situation where you're doing heavy physical labor, you're going to
Catching
be burning,
roofs, things like that.
chopping
Oh, yeah.
wood,
Oh,
hauling
yeah.
water, doing all the
Nutrient
things you
dense
do.
food.
So I'm going to check
Yeah.
these guys out. I'm going to look into it because I
Yeah.
need to replace my food supply.
You,
so.
that you do. But if you do, you make sure you use
I'll
code
use your- I'll use
TR10.
your- I will
Save
use
yourself-
TR10.
Save yourself 10%. Good stuff.
I need to save every
All
penny I
right,
can right now.
No, hey, if you, a lot of you are like, I cannot believe Carl actually got Chris Weatherman, Angry American.
I can't believe
on the
Carl's
live stream.
here.
Hear this shit?
No, but
You
here-
believe this shit?
But for the rest of y'all that do not know who Chris is, I didn't know either. Right? All I know was I read this whole series of books, and I've got them all on Audible also, because you're taking long road trips. As long as you turn it off before you get into heavy traffic, but audiobooks are a great way for you to continue your education instead of just wasting time listening to the same pop crap over and over again.
Yeah.
Right. So I've listened to all this stuff, and 2 years ago, me and the Chadster, we went to. Chad's here, guys.
Walking back and forth in front of the camera.
He's making the magic happen.
Was it the Chad?
Merle, move your ass.
Just
Hey,
look
Merle,
at
come
it.
here.
Come on.
Get you, old bastard.
Merle.
Come on, buddy.
Come
Come
on.
We
here.
got to move the dog.
Come here.
So-
Come on.
I'm sorry,
No, no,
Merle.
this way.
Chad's
I
here
like you more
working.
than people.
We went to Big Daddy Unlimited Epic Shoot, and I got to meet some great guys.
More than people.
This guy gets introduced me. Hey, I'm Mr. Guns and Gear. Okay, I'm Mike, Mr. Guns and Gear. I'm like, okay, he's got Chris. Chad's like, yeah, he's got a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
The YouTube
I meet
channel,
another
yeah.
guy. Hi, I'm Scott. I'm Kentucky Ballistics.
Right.
And I'm like,
Nice guy.
Yeah, great. I didn't know he was
Pretty.
pretty.
and Chad's like, yeah, he's got a YouTube channel.
He's very handsome.
And you got to remember, I don't watch YouTube.
Me neither.
I don't watch other gun channels. If I'm watching YouTube, it's because I want a video on how to clean my espresso machine. That's about it.
My espresso machine.
Or
How to layer your product.
Literally, right? I'm not putting it down. I'm just saying I don't want to be watching other people's stuff, and you guys say, "Well, shit, you just copied."
So and so just did that.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just copied such and such guy, and he did it better than you. And Chad says that sometimes. He says, Carl, it was an okay video, but these other three guys all did it better than you, and that's fine.
I never said that
I'm not
anybody
trying to
did better.
compete against anybody. But one of the other guys I met was this guy that looked like ZZ Top, and
Gandalf. Really.
they got I'm
Justin Duke
Chris
had
Weatherman, Angry American. I'm like, okay, I'm assuming he's got a YouTube channel. Everybody else, the other
really.
9 guys all got YouTube. Then it wasn't a big deal because I was drinking from a fire hose. He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Well, come back the next year. We came back
Yeah,
again.
that was 2 years ago.
2 years. Yep.
And then we do it again this year, last year.
We did it again
year,
this
yeah.
past fall,
Yep.
literally like 2 days before deer season. Me and Emery barely made it back in time. And it was the first dinner, the first night.
Yeah.
And one of the other members is ZZ Top, Donnie. Donnie comes walking up. I'm in line to
Don's
get
a
chow.
fan.
And this guy's just lock eyes with me like I got a dick growing out of my forehead. And he just locked eyes. He's just
Little
staring
background
at me.
music.
He's sitting at a table. He's got the whole ZZ Top crew there. He's got this trophy wife sitting between them, and they're all like just staring at me like I've done something wrong. I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, so I'm not gonna do a press check, all right? But I make sure that
I'm not gonna do a press check.
right? And I double check my spider
I would've
code, make
laughed
sure
my ass
where it's
off.
on, right? And one of them gets up and walks over to him and he goes, "Hey." I'm like, hey, Carl, it's Donnie. I'm like, hey, nice to meet you. He's like, I know who you are. And we were talking. Donnie's actually your patron.
Yeah.
He's actually
Fucking- he's the only Patreon in all of YouTube that I was a part of because I saw his videos and I train all the time. I'm like, this guy knows his shit.
He's not even my
and-
fucking
and
patron.
I'm not. Fuck that. but sorry, did I say that? But I mean, I saw Carl's videos. I'm like,
He has bad words.
this guy gets it. Hell yeah.
Bad words.
So-
And-
Say fuck.
Okay.
So I'm like, that's cool. I get my food. He's like, hey, you can sit at our table. There's like a 8-seat table, and they've only got 5 filled up. And so cool. I'm getting a chance to actually hang with one of my patrons. You guys know if you're a member of our Patreon family, and we are a family. We do Zoom live streams and everything. I've had a bunch of patrons come down and actually parachute with us. One of them actually broke his femur.
Little bit.
But so I love meeting my patrons. I love meeting you guys. Susan, everybody out there, my patrons, you guys know I love you. So I came sit at his table, and he's like, I'm terrible with names, so I had to ask poor Donnie his name again. He's like, yeah, I'm Donnie. I can't believe you forgot my name already. And then he leans over and he's like, and this is Chris Weatherman, Angry American. He writes survival series.
Post-apocalyptic
Yeah,
books.
post-apocalyptic books is how you said it. And Chris goes, yeah, I met Carl last year. I know Carl. And
Well, I didn't even know
He
you were.
did.
I didn't know you were technical rifleman at the time. I didn't even know either. I had no fucking idea. Carl's cool. I like him.
at the same time, he said,
Dude, he's a
I
cool
know
dude.
Carl. It clicked in my head, that last prepositional phrase. He writes post-apocalyptic novels, and I'm looking at it, it's like Angry American novels, Angry American novels, American
American.
novels. I'm like, motherfucker, you're American. And he goes, yeah, I'm American. I'm like, oh.
He's like, I love your
I'm like,
books. I was like, cool.
so
I'm like,
I-
you remember we met last year?
Yeah, yeah. He's like, yeah. Hello.
Carl
we
gets
met
a little
last year.
punchy from time to time.
We were all a little punchy that evening.
Old age.
Oh shit!
But that was
what
the
it
cool
is, old
thing,
age?
because I mean, I'd met you the first year. We were cool. Just hung out for somebody fun.
Just hung out.
Because I'm not the kind of person I walk around going, oh, I'm a big time writer, and I'm.
Yeah,
this is my-"
exactly.
I seldom even use Angry American. I tell people my name, and they're like, oh, what do you do? I'm like, yeah, I.
Kind of funny about it.
I drive a
really.
truck.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
He's
No, I
awkward
tell
about
people
it.
I'm a storyteller. They're like, how do you make money at that? I'm like, you'd be surprised. So, I don't like saying I'm an author or some shit like that. It's not me.
Well, you gotta
I'm a-
say that with an English accent. I'm an author.
Well, I don't have the
author.
jacket with the
No,
elbow
British.
patches and
That's
shit.
British.
The
He's
tweed
British.
jacket with the elbow patches. I
Yeah,
don't have
exactly.
one, so I can't.
Well,
be
that's a
an author.
professor. You're okay.
Oh.
You gotta say British.
British, yeah, the
You
British.
know why
British.
there's no T in British?
Why is that?
Because we poured all that tea in.
You poured all that tea. You
Oh,
cheeky
sorry.
bastard, you.
Those of you in Britain, we apologize. Not really.
Not really.
Not really. You understand? Not really.
Hey, should have
Not
tried
really.
harder.
We love
let
you
me tell
guys. We do. No, seriously.
Just not so much.
During the global war on terror, everything else, the British, the Kiwis, the Aussies have always been there supporting the U.S. Their soft guys are awesome. Canadians are usually there. You know, they're our little brother from the
So
north.
you've worked with Kiwis before?
I've worked with Kiwis.
I want to give a big
Aussies,
shout out to the Kiwis because I had a boy over there send me a huge box of their MREs. The Kiwis eat way better than our guys.
Way better
do.
than us.
Way better
That's
than
why
our
they're
guys,
like
dude.
this big.
They're enormous.
Yeah.
He sent me this massive. He's like, "There's some things I have to take out." I'm like what? Like, if you got to take it out because you can't ship it, I want it really fucking bad.
Right. That's
Leave it
what
in the
I
box. Whatever you can't send me, that's what I
I
want.
want.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
Well, the ones for the hobbits, though, are very small.
Yeah,
The hobbits,
the Hobbit
they're little.
people, yeah.
They're tiny.
The
Oh,
little ones.
now the British, their military, they don't eat good, dude. I'm not.
The
bad.
British civilians don't eat
don't
good.
eat good.
They're like
You like some spot dick,
I'm
Carl?
looking at this British MRE and it says blood sausage.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, let's move to the next
Spotted
one. I get
dick.
the next one. And
Yeah,
it's
did
like
they serve that once?
shepherd pie.
Spotted dick.
Did they serve the blood sausage
It's
once a month?
shepherd pie. How do you get a shepherd pie
Into an MRE bag?
Into an MRE bag.
Oh my God.
It can't be any worse than some of the beef slice and barbecue sauce, some of the crap I grew up on. So,
Oh,
guys,
the
I'm not
omelet
a-
with ham? The
Yeah, oh,
original
yeah.
brown
Oh,
bag
yeah,
omelet with
yeah.
ham,
Oh my
dude?
God.
Dark brown
So, guys,
sugar
I'm not bashing anybody's.
No, we're not. We're just
Because
comparing notes
some
with
of the
the horrors.
Americans.
We're not bashing
We've got some
anybody.
bad
Your food
MRE
sucks.
levels.
You can't shoot worth the
Oh
shit.
my God.
Other than that,
Some of our MREs are terrible.
But the French and Italians both get wine, and we don't.
British,
Yeah, that's why they win wars.
That's why they
Do the-
can't
do the
win
French-
wars. I know.
Oh, can't.
Can't. Yeah, they're all drunk.
do the French wine or get wine?
They get wine.
They don't want. Okay.
They get
So
wine.
do the Italians.
The Italians and the French both get wine.
One of our mediators, Susan Britcher, she sent me a text. Susan, thank you very much. I will take care of it.
Are we being
anyway.
naughty?
No, it's our. I actually, for those of you that don't know, we have moderators that are around the planet. We have Susan Britcher, JT, a couple other guys, Chem Student. You guys know I love my moderators. But first and foremost, most important guy on the team here is the Chadster. Sorry, he can't sit here. He's literally back there, got computers. So he brought all this stuff down in his pickup truck to set it all up, lighting and
Yeah,
everything.
he set up a studio in this garden shed.
Do you understand? We are in Chris's. This is his little fire pit inside his wife's
This
little garden.
playpen. This is
This
Mel's
is a she
playpen.
shed.
Yeah,
this
this
is the
is
manly man in the she shed.
we call this Mel's playpen.
The she shed.
And
Mel's
she shed.
playpen.
We're doing a live. Mel did one live from here one time that we had to take off the internet.
I don't doubt that.
Really?
for a
Why?
second.
Her and her drunk friend Aaron were out
See
here.
that? You and Emery, you got something in common with her. We did a live stream with Emery, and it had to be taken off the
I
internet.
did a couple with Alan Kay that we had to
Did
scrub
Vivid
too.
pick that up?
Oh,
It's okay. It's
Did
okay.
Vivid
That's
pick
why
that
we
up?
don't drink
Vivid?
on live
Vivid.
streams.
We don't.
that's a no. We
No,
don't.
we don't.
We're
Oh.
not allowed to drink on
Oh,
live
okay.
stream.
This is apple juice, and
Yeah.
that's Gatorade.
Actually, it's Kentucky Bourbon Barrel Ale, and it's really freaking.
That
good.
is good.
This is tea. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, guys, I don't have the TV screens up, so I can't see the scrolling chat and stuff. However, my son is in there. He's supposed to be keeping track on the chat window. Chad's supposed to be keeping track on the chat window. So if you guys have any questions, this is not going to be your usual live stream. We are going to. I've got 2 goals for tonight. 2.
One to get
Because if I
drunk.
go like that, that means
30
seconds! We had fun at jump school, guys. All right, so I have 2 goals for tonight. One, give the opportunity to visit with Angry American and his team, Donnie and the whole crew. Great people here. But the other thing is I just want to visit with Donnie. So Donnie, visit with Chris.
That's right.
So I'm giving you guys an opportunity to hang out with the full understanding that our Google moderator, who's also in the
house.
in the chat window, along with the NSA and ATF, so that you guys
Hi.
gotta watch what you're texting. That,
Oh, I can guarantee
our
you
Google
those-
moderator will probably shut us down in an hour, which is good because guys, I'm tired.
Because we're gonna be drunk.
Yeah.
I mean,
no.
You might be. I'm drinking tea.
It all depends because
right.
if the Google moderator happens to like go upstairs, 'cause, he lives in his mom's basement. If he goes upstairs to get some hot pockets,
To get
or
some more
something,
Cheetos?
yeah, we can
We're
get
gonna have
away
to
with
shut it
pretty
down
well
too.
anything. But if he's here,
Me, fucking ready.
I can guarantee you the Alphabet Soup boys are around because they always are.
What boys?
Alphabet Soup.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
oh yeah, they watch all my lives.
Oh yeah, we appreciate those guys too.
Oh yeah.
All right, so guys, Jerry J came and jumped with us, along with Leaf LeBlanc, Neil, Chris, all you guys. We made a lot of great friends at this course. Jerry J, I know you're sitting in your hospital bed right now. I actually went and visited. That's why it was 3 hours late.
Yeah, that's fine.
I
You
was
weren't
3
late.
hours-
You're like me. Whenever you show up, that's exactly when you're supposed to be there,
you know,
baby.
me,
how I operate.
my viewers know I'm plus or minus 30 seconds or not at all.
No, my
But I
viewers
did
say
call.
Angry Standard Time.
my viewers say I operate on Angry Standard Time, which is a separate time zone in a different dimension.
Angry
This bitch will be late to his own funeral.
I'm gonna have
He
to use
never
that.
in time.
I'm never on fucking time.
Angry
Not
Standard
ever.
Angry Standard Time.
That's my time zone.
Angry
I like
Standard
that.
Time.
I like that. That adopted.
Did you pick up my hat, Carl?
No.
Well,
What's it look like?
What are you
I
looking
stole
for?
it.
like his, but it's got a.
I wanted-
red,
Well, it's
white,
like
blue
this
flag.
big around.
Red, white, and blue. We'll find it, Chad.
Yeah.
Chad, we're
I
supposed
wanted
to be
one,
doing
Chad.
Chad,
Sorry.
we're supposed to be doing
Aren't
a
you
live
supposed to be
stream.
at work?
We're supposed to be doing a live stream, and he's looking for his hat.
Yeah,
Man,
get
be
one.
professional, Chad.
Chad,
Nothing
Christ's sakes,
about
man.
this show is professional.
Come on, man.
Chad, you're supposed.
They want to know what's better, 6.5 Creedmoor 308.
That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Nick.
Oh,
Asking the
shit.
important
Nick,
questions.
Nick, type in the window
You don't have to type
don't
it.
have
Just
to.
say it.
STFU.
STFU!
STFU. Just type it in, hit enter, and you're good.
Don't type it in.
All right?
It
STFU!
ain't worth it.
I see you treat your patrons and viewers like I do mine.
These aren't patrons. I got some
Oh, this is YouTube.
jackasses. In
No,
there.
no, that was
actually,
definitely a
that is
patron.
a patron.
That's right, this is you too.
Chemistry student, you know better than that, brother.
Was it chemistry?
I'm
Yeah,
gonna.
it's chemistry.
Yeah, I used to call them I used to call mine on the lives. I'd call them window lickers and paste eaters
Oh,
and
shit.
short bus riders with hockey helmets and shit.
Oh, yeah.
I abuse the piss out of
They're
them.
the only ones that can understand.
But I
your
love every one of them.
Okay, but you understand that's why I have more patrons than you. Remember, I started
Cater
this
to the
off with,
people.
remember, I love my patrons, okay? And you're over here, fucking window licker.
Yeah, I did. I was
Those son of a bitches.
Take that football helmet off and you can hear me
That was
better.
the night you got
I'll
hacked.
tell them. I'll be like, get your hockey helmet and drill cup before you get on a short bus, you bunch of idiots.
That was the night you got hacked.
That was a night. Oh, yeah, we got, yeah.
All right,
that
so
happened.
I just finished, not your new book, brother, not your new
No,
book.
I got one of those for you, too. I want you to read that.
I just finished. What was the one where they start in Atlanta and they make it?
Cry Havoc.
Cry Havoc.
Havoc.
It's a new series. It's trust me, he completely wore out the home series. He went to the end of
he
that
ain't wore it all out
He
yet,
went,
dude.
He
another
brought
one coming.
Russian Spetsnaz.
He's riding that shit like a giant wave.
I loved every minute of it.
They're not done yet.
Old Sarge.
Yeah, do you like the airstrike on the old auto auction? The B1s go over and start dropping shit on them. Oh yeah, I love that.
You bringing another book?
I got another book coming
Book
out,
11.
and all that Russian hardware gets to come up to the surface. A bunch of cornets and things like that get used, and
Nice.
it's gonna be
Chris,
sweet.
Awesome.
Where the fuck is book 11?
Yo, fuck you. Whoever asked these patrons again, fuck you.
They follow you,
viewers,
you son of a bitch.
yeah, viewers.
They followed him.
All right,
I
so
told you they would.
Cry Havoc is
One day.
it doesn't start off the way Home does.
No,
it is
not
a
at all.
completely different story. Anyways, I can tell you thought Hillary was going to win that
Yes,
election.
I
when you
did.
first-
I had to go back and try to rewrite some of that shit, and I kind of missed a piece.
No.
I left the reference in. I'm like,
Anyways, it's a great book, guys. And here's the deal. It's not just fiction, all right? It's not The Walking Dead where you're using fucking crossbows. Really,
No.
come on, grow the fuck up.
No.
All right. The cool part though is
What's wrong with Crawford?
Chris is a legitimate survival instructor. He does his research. He makes sure he is subject matter expert on what he's writing about.
That's right.
And he gears the stories to allow him to deliver little tidbits of information by using little vignettes in the story that they add meat to the story, but
Well, he
you know,
surrounds
like
himself
him
with
making
badasses.
mush for the
the fried
little
mush,
girl.
the fried mush,
fried mush.
like the chicken bucket feeder, you know, the gut bucket feeder. There's one behind my barn.
How
right
to
now.
make your own Berkey water
Filters.
own Berkey water filters.
He surrounds himself with badasses.
I like to call
Like an entourage.
I like to call the stuff faction, not fiction.
Faction, not,
'Cause there's-
that's good. That's good.
Because there's a lot of fact in it. I use
Yes.
real. Every location in my book is a real fucking place.
Yeah.
Everything.
I just drove half those roads.
Yeah, I know you
coming
did.
down
Yeah,
here.
you came all the way
I'm
down
like,
19.
I'm like, holy shit, dude, that motherfucker was walking down the side of
isn't
this
that
road.
cool?
Oh, the other
I'm
day
on-
when we were
I'm
driving
on
down
a
here,
historic road
he was
right
giving
now.
me the whole run. Oh, this road.
People drive from all over the country just to drive around this
Yeah.
shithole redneck place
Yeah, they do.
and see the road.
And I tried to get this little shithole town, the city manager, to help to work with me to do some stuff, and she wouldn't even return my phone
You know,
call.
there's another.
What?
And
You
a
should
lot of
ban her
authors
off
do that.
Patreon.
They make it accurate, and but there's another survival book that was well before you, not necessarily before our birth,
Yeah.
but it goes way back, and
Last
it's called
Babylon?
The Last Babylon.
Oh.
My favorite.
Yeah, we read that in high school.
Hand down's my favorite.
Love that book.
I have it on audio. I just listened to it when I went to North Carolina.
Yeah.
I took a scout rifle class. So I listened to it on the way up, the way back,
Yeah.
and finished the book. I love that.
And
stuff.
funny
they
how
go
it can
to
be-
Salt Springs to
Yep.
get salt.
Yep.
We drove right by that sign on the highway, and me and Emery, and I was like, dude, you don't understand.
Yeah.
That's where everything around here is in
Yep.
Well, here's another
novels that
thing.
I have read.
If 15 minutes from here, tomorrow you should ride up there. There's a little town called Mount Dora. Fort Repose was based
Mount
off
Dora.
the town of Mount Dora.
Nice.
So the center green
Yeah.
and stuff, it's
Oh,
all
yeah.
there. You go to Mount Dora, it's all that you'll see it all.
I know where we're having lunch tomorrow.
That's right. We'll
You
go.
could take that
Awesome.
book and change a few things in it for the time, and it would still be
Very,
contemporary.
very
Oh,
relevant.
yeah,
now,
totally relevant.
if you guys don't
Who's
get
got
me
the
wrong,
red
start
torch?
off with Chris's
Yeah,
books, but A Last Babylon is a great read.
Oh, I
Now,
love it.
It's going to be funny at parts because they're still using rotary phones and nobody has cell phones.
50s. Yeah.
And yeah, but it was at the at the beginning of the Cold War, and so when the actual and it is no shit a World War III global nuclear environment. Literally, like certain cities are no shit glowing. Now,
Yeah.
I want that to sink in. Now, when you read the book, it's not going to hit you as hard because you're still giggling a little bit because of the rotary phones and everything else. But if you actually think about it, a lot of you understand the H model B-52s that are still being flown were the last
Operating
one
then.
rolled off in like 1965. I was born in 67. Those B-52s are still flying today. Now, we're not in a Cold War with Russia anymore. However, we have
Biden was just elected. Give it a month or two.
we have entered a Cold War with China. Now, when I use the phrase Cold War, a lot of people, they don't really take it serious because we won the last Cold War. So when you hear the phrase Cold War, everybody goes, "Well, that's not that big a deal." But the reality is we didn't win by that much.
No, we just outspent them.
We outspent them.
That's how we won.
Reagan outspent them.
Yes, we
And
did.
right now, guys, the Chinese have the money and we do not.
And the technology.
So the next Cold War, if we're not vigilant, it may go the other direction. So anyways, it's called A Last Babylon. It's a classic for you.
Yeah, I love it. It is
classic
hand
for
down
you?
my
Oh, I
phone.
read it in high school.
It's classic
I love
for
it.
me.
Yeah.
It's Emery can't read, so it's
I don't
not a
read.
classic
I
for
don't
him.
read.
They didn't
I'll
print
The
it.
rest
read
of
it
us,
to you.
we've
I'll
all,
read
we've
it
all
to you.
read it. We've all read it.
So the other thing is we're entering. We're in the initial phase of entering another Cold War China, but we also have a simmering insurgency here.
We do. without a
Hybrid
doubt.
insurgency.
Oh, yeah. We really do.
Straight up.
And we've got a government that has turned their
Complicit.
focus on filling their own pockets instead of doing what's right for the people.
Well, filling their own pockets and then looking at the people out there, like everybody sitting here, who's not doing anything wrong. We're just living our life, wanting to do our thing. We hold some core beliefs that they don't agree with, whereas we don't agree with theirs, and we're like, fine, have your ideas, think what you want.
By
We
core
don't care.
beliefs, do you mean loving America?
That's one. That's a good way to start.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like me and Russ were in my living room earlier. I found a really nice American flag laying on the road earlier, a beautiful one. One of the stitches ain't a screen
On the road?
print thing.
Yeah.
And me and him, we got it folded up right, put it
Yeah.
on the shelf in my office. You know, some people, people are driving over the damn thing.
Yeah, there are people. You understand?
let it happen.
Yeah.
Well,
Me-
it's
I
coming.
locked up the brakes, dude, when I was on the road.
Unfortunately, where if you fly an American flag, you're where we consider it patriotic. You're looked as
It's
an
a symbol of
extremist.
hate.
Did
Oh,
you
yeah, symbol
did
of
you
hate.
ever believe, being from the generation, we're Generation X,
Mm-hmm.
right? All of us, and you're probably a millennial.
I'm still alive.
But did you ever
Probably a
believe in our lifetime that we
Emery,
live
you
in
understand? Emery's not part
Emery,
of the
shut up.
generation. He's
that we would live in a country where we have to
Emery was
watch
pulled out of a
our
test
P's
tube.
and Q's? Like
Oh,
we
yeah.
literally have to be super cautious about
We were
what
just
we
me and
say.
him were just
Yeah,
talking
we
about that
did.
earlier. We
It's
just
nuts.
talking about that.
It's absolutely. We can't even be by our. I mean, it's crazy.
Well,
It's 1984.
It's like Bernie, a buddy of ours, was just here. He left a few minutes ago, and he's a cop.
Yeah.
And he was telling me about an officer who was driving down the road, talking to his wife on the phone, and said, "Tell that ratty N-word." This is a black guy talking to his black wife to get out of my house as a joke.
Right.
He's by himself in his car, nobody around.
Gone.
Body cam caught him.
Gone.
Oh no.
He got fired
Yeah, gone.
for saying that.
School
And he's
resource
black.
officer from the neighborhood he grew up in.
Nobody around. He wasn't talking to anybody. He didn't say it to anybody. He said it to his wife on the phone by himself. Lost his job.
It's retarded.
That is a straight violation of the First Amendment. I don't care what this new speak 1984 shit that they want to do, you know, which they are doing. We are in newspeak right now. We're
We are.
living it.
We are.
And if you listen to the language that's being used by the extreme left,
You
I'm
can't say he or she anymore.
yeah. But not
You
only
can't
that,
say master bedroom.
Yeah.
It's owner's
What?
bedroom.
yeah, you can't say master.
On my
haven't
building
even heard that
plan,
one.
it's
Oh, yeah,
not
yeah. Oh,
master
yeah.
bedroom.
Oh,
It's
everything
owner-
in my house is
owner's
turning into
suite.
master this,
Owner's-
master that. Now.
So
owner's
can you
bedroom.
not? Can we not
My
master
master
bait
kitchen.
anymore? Does it have to be self pleasure?
Well, you got to own bait.
No, self love.
Masturbate.
Self-love?
Can't
Masturbate.
masturbate.
I didn't
Stroke,
know
it's
that.
stroking.
But think about it. They're changing language. They're changing the words. And if you go back and over some time and look, the extreme
not
left,
bad, right?
what they're doing, they're using number one the language and marching the path of genocide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're just checking boxes.
we're dinosaurs,
Identify your target
He's a dinosaur.
population, isolate them, cut off comms,
Yeah.
deplatform, do all that stuff, destroy their culture and history. We see that happening all the time.
Yep.
They're marching the path of genocide. And I've been saying that for 3 years, and people think I'm nuts. But folks, look up genocide and do a
Saying
little
it
bit of
for
reading.
10
That shit don't
years.
happen overnight.
Look now. Do your research because, like
Yep.
Antifa, anti-fascism, right? The title
The most fascist people in the world.
should be awesome, right? Like, well, this is you should agree with them by title, but
They are
if you look at them, some of the shit they're doing is like, wow, right out of the Nazi handbook.
They're the brown shirts.
They're the brown shirts, dude.
BLM,
Only.
right? Guys,
they're pussies.
I agree. Black Lives Matter. I believe everybody's lives matters. But if you look at BLM, the organization, they're not
Marxists.
even they're full blown Marxists.
Trained,
And-
classically trained Marxists too.
Exactly. Do it slow.
Didn't they
Do
take
it
all their
slow.
money and give it to the Biden campaign?
They gave a
Or
bunch to the
of
Biden
it?
campaign, but the BLM, they should change their name to BLMO, or I mean BLMM, Black Lives Matter More.
More.
because that's what they mean when they talk about equality and equity and all these things. They don't mean that. That's not what they mean. They mean we get more, and generally take it from you people. That's how they see things. And it's screwed up, you know. What happened to the world where go out, work hard, commit yourself, take pride in your job and what you do, and you'll be rewarded
Be
for
proud
that.
to be an
You
American.
know what's funny, dude, is that the circles of people that we're friends with and we run with are the least dangerous people in America, but
Literally.
also the most dangerous people when you're bad. But we're responsible gun owners, people that are patriots, are the people you want in your communities. They truly are.
Yeah,
And
without a
we've been
doubt.
villainized.
We are your best friend.
You are safer with
Or your
me
worst fucking enemy.
in the line at the grocery
Amen.
store,
Your pick.
or
Amen.
Carl. We really safe with Carl, and we'll
Yeah, that's
stop.
because you're not in a car with him. I'm just saying.
The adults are talking.
Henry don't like my
The adults are
drive.
The adults are talking.
But no,
Henry also
listen,
doesn't like all the
you broke
posters.
down the side of the road. Who'll stop? We will.
Yeah,
Antifa
exactly.
guys ain't gonna stop. I'm just saying, it's preposterous. And
Yeah.
my
It's sad.
dad and my grandfather who fought in World War II in Europe, and my uncles who landed on Normandy are rolling over in their graves right now, and it's preposterous. But what can we do? That's the question. Other
It's
than
all good.
Talk.
We'll get through this, guys. We will.
will.
You
Nice.
know
Well,
what? You know what though?
we-
That's
we-
what I loved about this whole week, being at RCPT.
We
With
are
all those guys?
surrounded
Yeah,
by
like-minded
good
people.
Men and women there.
You know,
Great
yeah,
Americans. Great Americans.
and by the way, not only great Americans, there are people that are from all over the planet.
all over the world.
Yeah.
Great
And
people.
Just great.
Yeah, yeah,
Period.
awesome
Because
people.
great people all over the world have the same
I
goal.
kind of
Raise our
expected-
families, make
I was
a
like,
living.
you know what? We're gonna go to like some skydiving thing with a bunch of bros,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, a bunch of
Yeah,
skydiving bros,
hey,
yeah.
bro, we're gonna go
Yeah.
jump at
Yeah,
right?
man.
Exactly. We get there,
Johnny,
and it's
new
all
job.
military people, including the people that were never in the military,
Yeah.
of which there were plenty.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? And it was just like in the army. You go in, everybody's green, everybody's helping each other. There's not a question, right?
No.
Everyone's prepping everybody's gear. You know, there's nobody like traipsing around like doing their own thing. Oh, dude, hey, what do you need? You know, and
Yeah.
and everybody could say what they felt like, and nobody
Right.
Yeah, nobody got
nobody
butthurt.
got butthurt
No,
about
yeah.
anything.
Every training you've ever been to, right? And I'm a civilian. Chris is a civilian. We train a lot. I've spent the last 15 years going to classes with great trainers all over. You know what I go to classes for? I go to learn skills to a point, but I go to interact and make new friends. 'Cause
Well, and
every
hang
time-
out with people like
yeah,
you that
well, every
think
time
like
I
you,
leave
it's
a
hard to find
class,
them.
I leave with 10, 12, 15 new friends that are my friends for life and have a good time. And that's what's amazing about, people go, oh, it's so expensive to do that. How much you spend to go to Disney World for a few memories and a
Yeah,
snapshot?
exactly.
You go to training, not only do you come away with a skill and a confidence level, but you come away with friends, and you come away, you're on cloud nine.
Yeah.
Remember that feeling? Even as an instructor,
Yeah.
when you have a good class, aren't you on cloud
Oh,
nine?
of course.
Cloud nine when you
Of
leave.
course.
Yeah.
We did-
How many friends have you guys ever made at Disney World?
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
No one
Right.
talks to each other.
Yeah, no-
we
yeah.
did I did that scout rifle class up in North Carolina, and we did an ambush. And this guy runs a great class.
Yeah.
He uses blanks with BFAs on them,
Yep.
and no miles gear, nothing like that. It's just because you get 30 fuckers out in the woods that start shooting at the same time. It gets loud, gets hectic. People are yelling. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And I had messed up my meniscus, and I was
That's a
tailing
knee,
Charlie
by the way.
on this patrol. And I wasn't even really part of it. I wasn't a student there. I was there hanging out with my
Yeah,
buddy and helping
yeah.
and stuff. But when the ambush kicked off, our squad leader's in the middle of our squad, and we're the second squad of this long patrol strung out through this gully. And he's a new guy that's just woke up. He's training. He's paying. He's spending his money. He's doing his thing. But when all that gunfire started, his eyes were that wide, and he's just staring. And he,
Yeah.
and we were on a halt, so we're on a knee.
Yep.
And I'm yelling at him, I'm like, dude, we can't stay here. We got to move.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's do something. He wasn't moving. I grabbed half his squad and started the flank myself. Ran up this ridge. But when you're there, you're going to have experiences in a training class that are they're hard to describe.
Bonding.
Yeah.
You know, and I like to train in miserable weather when it's just shit.
Like the book Tribe. that
Yeah,
you
like
had me
Book
read.
Tribe, because nothing builds better cohesion among friends or a unit or a group than mutual suffering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I like to make students suffer.
You remember pain.
And you always remember
everybody's favorite story from Ranger
always is the
School
worst.
involves-
yeah.
Yeah, you never hear the story. Remember that day we were in the barracks?
And we had the best smile on our faces.
I know, and
Yeah.
I had that sandwich.
Yeah.
Oh, it
Well,
was the
you
best
probably did
sandwich
in Israel.
ever.
I mean,
Best sandwich
We
ever.
do make good sandwiches.
yeah.
Guys,
Better.
we and that's why I
yeah.
want to give a shout out again to the Round Canopy parachute team.
Those people, you guys were awesome. Even thank you for letting me on the plane.
Yes,
I
but
mean,
thank you for
that was
welcoming
awesome.
my
That's
whole
so
team.
They have to
in.
dump fuel. I'm just saying.
Guys, my son, remember, my son.
Just everybody
is
else.
awesome. My son came in. He was a little intimidated at the beginning. Everybody was. Everybody was scared to death getting on the plane that first time. We had a few girls there from Grunt Style. They brought these 3 girls, and they're all former military.
Pretty.
Yeah, they were. They were
They're nice
cute
girls, man.
Cool part about them was they were there
They're
for
badasses.
Women's
They
History
were.
Month, and I was like, well, you know, that's no, hey, hold on now. Before you start bashing them, this was airborne. Well, there's no airborne. No, I said,
Those
you're
girls
wrong.
jumped like a boss.
You're wrong.
Yeah, they
All right.
Singing all the way
The
down.
real combat jumps were when they jumped into Afghanistan and there were no bad guys on target. When they jumped into Panama and you had Manuel Noriega and 3 fucking bongo players. Who was it? Right?
Three
No,
bongo players.
the real combat jumps were actually World War II when we were like, holy shit, how do we get across
The English Channel.
How do we get across the English Channel? Those
Jumping across the
volunteers, those paratroopers volunteered to get in the gliders. Holy shit, what were you thinking?
Yeah.
And they volunteered to get strapped into parachutes, which was new, by the way.
Yeah.
And go in behind enemy lines with the understanding that you had to hold until Big Army got there from the beach.
And most of them didn't even land in the right
I know
coordinates.
they were
right
landed-
spot.
They
Now,
were all over the place.
Okay, so and everybody's nodding their head like, yeah, Carl, those guys were the bomb. They were rough. They were awesome. Yes. However, before that, you know where all the intel came from? All the intel working with the French resistance and all this other stuff in Belgium and everywhere else. If you go back and Google the missions that look up Jedburgh teams and look up the SOE teams, what you'll see is there were female spies behind enemy lines. How did they get there? Guys, they did not ride the Love Boat. They went in via parachute. Right? So I thought it was awesome that Grunt Style brought those 3 girls there. Well, my first jump in that little 182, it's a Cessna 182. Brother, that your little fire pit here is bigger than that fucking plane.
Yeah, I saw it
believe
sitting on
the
tarmac.
official name is it's C-182 shitbox.
Yeah, it is pure.
Really?
Yeah.
So my first jump, it's me and it's one of the Grunt Style girls named Perez. Perez, if you're
Bless
watching,
you for taking this guy into your team. I just think,
dude,
God bless
Emery's
you.
awesome. Emery
He's
is
an
awesome.
equal opportunity.
No, he's not. He's
You're an opportunity hater.
Emery's
You get
not
like
on
a
my
government
team.
subsidy?
Emery's a member of my family. I'm sincere when I say
You
that.
get a
dude.
subsidy for that?
So Perez was scared to death, and she's on
Diversity
the
hire.
plane with me. Her first jump ever, and I'm helping her. She's my ranger buddy, so I'm helping her put on her parachute, and I'm just checking it. Because I helped her rig, I couldn't be her jump master and do the jump master parachute inspection. I couldn't do JMPI. But as I'm putting it on, I'm checking it. And I'm looking at it, I was like, that's not right. And I'm like, no. So I call over the rigger, hey, you can't say rigger, you gotta say packing American. I call over the parachute rigger to check her chute. And first one of the jump masters comes over and he's like, oh no, Carl, these guys are pros.
Yeah,
I haven't.
they're doing it every day.
I haven't done static line jump master since I put my A team into Ethiopia in 1997. Literally, that's the last static line jump master I did. I've done Halo
Why
after
the hell
that.
did they make you jump into Ethiopia?
Training,
What are you
dude,
gonna walk
training.
there?
Oh, it's just for
I
fun?
was gonna say,
fun.
he could
Shits
tell
and
you, but then
giggles.
he'd have to kill you.
So
Well, the Ethiopians come down like that.
the jump masters are like, oh, Carl, her shoot will be fine. Her shoot will be fine. Then they start messing with it, and they're like, nah. So they call the rigger over. The rigger comes over, and he's like, you guys don't know anything. This shoot's fine. And he looks at it, and finally he goes, no, take it off, take it off, take it off. And her eyes got so big, she's like, oh my God, I was about to get on a plane.
Well, when I was going to get on the plane, I had the bailout chute on, and one of the, well, I guess it was a rigger, I'm not sure, he stopped me and he's like, why isn't this snapped? I'm like, they told me not to worry about it. He's like, no, he goes, this is a non-functional parachute.
He was messing with you, dude.
No, he was not. They made me change chutes.
Because when I jumped with the Golden Knights, they're like, dude, oh my God, I can't believe it. I'm like, what? They're like, I'll just fight with you.
No, they made me change. They had to hold the
guy
plane
do
and made me change
the jump
chutes.
inspection on you.
Yeah.
I watched that guy, and he's like, yeah, you'll be all right. You just a little
Yeah.
bigger girth than some
Yeah,
people.
He's like, you got a little more real estate here than most
You
people do.
understand? I told you, I was like, you understand, if you pull that ripcord,
Yeah.
that's going to go straight through your elbows,
Yeah.
and as soon as your arms go back, you're falling out of that.
Well, I'd already decided if I had to do that, this hand was coming here, and I was going to do it like that.
My question is, when you jump out of your plane, does your beard split this way?
Yeah, if you're riding a motorcycle or a fast boat, it always does like this.
What is that? Did they check
Do,
the
do you
pallet
like
strap
do you like
for
to a part in it?
I
so
check
it,
those myself.
does it split down the
Not
middle?
evenly always. Sometimes, you can get away with it. Sometimes you can just get this.
So you don't need a mask.
So
No, I don't need.
do you wear like headphones and shit on the
man.
bike?
Don't get him started.
1,400
All
feet.
your love, and all your hugs and kisses too. All those old ZZ Top
yeah.
tunes. Oh man, I love you, baby. I gave her a pearl necklace.
That's it.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Little
Hey,
town.
girls like pearls, man.
Inside my active range.
That's not the necklace they were talking about. Oh,
You know
shit.
what I'm talking
crikey.
about.
Y'all
Cheap-
sure you ready for this?
Cheap sunglasses.
That's it.
Good stuff.
So is anybody even watching this?
Is there?
Now, Chad, how many people we got in the
Does it
chat
matter?
room right now?
Is Chad here?
Chad's asleep.
Chad's passed out.
We can't see shit
For
but
the
two bright
fuck's
lights.
sake, lad.
Nick, how many people
What do
we
we
got in
have,
the chat
Chad?
room?
What's it to Chad?
You said 400. Fuck.
400.
Speak up.
400 fuck.
400 fucks.
Spit out whatever's in your mouth.
Is that language acceptable?
All right, we got it. All right, so here's what I'm looking for from you guys in the peanut gallery. Besides questions on whether a hot dog is a sandwich or whether
Or fucking Book 11.
whether cereal is a soup.
I got
understand-
questions.
Cereal is a soup.
I have questions.
I don't want shit like that.
I have questions.
What's your question, Donnie?
Did you piss or shit yourself the first time you got shot at?
No, actually, I giggled like a schoolgirl. I just like, oh shit,
bet
man.
you did.
I was like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit,
And that, my friends, is why we love
oh
Carl.
shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
saying.
like you go to take a group photo, and I was like, all right, everybody smile, and then they say, all right, now everybody show me your war face, and everybody's like, and I'm like, no, Carl, your war face, and I'm like, that's my war face.
That's my war face.
So I was at the
They're gonna pay me to do this shit.
3-4 years ago, me and my wife would go to the Glock Ball at SHOT Show. Glock rents out the Glock Ball. They rent out like it's at
rappers?
Caesar's Palace.
Man,
Caesar's Palace.
Must be nice to be
They rent
famous.
it out. It's just one of the parties at SHOT Show. Well, Ed Fitzgerald. He's like one of the executive vice presidents at Glock, and he's invited me to call. You got him. Well, he's got one of the who's the Gracie guy that won the first.
Royce Gracie?
Royce?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
He's there. And he's like, hey, Carl, I really want you to meet this guy. I come up and he's like, he's shaved bald and everything. Nice guy. I knew who he was. And he's like, and Ed's like, hey, man, I want to get a picture with you. So we shake hands and everything. Nice guy. He's a fighter. I'm a fag. I'm a former action guy. But as soon as Ed pulled out the camera, he went like this. And I went, all right, dude, fucking, go on.
Smiling like, let's do this.
And he's like, no, your war face. And I was like, brother, this is my war face. I'm like, this is it. This is how this shit goes
Carl's
down.
like, yeah.
I'll have tears going down, but that smile's there because this is hilarious. This is hilarious. So I have the picture. They gave it to me. Matter of fact, I just saw it the other day. It was thrown up in my closet on top of all the crap. I got like 500 team T-shirts and I don't know how many thousand tactical rifleman T-shirts.
You might want to spread those around a little bit because the bed office catches on fire.
Those are the best t-shirts ever. Those are the
Just
best
saying.
t-shirts ever. I'm
Just saying.
I'm just saying, all this shit will burn at one time.
No, I have a friend. It's not from experience.
Yeah,
So anyway, I just saw that picture and I saw it and he is no shit. And I'm over there.
You know what's funny is my old office was right across the street from a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu place, and the guy that owned it was he was the first black belt that Royce Gracie ever gave to an American.
Brock?
Yeah, no, Rob Kahn.
Oh, Rob Kahn,
Remember
okay.
you met him at Comic-Con?
Yep.
He was the
Rob
guy.
Kahn,
He
yeah.
was the one that did the
big,
the Green Beret fighting system
Yeah.
after your time
Okay.
down at McDill. I got a question for you. You like movies with gladiators in them?
Sure.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
You ever been to a Turkish prison?
Fuck is going on here?
Okay, all right.
That's, you got to be all right.
All right,
Yes.
so this is why I would like Chad and you guys in the chat window.
Oh, sorry, man.
Right? Moderator! Here's the deal. All right, we leave in a couple of days. We're gonna film a few videos here tomorrow. We're gonna film a few videos. Guys, I've got some subject matter experts here.
We'll do something.
Different subjects. You guys know I love bringing in Randy, Instructor Z. I love bringing in different
Instructor Z,
views
he's so
on
cool.
stuff because that makes me a
met
better
him.
rounded
I met him
person.
Instructor Z.
So, Instructor Z.
No, zero,
Instructor
not zero.
Zero.
No. Zero
Zero
is
is
a
our
fucking
guy.
zero.
Z's your guy from, yeah, watch
said
that.
he's
I
a
know.
fucking
He
zero.
said Z.
I'm thinking zero
No.
in my head.
No,
Not Instructor Zero.
Instructor Z.
That's the one
uses
you're-
that
I
I can't
name
tell you
to
about my
make fun of him.
background.
Oh, does he?
He's one of my he was one of my master assaulters in my old unit.
Yeah,
Well, Instructor
Z-
Zero is like this
Z,
tall.
Yeah, Z served in the military.
Oh,
he
really
was a
did.
cook in the
Z
Italian
is a
army.
badass and a great human being.
Z is awesome.
I saw
Z.
Instructor Zero at
Yeah,
a
she's
shot one
behind him
time
with a mirror.
and I'm walking up there. I'm like, who let this kid in here? And I'm like, oh shit, that's Instructor Zero.
Hey.
I took a picture with him.
You better
And I got
watch
my
it.
arm on his shoulder. And I'm like,
He recreated that shoot from the movie Rambo, dude. He shot like 10 dudes, like 3.2
You know what?
seconds.
He is a phenomenal shooter.
he's I'm not knocking him. I'm
Phenomenal
just saying he's a
shooter,
wee
he is.
lad. That's all I mean. Nothing against him.
But I've actually talked to people that have been to some of his classes.
Yeah.
And look, here's the deal, guys.
Yeah,
I've never
let's
met
not
the
even
guy.
go there.
I don't know him. I walk around him at shot. He doesn't exist in my world. He just doesn't. So I'm not going to bash him on the internet. He might-
I'm not bashing
If you're a fan of him, please don't think I'm bashing.
For the
no,
record-
you can think it.
For the record, I have trained with a bunch of Italian SF units, and they truly are badasses. They're fucking awesome.
Oh, I don't
What do
doubt
they
it.
have
I
to
just
say
wanna make
about
sure to-
Instructor Zero?
I didn't even know of his existence when I was training.
Neither do they.
Well, listen,
Neither do they.
but you have to understand one thing. He was a crucial part of the Fellowship of the Ring. And without him, they may not have defeated Zoran. And I'm just saying, listen,
It's a movie thing.
it's important.
I'm with you.
Yeah, here's the deal, guys. If you're listening to the guy wearing the fucking dress,
It's not it's a kilt, you fucking.
It's not a dress. It goes
fucking
halfway
green
up.
beret. Fucking
Forever
green.
21.
We had fucking
My
berets.
wife wore
We had berets
gowns
before the
shorter
America was
than
a
that.
country.
Yeah, it's
Fucking frack.
That's
He-
from the
look.
Forever 21 spring line, isn't it?
Donnie was pressed for time. They were doing their final rehearsal for Peter Pan today before the show this week.
no, hey guys,
Speaking of Peter.
Donnie has embraced the full-blown Viking side of
Yes, he
his
has.
genetics. No, he actually, if you don't know who Donnie is, hey guys, you
I know who I am,
bash
so.
you a little bit.
That's okay.
Guys, you can look up Donnie on Instagram. You go back a little ways. He puts together these I call it the Viking fights, but what's it actually called?
Medieval fighting.
Well, it's EMP.
EMP.
Empire of Medieval Pursuits, and we wear full armor and we fight full contact and unscripted, not LARP, and
No,
sometimes with live steel.
All right, so
And
understand. I pulled
full
into
on.
the parking lot here. I literally just got out of my Jeep. Carl, you got to try on this helmet. He puts on the helmet that he wore in this competition. Immediately pulls out this pipe and starts hitting me in the fucking head with it. He's like, really, Carl?
With a
No.
fucking green
It's like,
beret. I'm
boom.
like,
And I'm like,
if anybody can
man,
take it, he
and
can.
I let you hit me.
Oh yeah, he's like, come on, man.
I'll let you hit me 4 times.
Henry's like hit me 10 times.
After the 4th time, I was like, that's enough.
Well,
We're gonna call it-
I watched him in a pit at their last event in a pit.
with his titanium.
with his titanium gauntlets. They walk into the pit, him and the other fighter, and it's a pit based off of Conan the Barbarian.
Conan the Barbarian. That's a
The
classic
Music's
movie.
Gladiator
blaring,
pit.
there's torchlight, and Donnie walks in there and he's got a buckler and he's got a sword and he throws him down. He looks at the other guy and he's like, come on. And the other guy's like, hey, he throws his down and they go at it. The dude rings Donnie's bell one time and Donnie's like, what? He punched his sword, he chipped the guy's tooth. But he was bleeding when he came out. The other guy was missing
titanium
teeth.
gauntlets. Imagine
Handmade
It
in
was
Europe.
epic, man.
Imagine an MMA fight. Remember, because they're not allowed to hit in the groin. You're not allowed to do certain chokeholds and stuff.
do anything.
Imagine if instead of them wearing those padded gloves. Imagine if they gave them the titanium gloves that this nutbag has got in the trunk of his car. And he's like, Carl, put these on. I'm like, oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no.
Hell no.
No, he
dude.
wasn't. Carl's like,
I put one
shit
on.
up with this.
I
Fuck some
yeah.
shit. Oh, no, he was.
You're right.
Come
you're
on,
right.
he's a grief dude.
I put him on.
This
I
guy,
put him on.
trust me.
I put him on.
He's a warrior from the core.
I'm just a regular
Whatever.
guy.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Anyways,
so humble.
I got good people here. Anyway, I think that's awesome, dude. Oh no,
Yeah,
no, I'm not
you're
gonna let
awesome.
him. I'm not gonna let him get off. All right, so you ever row a boat?
Yep.
And, you know, here's the deal. There's I don't know, probably 100 million motherfuckers that can row a fucking boat. These guys do row. Let's row a
Viking.
freaking Viking boat with dragon heads.
Racing them.
with
yeah.
dragon heads.
They're
Who
racing
does
them.
that? Racing Viking boats.
It's 3 days of debauchery. You know, women running
Debauchery,
around
yeah.
with
Oh, there's some
bearskin bikinis and painted faces.
Oh, hold on, don't get too excited about women around in bearskin bikinis and painted because
Because they all look like this.
Because no, some of them did look exactly like this.
Ooh. Ooh.
Some
Only
of
their
them
beards were nicer.
Some of them weren't wearing bikinis.
Hey,
some of them didn't have bikinis on.
and stuff.
Hey, that wasn't bikinis. That was his hair.
That was his hair. That would have bikini. Oh, Jesus Christ!
You can't tell a dwarf woman
Well,
from
you
a
gotta
man.
keep warm in Sweden.
Jesus.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh,
Look,
shit.
a fighter's a fighter's a fighter,
Oh,
dude. You know.
funny stuff.
But-
Anyways, I thought
Agreed.
you posted that shit on Instagram, and I was like, man, of all the people I follow on Instagram, that's some of the coolest shit that's come out in
The
a
last few
long
weeks,
time.
it's like every
Long
morning I
time.
wake up and Donnie sends me a video. I wake up and I'm like, let's see what I missed.
What kind of debauchery is
And
this?
I just see the pit and people just beating the shit out of each other with metal objects. It was great.
Well, you're coming
I
next year.
appreciate you,
Listen, I'm just gonna call it right now because if I call it now, then we can't not do it. Next January,
Uh-oh.
you're coming. I'm gonna put you in armor, and we're gonna put you in the pit, dude. To
And
fight.
I'm not.
You stand
Cole's
up
gonna
with
stand
this
on
bullshit
top.
shit.
No, you
Cole's gonna
understand.
stand on
No,
top
you
with
understand.
a drink going, yeah.
Some motherfucker hit
Filming
me
it.
like that, I'm gonna cut him.
I'm gonna cut him, yeah. I challenge you.
I
Well, they have other
Next
events
year.
too. Like I lost all the video
Hey,
in my office.
you hear
burn.
that?
know, dude.
On
I
Tactical Rifleman.
understand. No,
Where's your
he's
bring your
going.
gauntlet?
He's going.
Next year,
He's
you're
going.
going.
So
We're gonna do it.
going.
They have
Bring
other
your
events
gauntlet.
too, and Donnie did it too, where it's all based stuff like from Conan the Barbarian. And so it's one thing where you're standing there holding a chain, like you're chained up, and where they let him go, but then they turn the fighters loose to chase him. If he gets away, he gets away. And they have to, so they're holding his chain, and they got to take off running, and there's like a bench out there with a sword on it. And they got to run to the sword, drop the chain, get the sword, and then fight up to 4 dudes that are behind him.
And I don't mean a foam sword.
No.
Like a club,
yeah.
rattan.
And
This sounds so smart.
dude, but there was one dude that ran, missed the sword, did a barrel roll, comes up and just goes hand to hand with 4 dudes and beats all of them.
Nice.
I was like, holy hell!
With no armor on.
Yeah, he wasn't wearing armor. He's
That
just
dude's a
out there
badass.
throwing knuckles, man. I mean,
Listen. Being a fighter, if you study the ancient arts, you know, you go to the samurai, you go to the medieval knight, you go to the Spartans. You know, it relates to what we do now. The spear is your long arm, your carbine. The handgun is your katana or your wakizashi, your short arm. It's all movement.
Yeah.
Shooting a gun and fighting with a gun
Way different.
is a martial art.
Ranges of
Just
weapons. yeah.
exactly the same as you do with knife fighting,
That's what we
or
said.
fighting with a sword, or fighting with a spear.
Distance
so it
and pressure
behooves you
dictate
to
tactics.
study that. If you're going to be a holistic warrior, then you study all kinds of fighting.
Mm-hmm.
That's my philosophy on everything and what I've learned.
Couldn't agree
in,
more.
in my time as a humble civilian, learning from the great ones, you know, which I have. So I was pointing at him. So, so that's the next question for you, Carl. What is your thought process as a fag, former
Action guy.
on civilians? I mean, there's some pretty damn capable civilians.
No,
now
there
that-
are.
like
and
serious guys.
People are like, dude, man, I know you train the military. I know you train law enforcement.
Right.
Why are you training civilians? And
not?
it's actually why I left my job. I used to be the
America.
director of special projects down at Tier 1 Group in right outside of Memphis. And we had everybody come through with the Dutch Deltas down there all the time. And
The Dutch
I
Deltas.
did a breaching course with the Don Hollenbaugh, the master breacher down there for the German SEALs. And I got to work with all these great units. And that's what made me more well-rounded, is not just learning what the Army had to give me, but all the other branches, but other international units, but also interacting with civilians made me better rounded. But I wanted tier one group was wanting to grow their business model. Obviously, they're owned by Cerberus, corporate America. It's all about the bottom line. We want a higher GM to bring in more money. Like, look, you've already got MARSOC, you've already got AFSOC. You're only going to be able to get so much more money out of SOCOM.
Yeah.
You know, you might get one or two other international units. Where the money is training civilians, and that was actually brought about the birth of Tactical Riflemen. I wanted to help get civilians to come get training, and then they shut it down. They're like, no, we don't. That's not a business model. We don't want to train civilians. And I thought about that, and why? For example, the Rogers range, the Rogers computerized combat pistol range, to me is the hands down the greatest pistol range on the planet. If you were going to take a pistol class and you wanted to learn muscle memory for your pistol, it's 5 days long. It's computerized drills, literally 7 pop-up targets, put together by Bill Rogers, who started off back in the 70s as the FBI HRT pistol instructor.
Which 2 weeks ago you manually recreated at our range.
Yeah, I did.
Really?
The cool
Yeah, it was
part
badass.
was it's 5 days long, and each student shoots 23 to 2,500 rounds of ammo, and there's not a bullet wasted. It is
Wow.
insane amount of drills over
How
and
many
over
days?
and over again. 5 days long.
2,500
lot of
Holy
rounds.
shit.
Now that used to be restricted to just Delta had one, FBI HRT had one, DevGru had one. Then it's like, well, hey, if you're going to train them, let's do the whole military. They opened it up to all special ops units, then the military, and then law enforcement. And, well, if we're going to allow civilians to carry pistols, why would you not want to train them? And I heard this was coming from Bill Rogers' mouth. He's telling this to me, right? Literally, I went and took his. Now, T1G had their own Rogers range, but when I went to be an instructor there, they're like, no. Your first time through this, we want you to learn from Bill himself. They sent me to Bill's personal range down in right outside of Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah. I'm there with a special ops unit from, I want to say it was, I think they were the Dutch guys. They spoke enough English, and except for when they're talking about me behind my back. Anyway, so we got along great, right? But hearing Bill tell this that, you know,
Chris.
If you're going to let civilians carry firearms, carry pistols, we have the responsibility to train them. And that sunk in with me that not only is it firearms, but what are you going to use more? Now remember, I've done hundreds of raids in Iraq and Afghanistan, and there were whole deployments where I would never rotate the selector lever on my M4. Literally, I want that to sing it. Whole deployments, never rotate selector lever, never take it other than training rehearsals. Now, I shotgunned a bunch of doors through a lot of flashbangs. We blew a bunch of doors open with wall charges, beat a bunch of guys down, put on a lot of zip ties.
You ever stab anybody?
I've stabbed 3 guys, but they were all Americans. That's another story. Another story. Don't get me sidetracked. My point, though, is yes, you need to know the martial arts. And don't get me wrong, Ching Ching Pow is a martial art. Right? Ching Ching Pow is a martial art. Yeah. But the odds of you using a firearm are much lower than you needing to know medical. Much lower than you needing to know. Let's just look at Katrina, any natural disaster, any ice storm that has hit Kentucky. You need to know how to boil water. You need to know how to provide for your families. But shit happens. You need basic man skills. Tornado tear off part of your roof. It doesn't take a tornado, guys. A bad thunderstorm with high winds can damage your roof. You need to be able to get up there with a tarp, a few sheets of plywood, and know how to swing a hammer. How many of you guys have never swung a hammer? Be honest, because a lot of you have probably not even driven 100 nails in your life. Now, I take that to the next level. Man skills is not, it includes everything, the entire realm. So, yes, you need to know how to change the tire of your car. If you are a parent and your child, daughter or son, hits the age of 16, if you're going to let them drive, you need to show them how to change a spare tire. Now, a lot of parents do that. Let's take it to the next level. What do you do if you don't have a spare? Do you know how to plug a tire? Do you know how to plug a tire when you don't have any plugs?
Do you have a compressor to fill said plug tire?
Yeah, so like a rubber glove, for example, you can roll up a rubber glove, roll it that way with your hand, and as it rolls up, it makes a bead of rubber that makes a great plug for a tire. Now, you know, like for example, you can't use 550 cord as a plug because the air goes through it, right? Makes sense, right? No, total bullshit. You can, but how do you do it? You reach under the transmission and the engine, grab a little bit of grease and oil that is leaked, grease up that piece of 550 cord, and now you've got a great tire plug. I was not shown any of this, how to patch a bullet hole in a radiator with your Leatherman.
Figure it out on the fly, didn't you?
How to make a serpentine belt out of 550 cord and duct tape. Now, that sounds easy now that I've just said you can do that. Try that. I guarantee you your first 12 are going to go flying off. That engine's going to run about 6 seconds.
Well, here's the other thing. There's tricks, right? There's tips and tricks.
Oh, yeah.
But what you need is the mindset. What you need is that drive to survive, right? You need to
Ask
think
my
about
wife,
shit.
brother. She will tell you there is nothing that Carl can't do. Now, obviously, everybody has limits, but I honestly believe as a team, with teamwork, there is literally, and I'm not saying it's going to be legal, right? But there is nothing that I can't do working together with a team. Now, so with that beat into me, I honestly, like, for me, there's so much that civilians need to be able to do. They need to be capable. They need to be capable. So who do I teach? Guys, you want to know why I only have this video is going to get like 9,000 views in its life, but some of the other Pew Pew channels, they put up a video and on the weekend they'll make 250,000 views. The difference is people are going there for entertainment. I don't want that. I'm sorry if I'm not entertaining. My thing is that out there are people that are concerned, and my goal is to take those concerned citizens and make them into capable citizens. And that's why I love guys like you, because you guys have got that same passion.
Because every one of those citizens needs to remember, and they don't want to remember this, but they need to remember that they are their own first responder. You're going to be there when whatever crisis happens to you. You're going to be there.
The common denominator.
A cop does not carry a gun to protect you.
No.
He carries a gun for self-defense.
To protect himself.
100% of home invasions take place
in the home. That's a
someone's
true
home.
statistic.
And it's so people will be like, "You carry a gun at home?" I'm like, "When I get up in the morning, I put clothes on. I put a gun on.
Yep.
In the middle of the night, if I get up, put my robe on to go to the fridge and get something to drink, I drop a Glock in my pocket of my robe.
After you're White Russian.
Yeah, well, yeah, I carry
because he's the dude.
I carry the beverage. I carry the beverage with me.
Yes.
The dude does abide.
So
you've got to have the mindset like you're talking, and I'm sure your combat mindset thing gets into this, of always being on and aware. At least
stay in the yellow.
A little bit.
In the white.
Colonel Cooper's color code.
I'm conditioned orange.
I'm always armed.
No, you can't do orange, man.
I won't go take a piss in the middle of the night. And I know it sounds bad, and literally, I'm always armed. So when I got into preparedness years ago, when I had the epiphany, like many people do, I did the first thing, and I've been a gun guy. I was raised in a gun household. I was a competition trap shooter. I've had guns in my hand since I was 6. I had a gun cabinet at 10 in my room. I've always had guns. So the first thing I did when I was getting into preparedness was guns, and ammo.
And that's
but
not
that
the answer.
realistically, that's such a small part of it. And then I got very lucky and hooked up and made friends with some people. One guy was a survival skills instructor from Alaska. Other people were into preparedness, and they really taught me to learn skills on storing food. And I'm not talking about bushcraft. Bushcraft's cool, but the reality is bushcraft's just such
bushcraft is a hobby.
It's a hobby. It's
when
not.
They found
like
that
the gun part.
When they found that caveman, guys,
part.
what's the name of that caveman they found frozen in ice?
What was it?
Against the eye.
Forever.
Whatever his name was.
Leatherman, right?
They really don't know his real name because
Leatherman.
You understand? They don't know his real name. All right, but he didn't have a photo ID. But when they found that caveman frozen in ice and they thawed him out, they learned a lot from it. But what we learned, you look in his belt pouch and all the gear on him. He had your tinder fungus. He had flint. He had this. He had that. Anyway, yeah. You need that. You need to know bush skills. Hold on.
Big.
Realize what he had was state of the art survival equipment for
the
that
time.
time.
Yes.
So, like Randy Worth says, yeah, you can make a fire by rubbing two sticks together.
But why?
But brother, it's a lot easier with a Bic lighter.
When we
why?
give survival classes, when we do primitive fire day, we do friction fire, or, bow drill, hand drill, sometimes
Bow
bamboo
drill
fire
sucks, by the
saw,
way.
and a few others. And jokingly, we tell them, all right, guys, this is Bic Lighter Appreciation Day, and we're going to show you why. And when we teach primitive shelter construction, one of the first things I like to say is, how long do you guys think it's going to take you to build a shelter? And you'll hear, 2-3 hours, and we're sitting there like, oh, okay, cool. But we're like, this is going to be tarp appreciation day.
Yeah.
6 hours later, when they're still not done.
Yeah, and it ain't waterproof.
And I'm like, well, the sun's going down. It might rain tonight. Where are you sleeping? Or did you bring a tarp?
When I kind of fell in love, well, not fell in love with you, but was when I watched your
Oh, hello.
dude. You'll throw rocks.
Well, he is wearing a dress.
2 minutes
so-
with me, you throw rocks.
You're wearing a dress, brother.
Because I know what men like.
And he's got a fuzzy pouch.
And I got a fuzzy pouch. But when I saw that video of your bag, and I used to own a survival products company where we made food storage and we did pre-set up go bags, right?
Yeah.
We preset, but there's no such thing as a pre-set up go bag.
No.
Because everybody
Anybody tries to sell you
everybody,
those
yeah,
is
it's
hustling
bullshit.
you.
But we did a foundation, right?
Yeah.
And when I watched that video, I'm like, that's my boy, because you don't need gear. Helps you. Gear helps the
They're
skilled
tools.
mind.
Yep.
Gear is a great helper,
No.
but
Yep.
it's the skill ability.
Let me ask
It's
a question.
the
I'm not going to
knowledge.
ask you because you probably know what I'm going to say to this. So, what do you think is the hardest piece of kit that you will carry on you to replicate in the field? What do you think it is, Russ?
I'd have to say something to do with water filtration.
Water filtration? What do you think, Emery?
Knife.
Knife? Okay. What do you think, Carl? And if you remember back to your
Can I
SAS
buy
days,
a vowel?
not yet. You don't have any money.
But
You think back to your
I'm gonna buy
SAS
a D.
days, they had a standing SOP for one piece of kit that no mission would launch without. If every man didn't have it, mission wouldn't launch.
I don't know what that is, man. I don't know what
A
that is.
metal container.
Yeah.
yeah,
A
you
metal
boil
cup.
water.
Yeah.
A billy, so the SAS, and it's still a standing SOP. No mission will launch till every man has his billy can.
Yeah.
A metal container, because think about that. If I handed you a metal container, like a titanium cup or even a stainless steel cheap Walmart cup and said, here, go out in the woods and make me one of these.
Yeah. Drink
Yeah.
water without a
Yeah.
cup.
I
How-
can. Well, think
Well,
about
you
this.
can.
It's
How
half a
Can you
knife.
purify the water?
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Purify the
All right,
water.
you want to get into
If he has a knife,
So-
he's gonna hollow out a rock.
I'm
and
gonna-
make
I'm
a cup.
How long is it going to take
No.
you to do that?
Yeah, oh
you
yeah.
might die of
everything takes
dehydration
time.
first.
Everything takes time.
So carry
All
a
right, but
fucking
I'll
metal
take my
cup.
knife.
Metal
That's what
cup.
I'm going at. I'm going to take
metal
a
cup.
No,
Right,
that's
right.
right.
That's a really good
All
point.
now,
Critical.
this little thing right here, so like everybody's like, okay, we hear what he said, Bic lighter, Bic lighter.
Oh, dude.
No. Here's the deal. That's not what we're saying. Not what we're saying.
What?
Bic lighters are awesome. Cups are awesome.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Knives are awesome. All this stuff is awesome. All right, but understand, this is a tool.
Yeah.
Every spring up in Canada, when the snow melts, they find hunters frozen,
Yep.
laying on the ground. Right in front of them is a tinder bundle. There's a Bic lighter, there's a ferro rod, and there's a pile of firewood, and there's a loaded rifle there. So, and here's, I'm not saying these guys are messed up. What I'm saying is having the tool. This right here does not. I've actually given the Texas A&M Corps cadets Bic lighters.
Oh, yeah.
And they still couldn't start fires.
One of the things we like to do in a fire
You have
class.
to have the knowledge.
Yep.
And that's why I'm passionate about being an instructor. Guys, knowledge will always be your best tool.
Knowledge
Knowledge
is
will
key.
always be your best weapon.
So Carl,
without a
when you
doubt.
say that, so my bestest friend in the world, other than this guy,
Who, me?
I had a friend once.
I had a friend once.
See, one of the
It was
ones
a tough
you said?
racket.
He
But
died.
so he was a survival
One of the
skills.
ones- one of the
He was
three
a survival
stats.
skills instructor in Alaska.
His name was Boo Boo.
And I mean, literally, when people would get hired at oil companies, they would send them to his class for 3 days in case they got
Crash in an airlift or airplane.
whatever,
Yeah,
right?
no,
So
Alaska's
basically-
a rough
and they would show
environment,
up with these
brother.
bags.
Yeah.
So he's the one that really changed my whole outlook on everything. And he said, "Listen, survival is 80% science and or 20% attitude,
Yep.
or even more."
Well, we
But-
like to say 80% mental
Well, it's science.
That's the science
You
part
got to
of it.
keep your
You
body.
gotta have the heart to
You got to
keep-
control your body temperature. You got to have nutrition.
Yeah.
But body temperature is the most important.
Control, you regulate your core temp is what we say.
Core temp,
Hydrate.
hydration, and
Those
nutrition.
are the two things. Well, food you can go a while
Yeah, food
long.
you can actually go, and it's for more robust guys like Chris. You can go a while. Just saying.
You looked in the mirror lately there, Slim?
How many push-ups can you do, bitch?
All right,
I'm just saying.
What am I pushing what from?
You guys have heard food, water, shelter, fire. There's a whole laundry list of
something
things
really
that you
quick,
need
buddy.
for
Pushing
survival.
things from Depends.
The situation is going to dictate what it is. The situation that I'm in right now, I don't. Shelter would be lower on the list. Okay.
Yep.
Right in Florida.
Water and food would be higher, right? Except the
Here,
mosquitoes,
water would
stuff
be
like
number
that.
one.
Yes. You're out in the desert again. Shelter
Water.
may not be that important. Up in Alaska,
Shelter.
brother, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, that sun's going down at 5. Your ass needs to be getting shelter set up. So,
And Bear Grylls
situation-
is a fraud, by the way. Just so you.
Bear
know.
Grylls is a fraud.
He's
he
British.
really
He's
is.
not French.
He's a fraud.
He's British.
He's not
Yeah,
a fraud.
British.
British.
not
and
a fraud.
remember,
You
too.
don't have to eat worms. You don't have to do that. You have to be smart about what you do.
No, a lot of times you do have to
No,
eat
you
worms.
can eat worms,
No,
but
you-
I'm just saying.
I'm saying sometimes you do. But, like, when you're talking
He
shelter.
loves worms.
But
Randy,
Crickets.
you guys are gonna love Randy, man. When you come up.
Oh,
yeah.
hey,
Randy
speaking of
Works.
which,
Wait, dude, we
for
already
any
love
of you
him.
guys who are
Randy's
concerned, I
awesome.
spoke with Randy today. Randy is doing quite well. He's up and mobile. For
A lot of
anybody
our-
who
yeah,
knows
for
and
all
is
of our,
concerned with Randy,
concerned guys out
you,
there.
you get what we're talking
what
about.
happened?
But what everybody
Randy,
here should be
again,
concerned
Green Beret,
with.
everything. He is 60, 67 years old. 67.
Eight.
He retired the same day I did.
Oh,
fifth
shit.
grade. Yeah, seriously. Heart attack.
Damn.
He started off his career, his life basically as a cowboy. Then he became a sheriff's deputy, was up to be sheriff, and then he beat the shit out of somebody a little too bad, like almost killed him. So then he became a
A
fireman.
little beyond almost.
And then,
maybe, but okay.
then he went on to be a migrant worker in Europe. So we've got pictures of him like picking olives in Greece and bananas in like Israel, literally like
No
as a
shit.
migrant. He just decided he's gonna work the world like Kane from Kung Fu.
Wow.
So then he became a ranger
You gotta be
in the
old to
U.S.
know that.
military and went to I think Hawaii, a bunch of other places, but he wound up in 5th Group. Desert Storm, right? Everybody's heard the book Bravo 20, the SAS team, right? It's a good book, right?
Yep, great
Learn from their mistakes. They made
plenty of them.
They made a lot of mistakes, but there's one book from
broke all their own rules.
There's one book about 5th Special Forces Group. It's called Masters of Chaos. Randy was on that team. Now, fast forward to the Global War on Terror. Randy was one of the horse soldiers. Randy was literally the guy that taught all these guys how to ride horses.
Where's the whole surgeon?
In between, Randy was at Swick, our schoolhouse, and he's got a desk job. Randy's big survival background. When SOCOM decided to update the SEER manual, Survival, Escape, Resistance to Interrogation, and Invasion, Randy literally updated the survival portion of it. So when you say Randy wrote the book on survival, Randy literally wrote the book on
That's
survival.
badass.
And Randy's such good people. He's half
Let
Indian,
me add something to that. That's just Randy's resume.
and he's the most humble.
What makes
Oh.
Randy special is Randy is the best human being alive.
Without a
I
doubt.
can't wait to meet him.
Randy,
Randy
is the
was
best human
diagnosed with prostate cancer, but he was also diagnosed with, I think it was thyroid cancer, which they're tracking back to a lot of the 5th Group guys that were up in Uzbekistan in 2001. They were burning trash at this old Russian base, and they were staging in Afghanistan from there.
Carcinogenics got in
And so
there.
anyways,
that sucks.
you know,
Yeah,
all the
but
carcinogens
here's how we
and-
say it. Cancer just got diagnosed with Randy.
Yeah, exactly. You can't kill
like
Randy, guys.
Chuck Norris,
So Randy, you understand? Chuck Norris looks under his bed for Randy Worth.
So your version, my version of Randy is Alan Kay. And
Alan Kay is the shit.
Alan wrote the survival and the hand-to-hand combatives for a U.S. Army unit that I can't name. But they hired him to come in and train them on survival. And while he was there, he started doing some hand-to-hand stuff with them. And they're like, "Hey, let's do some more of this."
Yeah.
and he ended up rewriting their manual.
Well,
which is still
everybody would know
classified.
him from
the survival manual and their hand-to-hand stuff is still classified.
Survival dispatch. right?
everybody would know
Yeah,
him
it's
from
Survival Dispatch, yeah.
season 1 of Alone.
Yeah.
He won, and
That's my brother.
Chris was on
That's my
Alone season 1
For a minute.
for a
I'd
minute.
like to meet him. Yeah.
Well, but
Oh, he will,
Alan,
just to
dude,
see how
Alan
it
Kay
feels.
is.
Dude, he's
he's
that's
like a
from-
shaman.
was he at the Big Dad Unlimited
No.
thing?
He was at the first
Carl,
year.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
He was that giant
That's the tall guy,
Viking
right?
that was
Tall
back
guy.
there
Yeah,
with us.
yeah, we met him.
Yeah, you met him.
So
Chad was at the bar, and Chad came over. He's like, "Dude, man, this guy just opened up his wallet, and he's got a whole survival kit just in his wallet."
Oh, yeah.
and shit.
He's
And
the
then,
shit,
don't
dude.
get me wrong, I'm big at layering
He's
your
the
gear.
shit, dude.
So his
Layer your
wallet's
gear.
one, his belt is one. There's a pocket kit. That Alan coined the phrase to me. He coined it like he said, "If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready."
Oh, this dude is
Alan
ready.
Is always
He's
ready.
ready on a level that. But look, let me just say something about preparedness.
He did Alone with the two curved knives.
The
Yeah, he
no,
used the
one
kukri.
kukri.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
he
But
co-designed.
they weren't-
He designed him
they
and
weren't
Donnie.
actually
we
kukris. They were
co-designed this
modified.
knife.
No, one was well, yeah, that was a condor
Yeah,
kukri.
yeah,
So Alan and Donnie designed this.
because
This
those-
is their blade design.
All right, so, all right, now, you gave me the class on this earlier. Now, guys, I know this looks like one of the
Road Warrior kind
yeah,
of.
But this is a
Tops,
damn
Tops
tool,
Knives,
folks.
and Tops Knives is a good company. I'm
Great
not
knives,
passing.
great knives.
They have a similar knife, but don't think that it's that's a copy of that one. This is
you know
not.
those
This thing
$9.
is from the ground up. I noticed this right off the bat. As soon as I see that third nug, that
You know
that,
what it's for.
That motherfucker for a
Bow
bow
drill.
saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You put a little bit of chapstick right
Or a little,
there.
or a little this, or
Earwax,
whatever.
Little-
brother.
yeah.
I always carry chapstick.
Yeah.
You put a little chapstick there, and
I carry Vaseline.
all right. So, there's no way I could do it justice.
Yeah,
Talk me
we got
through
some
the
great
knife, guys.
features. So, not to
Not that you can
digress.
buy one now,
Not
folks.
to digress.
Hold it
But-
sideways so they can see it.
not to
Sales are
digress.
closed.
So first thing, it's Alan Kay loves kukris,
Yep.
and kukris have a mechanical advantage of chopping and cutting. So, but we went with a kukri, but more of a kukri that's in line, so that when you stab or you push forward, that tip is
Still pointing.
kind of in
Yeah.
the same
Yeah.
plane as your hand grip. So we did what looks kind of like an American tanto, but we did that so you can actually put your hand here, which is very comfortable, by the way, and you can use that as a chisel, or you can use that to
push cut
forward
stuff,
and
whatever.
push cut.
Yeah.
Then we did a curved. Most kukris are curved to a point, but this kind of changes angle. But we did this so you can actually put your hand here and here,
Yeah.
and you can do a pull cut or a push cut very comfortably, and more importantly, safely. Because when you're in the field and you're in a crisis or survival situation, a smallest cut in your hand,
When you're sleep deprived
you're
and hungry
screwed,
and
you're screwed.
dehydrated, you're gonna do some
you
dumb
have
shit.
to be cautious about it.
Let that
So-
sink in, guys. Literally, same size handle here, same size handle here, and it's not the false edge sharpened
No.
up.
Nope.
Flat,
They
for a
got-
reason.
This thing, literally, like you're saying, for
Push
push
cutting,
cut,
pull cutting.
Pull cut is you'd be surprised how much you use.
Well,
use a pull
especially
cut.
if you're spending some serious time in the woods,
Yeah.
and you're trying to maybe peel logs or
you
do
hold it
something.
sideways for the
Man,
camera.
that thing,
Absolutely.
it
So,
works
so
beautiful.
that's super critical from a safety standpoint, because a deep cut when you're in the if you watch the show Alone, people have got hooks in their hand and had to
Oh,
go
and
out.
serious cuts, axe hits,
a
all
decent
kinds of
cut
shit.
in a survival situation
You're
could
screwed.
be the kiss of
That's
death.
why Randy, he don't go nowhere without gloves. I mean,
Right.
literally.
Yep. So
Yeah.
we did this sharpened edge here, and we did a flat surface here for chopping. And when you chop, you actually have this piece here that comes back, and you can get really good mechanical leverage on it. Now, some other things we built into it as well. One of the techniques that is used in bushcraft and just survival in general
Batoning.
is called batoning. And batoning is a great thing because batoning is much safer than using a hatchet. I don't
So
carry a
much
hatchet.
safer.
Way
I don't
safer.
carry an
and it
axe.
saves a
So
lot.
you can
of
take
calories.
this and
A lot of calories.
beat this on a piece of wood. It has a chiseled edge and a flat surface, and you actually we can
There
do
you go,
that.
right there.
If you got two pieces of wood. You got another one?
Oh, you ain't gonna.
You don't gotta split it here,
Ow,
but just
ow.
show them, talk them through.
Well, yeah. So you could take this and stick it in a piece of wood, and you could baton this with the surface.
We just said we weren't going to break his wife's firewood, dude. But
Break his wife's
demonstrate.
firewood.
Fireplace.
Well, I'm,
This is just
I'm
plain
showing you
firewood.
kind of how that works. Now, and also as an advantage, mechanically with your hand down, that takes any kind of vibration off your hand
Yeah.
as you're batoning. So now,
For
not
the
to,
record, guys, I was in Montana in the middle of nowhere, and I had a really nice little Fisker's axe,
Yeah,
right?
right.
And
It's a bitch.
middle of the night, ice storm, right? It was like late September, October 1st. There's always a snowstorm, middle of Montana. Me, my dog, no fur, my truck, and we had 75 goats. Goats fucking disappeared. It was this whole nightmare. And
They saw you.
and
So
everything
you
was
used to hurt goats. Which one do your shins look like?
well. Actually, that's
Biblical. Isn't
that's
it?
kind of where this story is going, but not where you're really taking it. It's connected to what you're saying. That's why I'm interrupting. So excuse me.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Let Emery finish
So,
his thought, and then you can
ice
make
storm.
fun of him.
Everything's covered in a 1/4 inch of ice.
Christ, man.
And the goats disappeared. I finally was walking around looking for them. Only light I had was with
Was
my
on your
rifle.
rifle?
Yeah, on my 6.8.
No wonder they were hiding.
No wonder they had somebody's pointing rifle at a 308 or a 6.5
It was
Creamer.
a 6.8. It was a 6.8 SPC.
Oh wow.
And
fancy.
anyway, I found the goats in an old abandoned little cabin. Went back. I was like, "Fuck! I got to start a
Is
fire."
this a book?
Huh?
It's like a book.
It's my.
It's like a book. Open.
If you'll shut up, he'll finish.
Yeah. Why
just
don't, you
saying.
why don't you shut up, Donnie? Anyway, all right. I'll make it short. Here's the bottom line. I have to start a fire.
Yes.
I took out my axe and I started hacking some trees. Literally, everything was covered in a 1/4 inch of ice. And after a little while, I'm tired. I'm cold. My hands, I can't feel them. And the axe just got a little bit of English on that blade, and it went
Oh, you did?
right into my shin.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard that
and-
story.
and I had-
Survival situation.
Yes, sir.
I had to
Just
live
got
with it
worse.
for 4 days until the next guy came to get me out of there.
Literally heard that story 100 times. So
Not
the
from
batoning-
him though. From
Well, not
everybody
from-
else.
No, just
people.
it happens so
Different
often.
people.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
People that I've trained have
Yeah.
went out and started chopping and
You
sliced through and
notice
cut
you've
themselves.
never heard a story
A
of
batoning.
somebody saying, you know, I was batoning that wood and man, it just slipped and cut my fucking leg off.
Yeah.
Not one
You
time.
not one
Not one time ever.
guys.
Not
Not
one
one
time
time.
So that's a plausible,
Yeah.
reasonable
One of the-
skill to have.
One of the things I like about this, too, which wasn't intentional in the grind, is the curve right there.
yeah.
Yeah.
That makes this perfect if I need to skin deer. If I
That's
need
right.
to skin, I can
That's
actually
right.
choke up on this
Or-
thing.
or
I
the
just-
Yeah, like an
blade.
American
I
tonto,
can just-
you try to skin something.
Or the inner blade.
You're
So
going
if you
through
take this
everything.
blade
Yeah.
and you choke up on it, you can do fine
Fine
cuts
work,
with it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in a 2-blade system or 3-blade
Yeah.
system. I like a small, like a Mora or a small blade knife with a larger blade.
Yeah.
I'm not an axe guy, but this actually
I am.
is.
I am, depending on where I'm at.
Well, depending, I mean, on your loadout.
If I'm in a
what you're
boreal
doing.
forest, I want a damn axe.
But
and preferably a Fiskars.
and this locks your hand
Can't
in.
break the handle.
So if you chop with this actually is designed to lock your hand in so that it's comfortable.
you
It
can
doesn't have
relax
hot
your
spots.
wrist.
Yeah.
You already
Yeah.
sold it to me.
You're
Where
whipping.
do I get one?
You
Well,
can't.
here's the other thing. Check this out.
Well,
Well,
what
see, the
happened
knife I was
was,
doing this.
what happened was,
What had happened
Well,
was,
what happened was
Just so you
Dude.
see, so there
Check
are
this out.
different. You see how that kind of shaves, right? You see the fuzz.
thank God you're a mongrel.
A lot of that was mold, but
that was
But
mold.
What you're getting, so
The
there's.
sloths do grow mold on them, don't they?
But friends like
I took
Carl,
a shower
he's
last
gonna
week,
be-
Carl.
yeah, you did.
But you're getting 3 different cutting edges here,
Yeah.
right?
You
So
really
you
are.
got a flat grind here. You have a convex grind here.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's
But
why these were so damn
convex-
expensive to make.
Yeah, they're
Convex
expensive.
grinds have their problems and they have their shining spots,
Yes.
right?
Right.
But I was just trying this earlier,
Wow.
Right?
Look at that. I know, 9-inch blade.
and look at that. It's like a baby's bottom.
Yeah, that's.
That's a
Yeah.
sharp bitch.
It's a great
That's
knife.
We're
not the
gonna
kind
have-
of DNA
so
that his wife
these
once
are-
laid all over the ground. and
These are all handmade.
Dog hair is okay.
She
Emery's
freaks if
pubic
one of these.
hair,
And-
no.
If this detaches from my face, it's the
We're
nastiest thing
working
that's ever
on a
existed.
more affordable version. This is a $500 knife.
Yeah.
But it has a hell of
That-
a
dude,
sheath.
that's
Drop it
not
right
bad.
there.
It has a hell of a sheath.
And to
handmade
those of you
knife?
that have paid for these and haven't yet received them, call Donnie.
yeah.
Call Donnie a bitch. What? Why would you do that?
Those of y'all that are jonesing for book 11.
Yeah, you know,
I
can't
He's
bitch
really
because-
kind of working on
I
it.
can't bitch because
sometimes.
I got guys that have ordered my TR1 rifle that they still haven't.
Who
got
made?
yet.
Who makes your rifle for you?
Made by Tactical Edge Arms out
Right
of right outside Fort Campbell.
That can always be a nightmare, man. I've tried to do it too.
It's hard to bring handmade kit of any kind.
well, and like
That
I mean,
is
I'm sure
sexy,
Carl.
dude.
I'm
All
sure.
there is excuses. Hold on, I
stick?
got something. Hey,
Yeah.
Yes, damn, dude.
Carl.
What?
Erica Hochstetler said that you're forgetting one piece of equipment for survival everyone must have.
Oh God.
Condoms?
Oh shit! This is from Erica Hochstetler.
Yeah, the skull of your enemies to drink from.
This
Ah!
Okay.
I love her. Who is that?
Yeah, you should. We'll hook you up.
All right.
I don't want to get hooked up. I just love her.
Whoa.
That's my shit.
Erica, no, she's one of my patrons. Erica,
Go your enemy.
Erica is fucking awesome.
Dude,
Erica's fucking awesome.
you're the
We
shit,
love
Erica.
Erica. Erica
'Cause
came to our Patreon class.
That's
and,
how I live.
we love Erica. She's a nutbag. Her and Jerry J. Were
May his leg
definitely
rest
quite
in
a
peace.
pair. Quite a pair.
That's why I like
Erica
Irvin.
wanted to come to airborne school.
Really?
And I'm like, no. Sometimes you just got to draw the line.
So
And
no,
Erica,
so-
you know why? You know why? I love you, Erica. Just not that much.
All right. Well,
Not that much.
Next question.
Buford teaches
I love you,
this.
Erica.
He didn't
I never
put
met
anything
you.
in
You're
there,
all right.
but thanks, Buford.
What is it?
He didn't put anything in there, but he put in one. Another gentleman who's anonymous. I like this. You not being able to see the fucking screen, Carl.
Not getting distracted. You're able to roll.
Oh, shit.
No,
That's funny.
It says donating anonymously. Yes, Carl would have fucking gave his name out.
That is
Oh,
true.
shit.
Look,
What is
That
that?
is true.
He has a
I'm
question
drinking this bottle of
asking.
water.
I got the sheet.
He's asking whether or not we're going to do anything to help Jerry J out.
Yeah, guys. And here's why I'm not passing the hat here
Thank you.
yet. And I've got the best guys. I have got the best fan base. My patrons
So do
are
I. I gotta
awesome.
give a huge
They
shout
really
out
are.
to mine.
Jerry J is a member of my Patreon family. He came down to hang out with us, and like I said, he tried to do a stand-up landing. He reached for the earth, locked his knee, and
Shit happens,
fractured
dude.
his femur, literally right here. Okay, that falls under the dumbass category, right? Not a
Affleck.
big deal. Here's the problem, though: is Jerry doesn't have medical insurance, none, zero. Here's the other deal: is Jerry is a former Czech special ops guy that immigrated to the U.S. He doesn't have anybody, guys. He doesn't. He gravitated to us because he missed the camaraderie of being around other soft guys. We embraced Jerry. We brought him into our family. He's attended a bunch of my classes. When he wanted to come on this thing, I was like, dude, it's a lot of money. It was expensive to parachute. He wanted to do it. I'm like, Jerry, if it means that much to you, by all means, come down. Second jump, he broke his leg. So I passed the envelope there, and I didn't get up in front of everybody, make a big scene. I didn't, but a couple of the round canopy parachuting team instructors, the jump masters, said, "Hey, Carl, what are you
Who were
doing for
great
Jerry?"
guys.
The awesome guys.
I got money for 'em.
We put together a little envelope of money. It was all $100 bills, and
Well, if you need help raising money
and-
for him,
Yeah, dude, we got
and
you.
Emery pitched in.
We
We're
got
in
you,
if
dude.
he needs help.
We're in. I
No,
got money
not
for 'em.
yet, not yet. What that did was that
you're ready.
gave me the reason why I was late today was because it was an hour to come this way from the airfield, but it was an hour the other way to go to Jerry,
hospital.
and that added
nobody
3
cared.
extra hours. That's why I was 3 hours late. But I went down to see Jerry.
58 gallons
That
of gas.
envelope of money is, you understand, he flew on a plane with his bags and a trash bag. He didn't have a suitcase. So the day prior, I gave Lee
Excuse me.
LeBlanc some
It
money
wasn't
and
even a
bought him a
trash bag.
suitcase.
Yeah, trash bag.
They cut all his clothes off of him on the drop zone because he was literally a.
was it an open fracture or was it?
No,
Oh,
but
okay.
you understand. You can literally with a closed.
Oh, you can hemorrhage.
You can lose enough liters of blood
yeah.
inside of a thigh.
Oh yeah.
Femoral arteries there. It just
Oh, yeah,
depends
yeah.
which way the break
And,
goes.
Well, even if you don't cut
Just
the
tissue
femoral
damage.
artery, something
That's
like
it.
that, all of your osteoclasts, your baby blood cells,
Coming out of
are
your
bone,
marrow,
and
yeah.
bone marrow. So if you break a femur, they're very, very vascular. So, anyways, they took care of him. The hospital's taking care of him.
What can we do?
That money I gave him in that envelope will get him home to. He lives in New Jersey, right outside New York. The problem, though, is
There.
the hospital's going to give him a bill when he checks out, and that bill's going to haunt Jerry for the rest of his life. I want you to think about how much. Like when I got one of the lenses replaced in my eyes, guys, it was $7,000, and it took the guy literally 7 minutes to do the surgery.
Holy shit.
Right, literally, I spent more time in pre-op than I did talking to the doc while he was inside my eyeball. Right, Jerry was in surgery for a long time, and I was an outpatient. Jerry is still there.
You got recovery.
He is going to get hit with a bill, guys. So right now, I know you guys. It's heavy on your heart. You're wanting to. You guys are, because I got great people out there. Hold on, let's wait. Let's figure out how much it's going to be, and then we'll see what we can do. So I appreciate you guys offering.
Well, no, all we're saying is
good.
when that time comes, you let us know.
Yeah.
We're gonna do the same thing.
No,
I'll throw in.
brother. I appreciate.
I mean,
that.
I'll put $500 in it
Yeah.
today if we need
What
to.
makes
whatever
us
it takes.
and you
I mean,
guys and all of us, because we're all together.
Yep.
We're all a family. We really are. And even the people I haven't met, we're all like-minded. What makes us better is that we all step up and help each other.
And
Just like they did
right
for
now,
you.
at the moment, my office burned down,
Yeah.
and I lost.
Everything.
Yeah, I lost.
He lost everything. He won't say it. But he lost everything.
I lost my
I
office.
mentioned that to him.
Yeah, my office. I lost my side-by-side, my tractor. It burned into my shop.
Food
I lost
storage.
80% of my food storage, 90% of my ammunition,
Guns.
a fuck ton of guns. 30 years of equipment, gear, memories, challenge coins that I've gotten from guys in cool places.
Irreplaceable shit.
Patches that people
your
sent me
work?
from all over the fucking world.
Yeah.
All my computers, camera gear. I mean, I lost.
Everything.
I wish you guys could
Everything.
see some of the guns. The temperature
pictures.
that fire had to get to
Melted
melt,
AR-15
literally
and
Yeah,
melt
we
some
were
of these
looking.
guns.
There's an AR-15 melted to a AK
Bonded.
magazine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bonded.
Fused.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like the thing.
It was so bad. It was so. When I came
But-
out, because a neighbor showed up. Their dogs are barking. Actually, she lives 2 doors this way down on this side of the street. Her dogs are barking. She comes and beats on our door. We get up. She says fire. I take off running outside. As I pass her, she's like, "You want me to call 911?" I'm like, "You fucking have it!" And I just kept running.
Melted his truck.
Yeah, burned up got part of my truck. And I run around to my office, and I'm just like, fuck. And ammo was cooking off. I mean, it was
ugly.
It was so bad.
But listen,
but
Carl,
I had
you
to
know
get
we got
in there
you
and get
on
my
that.
truck
Yeah,
out
no,
of the
I
way.
appreciate that.
more-
And Jerry's good people. He's good people.
Whatever we can
It's
do,
our
brother.
Honor.
Like,
I do
honor.
appreciate it. I do
Our
appreciate
honor.
it.
I got a couple more.
All right, hit us with the next one, Chadster.
Hey, Chris,
Yeah.
where the fuck is book 11?
Who asked that?
Doesn't matter.
No.
Anyway,
I want a name, goddammit.
Book 11 will show up after all the Daltons have been delivered and then some. He tried to shift that. He's like, yeah, what about the Daltons, Don?
After all the
Yeah, I got 2 left
Yeah,
to
we
go,
may never
bitch.
see book 11.
all right.
No, we will see
But
it.
listen, Book 11.
It's
will be-
coming, I'm trying.
It's Stephen King quality.
You guys are going to love and hate.
And
Book
cry.
11. I'm telling you right now.
You're going to cry.
It opens hard. It ends worse.
It does.
I'm
It's
working my
gonna
way
be-
there.
I'm
You're not going to
down
like
with
it.
Anthony Foltz.
Damn,
bad.
you're
Anthony
gonna
Foltz.
kill off the whole family.
I'm not killing.
Or Grimm.
Well, there are deaths.
Grimm.
There are deaths. The
Grimm.
ending of the book, you guys are going to hate me for, and I think they asked for book 11 a lot. They're going to be demanding book
Yeah,
12.
Book 12 is going to be
pitchforks.
They're going to be pitchforks.
Mm.
And I'm
They're
going
also
to give.
asking
I'm going to
why-
sell his address for fucking 150
All right,
bucks
what's
a
it?
pop.
What's
They're
next?
also asking why the fuck the fire isn't lit yet, but I guess nobody told them that we're in Florida.
It's hot.
Because
Yeah.
we don't know how to light a fire.
Fucking
90
85 degrees, bitches.
there.
Yeah, it's
90
93 degrees here today. We don't need it. The fireplace is here.
Like there's not enough light on my face right now.
Yeah, I
Wish
know,
you guys
right?
could see
I feel like on the mothership's going to
Can you
sexually
see this?
draw me
Chad
up
is
and experiment.
all
on
of Chad's lights from my office, right where we usually film. He brought them all and put them all right there, pointed them all
Yeah.
at my retinas.
And I'm expecting some dude to come in with a towel and a jug of water.
me. Is
And
this 4K? Because
Who's gonna be sitting here with
No, because Chris has shitty fucking internet. It's not 4K.
yeah, and every
oh,
other
I'm sorry.
shower,
That's what
every
happens
other
when you
shower
come to the
3
woods
days.
of Florida. Welcome to the
3
swamp.
days.
You're welcome.
3
And
days.
I think they're pleased with what they've got.
They better be. It's all they're fucking getting.
All right, so hey, this Friday's video, right? This being Sunday, right?
Is it?
it's
Sunday,
Monday.
Sunday.
No,
Monday?
it's Sunday.
Sunday.
Today's Sunday.
Well, when you don't work,
Sunday.
it's
Well,
it's
I
all
don't
blended.
Sunday?
I don't.
So today's
have
Sunday.
a calendar.
So
I
2
don't
days
know.
ago, Friday, I put out a new video every Friday.
Ah,
So
that's a cool concept. I'm gonna try that.
Friday was red dot optics on combat pistols, and I'm sincere when I say this, guys. That you'll notice most of my classes I do not run optics, and here's why: because most of the students are not running red
Really?
dot optics. They don't. So if a unit, a military unit or law enforcement unit shows up, to train. I ask them ahead of time, hey, what firearm are you using? And
What's your platform? Yeah.
I swap holsters and I train for a couple days with whatever platform I'm going to teach on.
used to be able to
The SIG 320 trains different than the Beretta, trains different than the 1911, different than the Glock. But I'm sincere when I say, mark my words, within the next 4 or 5 years, all combat pistols will have red dot optics on them. Now, I know there's a lot of haters out there. I got that. But sincerely, I was that young Green Beret in the early 90s when red dot optics first showed up for ARs, for the M4s. And all the old timers were like, fuck that, glass breaks, batteries die, stick with iron sights. And I'm like, okay, but I'm gonna give this a try. So I remember being in Africa with one of the original reflex sights with a PVS 14 behind it.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, brother, I can see my dot in the dark.
Yep.
I can't see my iron sights in the dark. I could literally keyhole guys right here.
Hey guys, please do not donor box money for Jerry, because I have to pay taxes on that.
Yeah. Anyways, so I'm sincere when I say it that was the early 90s, and now every carbine has a red dot on it. There are guys that don't even run backup iron sights, which I disagree with.
I disagree with that too.
I think you should have backup irons. However, it's almost completely unheard of for somebody to not run a optic or some kind of glass device on their guns. It just brings the benefits outweigh the cons.
I think a red dot. If you're running a rifle, a weapon platform of any variety, okay, AKs, whatever, what the hell you want to run?
Anything.
If you're running an optic, a powered optic, or even just a glass optic, I guess, it should be on a QD rail, so you can get that son of a bitch off fast, or co-witnessed. So you can co-witness irons through it. But every gun should have iron sights. That's my opinion.
I'm close. I wish I had my TR1 here to show you. I like flip up emergency sights.
I like those too.
Keep it slick.
Yep.
So, but the reason, and a lot of people ask, well, Carl, when you made your TR1, why did you go with the cheap plastic Magpul flip up iron sights when you could have gone with there's all these other
Troy Industries or some
titanium
shit,
and all?
yeah.
I'll tell you why I did, because one, my pistol grip's made out of plastic. So's my stock, and plastic is tough.
And so's your magazine.
They've tested the Magpul.
Here's the deal. That front sight is spring loaded. So where I sit my hand, C-gripped, right? Literally, I move my thumb back on the gun, I turn on my light. But also, if I move my hand forward, hit that button, my front sight immediately pops up. So when I go to bring up that red dot optic, if I forgot to turn it on, or if the battery's dead, literally I can look through the back of that EOTech, use it as my large rear aperture with that
Center that bad boy.
pop-up front sight post. Brother, I have done shooting out to 50 meters, and you're just crushing targets with it, without a doubt.
What's that high-rise mount we've been using? The
Unity?
Unity. So I run the Unity tactical high-rise mount with an aim point. Then I do fixed sights. So with the Unity, you can look down and it's got.
You can just look
a
right under your
see-through,
optic and see through there.
Or you can
It's
jump
badass.
up, but it's higher for shooting with nods or gas.
It's
rounds.
really nice.
Well,
It's short.
what you need
it is
to
the next
understand,
evolution.
if you have one of those, is your height over bore.
Oh, you
right?
got to
That
watch
changes.
Well, when
yeah,
you're shooting
optics
close,
over bore, you got to watch
definitely
that.
your mechanical offset use a chain.
Yep.
But when you bring the gun up,
That's what
it's
spending
just
time on
quicker.
range will learn.
It's
Yeah.
even if you're not running nods, it's quicker. But when you bear down, you can see right on your fixed sight. So things are the thing about combat optics, and also I buy 8, but they drink them.
You know, it's
Lost my
good.
train of
Bullet's
thought.
good. You know what's better than bullet, though, guys?
Everything.
You know what's better than bullet.
Knife.
How about some dead red?
Yeah.
Anybody got a
Ooh.
corkscrew?
Ooh!
Oh.
Let's
I
do
have a
that.
knife.
Anybody got a
Oh,
corkscrew?
you got
Just
it?
chop top off the. I can go get
Oh,
one.
hell
Yeah,
no.
dead. Oh,
I'll
dead.
be right
Give me
back,
a corkscrew.
Your wine is the shit.
My wine.
But
He just
listen,
called
with
my wine shit.
that high optic
He just called my
offset.
wine shit.
So,
That's
Carl,
shit.
I have a question.
I have an
Damn
answer.
it,
Yes,
Carl.
2 plus 2 is 4.
Yeah. Chris has been talking about you all the last week and a half.
Yeah, he just likes
He-
my ass
and
in
he,
those
it
pants.
must be, but he keeps talking about this battle that you were in with some primates. And I've yet to hear this story.
Baboon
He's
Alley.
talking
Baboon,
about
I want to
Planet
hear
of
the
the
story
Apes.
of Baboon Alley.
Baboon Alley.
Hey, don't tell that fucking story yet.
But,
I like how you waited
So
till
what
the end.
happened was,
Oh,
Well,
shit.
and, you know, you talking about Chris, and I'm
Hold
gonna,
on.
I'm gonna say this while Chris is out.
What's he doing?
Chris,
You want the truth? You can't.
You can't handle the truth.
They can't see you.
I know. All right. So here's what we got. Am I opening the Helen's Finest for you, Chad?
Can we kill one of the lights?
Isn't what happens
I
when
feel,
you
like,
go
I feel like the aliens are
from
coming.
2 bottles of whiskey to
That wine is the shit. I love it.
Chad, as of right now, I don't know about the Overland Challenge. I don't know if I'm going.
Okay.
I know I got hosed on
You
it.
did not. How would you get home? You got bumped from the passenger seat. Yes, but that don't mean you can't ride in the back.
Because you drive a Tercel.
At least I'm
dude.
not making you ride bitch in the middle, right?
I'll just sit there and
Chad's like
rub on Chad.
like,
Right, he's also got a nice fluffy white
well,
beard.
Yeah,
think
he
of
does.
it as just like
All right,
if
guys.
you're
So
jumping out of a Cessna. This way you'll be
a
sitting
lot
there.
of my patrons know this.
Not again.
I live up on a hill with my wife's family, and my aunt Helen used to give me shit because she loves wine. She loves wine. I like Mountain Dew. So back in the day, there's no way I would
High
earn my
society.
Green Beret without
Mountain
Mountain Dew
Dew.
because I couldn't stay awake in class. So I was doing like 9
Is that
liters a
pre-Red
day.
Bull?
It was before Red Bull was
way
out.
pre-Red Bull.
So one year, because I used to pour Mountain Dew in the wine and to increase the chuggability factor, and Helen would lose her shit. She would be so pissed at me. Oh my God!
She's a
So
purist.
I would after that it was like, well, I like poking people with sticks, so I'd wait till she was looking, and then I'd pour the Mountain Dew in. Well, one year for Christmas, I got Helen a winemaking kit. And come February, that thing was still sitting there. I spent good money on that shit, right? I'm like, come on, Helen, we're gonna make wine, and she's like, so I'm like, oh hell no. So me and Helen, this was years ago. We started making wine.
John Wick shit.
Now, on our hill, we have 193 fruit trees. I've got some grapes. I got raspberries. I got blueberries. I got blackberries. I don't have enough grapes to make enough wine, a whole batch. So,
Which one do you want?
It's a red.
oh, we're gonna
It's a
drink
red.
them all.
I'll
right?
fucking
Open the
red.
red.
I'll just start on this end.
So, but
I'm ready to
So what
drink.
we do is, let's say you want to
Drink,
make a
pussy.
California White Zinfandel. You can buy California grapes that are already mushed. If you want to make a Italian wine, you can buy Italian grapes already mushed.
Already mushed?
So what we
How'd they
started
ship
off
them?
with
He didn't waste my time
was
taking it, did he?
me and Helen made a White Zinfandel. It's actually, if you look at the label, it says Helen's Finest. And I'll tell you what, our first batch, it was drinkable. I won't say it was great, but it was drinkable. And the
Only if you're already drunk.
the cool part was there's a bunch of steps to it. And me and Helen, we would get together, and this was bonding time. Because when my mother-in-law passed away, Helen didn't have any kids, and she's like my mother-in-law, that I lost, my second mother-in-law. I love her to death. Helen, if you're watching, I know you hate guns,
Helen.
but she does hang
Oh,
out.
I'm fairly
Helen-
confident.
Helen-
Helen's fine.
You rock.
Helen's way too
It is
smart
awesome.
to watch
Well,
this shit.
if she
Fast
is watching,
forward.
you make awesome wine, Helen.
Fast forward,
Holy
we've
shit,
love
that's
Helen.
good.
We've made like 20
Wow,
or
dude.
30 batches
I
of
mean,
wine now.
that's killer.
We've got it down.
Get a
We've
lot
got
of
it down.
That's not like bitch wine. That's good.
And
Is
the
this like fortified
chuggability
wine?
factor
Drink it.
is very,
Like
very
a
high. Now, see,
sushi
Chad's
roll.
getting pissed because y'all are drinking his
Yeah,
Helen's
you
Finest.
just asked me if I wanted to open it, and I
Teresa
said
would like
no,
to
and you
taste
opened
it.
it.
One of the ladies
It's
would like to
really
taste
good.
I'm gonna throw some at you, Chad. I can't find
That
any
is
more
so
throw.
good.
One of the ladies would.
That's
like
not.
to
That's good, dude. I mean,
Give me
for
that fucking
Zinfandel.
bottle.
You fucking.
Teresa taste it.
All right.
You're like
So-
you're like a bored
right,
house.
dead, dead,
You're like
so-
a bored
So-
housewife.
So after Helen's Finest, we like, well, we got to try a
And it's some good
Cabernet.
shit.
You're like a.
Give it to Teresa.
You.
fucking 11 bravs, dude.
So-
And before, a huge shout out to Teresa off camera here who made the best
Oh,
shrimp and grits.
Oh,
man,
man,
I
shrimp
so
grits
love you.
ever.
Oh,
come on,
we
get
love
in.
you,
love
we
you.
love
Get
you.
in.
Yeah, you got to
Get
take
in,
2 more
Teresa.
steps in.
Get in.
Flex for us.
Now get in.
There we go.
And in case anybody's wondering, it was kosher and dewy. And
I
not shrimp
blessed
and
it.
grits.
I blessed it. I went up to the pot.
Chris, where's the ball? Man?
Blessed kosher.
He's got it.
Here, give it to the heeb.
You're very
Give
welcome.
it to the.
It was my
Hold
pleasure.
on, hold on. So,
That is good.
It is good, isn't it?
It's
So
really
we
good.
decided we're going to make a Cabernet. So you can't call it Helen's Finest because that's Helen's Finest, the White Zinfandel. So what are we going to call the red wine, well, we make it in a shed, so we decided to call it
Y'all may not get
Shed
that one
red.
back. Sorry.
Shed red.
Shed red.
You just,
But-
baby, you
Rhymes too close.
You earned
too
that
close.
shit.
So I wanted to
You
give a
earned
bottle
that.
away to one of my
Chad?
buddies. So
I'm good.
I print the
I'm good.
labels
Go ahead,
myself.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, print the labels myself. So, guys, we started making dead
fucking
red
silverware.
with the. Now
Dead
this
red.
this is it got the labels got wet
Yeah, like a baby
while we were
bird.
out at
Hang on, I'll give you
Palatka.
some.
Doesn't matter.
This is a June 2019 Merlot. This is actually a Merlot.
I ain't drinking no fucking Merlot.
No, you
My
got
ass,
this thing.
I got it.
you're gonna be
Hey,
you're gonna
you
be
see the
chugging
movie?
this
I
shit.
love it.
You're gonna be chugging
That's
it.
from a movie.
Give it
Come
to
on.
Chad. Chad
No.
needs it.
Give it
He
to
needs
Chad. Come on,
Chad.
Doug. Give
I'm
it
good.
to Chad. Give it to Chad.
Give it to
Chad.
Chad.
I ain't had none of this. Chad's
No,
drank this
give
before.
the
I
bitch
haven't.
wine to Chad.
No, go ahead.
Chad,
Hey,
if you want
go ahead.
some, you can come get it from the tap in a minute.
No, you're good, brother. Drink it.
What's the backwash in?
All right, hey, give me a second to get these donor boxes.
good.
Ain't that
Not
good?
bad, is it?
How
You
many
want more,
cases
brother?
of-
You're gonna have to
I
come
mean,
visit.
I'm coming.
Dude,
I'm coming.
What about me? I want to come.
You can come.
I wanna come.
That's a
Take
given, dude.
vacation.
You've already been.
All right, guys.
But Donnie,
You're-
we've already
you're-
talked
you're
about
my-
masturbation.
You're my man, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You're one of my patrons. You're
Hey.
always welcome.
Patron.
Always.
Hey, listen up. Listen up. Listen up.
What?
You're my brother.
Listen up.
Boy, dude.
Want
All
that
right.
last sip before you give it to him?
Oh my God, it's like babysitting a bunch of
All
fucking
right,
kids.
All
now,
right.
Come on, baby.
Hold on.
Chad's trying to
Chad's
say
got
something.
something.
Chad.
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Kraken said Kraken sent 50 in the donor box. He said for Jerry, I'll make sure he gets it, and I'll make a knife auction off to raise some funds for him
Oh, he's a
also.
knife guy.
That's great.
Yes, yeah.
Hey, knife maker brotherhood, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kraken
For
makes
sure.
badass shit.
Yeah.
Hey, and when you go to do the thing for Jerry, I'm gonna get books ordered because I don't have it, but I'll get books ordered again, and I'll give away a signed set you can auction.
Yeah,
off
we'll
or do
pay it
something
forward.
like
Pay it
that.
forward.
Awesome,
That'd
dude.
be awesome.
If I can get boxes remade, I'll do a
Hey,
box set.
Maybe we
but
could do it. Maybe we could do it. Maybe we
those-
could do it.
whatever I
Dalton.
can.
That's awesome.
Maybe
Whatever
we
I
could
can
do
throw
a
in.
Dalton.
That's awesome.
Okay.
If we've got a Dalton, let's do
Maybe
a
we
Dalton.
could do a Dalton auction.
Yeah, we might be able to provide. What'd you do with it? Take it out of your pants.
All right.
Wherever you
What's
put
a
it.
Dalton?
Hey,
This is
This
called the
is
Dalton.
I'm not done yet.
Oh,
Okay, keep going.
So
He
this
hasn't
knife-
finished the books yet,
This
dude.
knife was made from a Dalton. We're making 4 knives for characters from his book. That's
This is the first one. This is the Dalton.
Dalton's like my favorite character.
Based off the
so-
guy that designed it. Anyway, Chad, you were trying to say something before we rudely interrupted
let
you
me
again.
let me finish this up. Thank you, Kraken.
Maybe.
All right, salad dressing. He also put some stuff in. He said just got back from shooting at the range with mom and pops. Good ass day. Let's help out our people. I remember Jerry being there since the first videos as well. Get well, Jerry J. Yeah, Jerry J's been around for a long time. He's been a patron since the beginning. So we appreciate all your sentiments. But as Susan put in the chat,
So
let's
good.
wait until
Not
we
bad,
set
is
up
it?
a.
For
Oh
some
my
Kentucky
God.
redneck
Attention
making
span of a
wine up on
2-year-old.
his,
Favorite shit right
on his
there.
property.
Oh my God.
That's my favorite kind of wine. That's the shit. I drink wine. I'm a drinker. I drink every day. This is what?
You're interrupting.
Yeah, I don't know if
Chad
you
was
guys are aware.
talking, and you're.
You were talking, bitch.
No, you're being a dick, not me.
I don't know
You're
if you're
a dick.
aware,
You're a
but
fucking
that's a boom mic and it gets
dick, bro.
everything. Everything.
oh, like everything?
All right, Chad, what
Everything.
were you saying?
All right, so thank you. But as we were trying to say, let's not do the donor box for Jerry because we want to set up a donor box. Or
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not a donor box. A GoFundMe that
A
goes
GoFundMe for
directly
Jerry,
to him.
guys.
That way it doesn't come through me because basically, to be honest, I pay like 60% tax on that shit. So,
Well, and all his
Give it to me,
people
give it
can
to me, give
donate
it to me, give it to
too.
me.
Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me.
That's
Pull that
awesome.
label
It's
off.
off.
all right, we got another one from Hollywood movie star.
Dude, that's good shit.
We got
All right, now,
Up here where the wind, where the rain. will
so
We're
I
getting
got to
shit.
give a shout out to
Yeah,
Addie.
There you go.
Addie.
I'll staple that motherfucker there tomorrow.
Addie, this is called Addie's Showcase Cellar Merlot. Here's the cool part about Addie. Addie is she lives up on the hill with us.
Oh, everybody knows her. She pepper sprayed me.
Yeah, yes. Addie is the girl that was in the video that pepper sprayed Emery.
I want to pepper spray fucking Emery.
Addie, we love you. She's a part of my family. She's my sister. She's my wife's sister, basically.
I like this shit.
And
I know you did.
and her and my brother-in-law Danny. I love Danny. I love Addie. Addie decided she wants to make wine because we were making wine, but she's got a thing for Woodford's Reserve.
Oh, I love Woodford
Woodford's
Reserve.
Reserve, right?
Love that
Woodford's
shit.
Reserve. So what does she do?
Oh, it's good. Shut up.
She
Snobby
puts
bastard.
she in a because now we make
Box one.
6 gallons of wine at a batch, and we'll do a bunch of batches at a time. You get about 24 bottles out of it. She puts a whole bottle of Woodford's Reserve in her wine. So I also,
one?
Chris, brought you one of these. This is always the third bottle because after this one, everybody's like,
He's waiting for everybody to get drunk first, so that's.
Yeah, he thinks that bottle's going to do it, not the empty bottle of Long Branch or the mostly empty bottle of Bull.
All right, so,
the bullets right here.
so
it's
we're
almost
gonna
good.
crack Addie's.
But we're still drinking Dead Red,
No,
which
but
is
you,
yeah,
but we can
amazing.
pass away.
That's
Yeah,
a
here,
very
you can
good
have that.
blow.
All right.
Honestly, there's some Helen's.
Where's
Finest.
the screw?
Helen's
No, no, no,
finest
no,
goes
no,
to
no, no,
Chad.
no, no. Give me that shit.
Give me that shit.
for Chad.
Oh, I didn't know there was some of that left. I'd have drank it too. Where's the corkscrew?
Hey, if you want some, you can come get it off the tap in a minute.
He's getting ready to fix your knee. Emery's getting ready to fix your knee
Touche,
for you.
sir.
Emery's going to fix your knee.
All right,
Yeah.
hey, we got another one from Holly Movie Star. He said, Carl, ask for the hospital social worker where Jerry is. They'll have info and organizations who will help the patient without health care and its costs. So that's a good tip. Jerry, if you heard that, use that.
Yeah, Jerry.
Thank you.
Is Jerry in the chat room right now?
He's here.
It's from
He is?
Kentucky.
Yeah, and Doug Bunyard's here. Say hi to Dougie.
Doug Bunyard, brother. Doug, why have you not called me back? Doug, you hurt my feelings, brother. I have called you,
Because you're an asshole.
text you. Doug, reach out to me, brother. I miss you, dude. I miss you. That's not bad, is it?
That's awful.
It's awful.
Hey,
I'll just keep
I'll
it so you
take
guys
the
don't have
hill.
to drink it.
Shane, I will
That is
take the
freaking
hill.
amazing, dude. That is so good.
The Merlot, I'm at.
Oh my god. It's got
Try.
a, it's got a bottle of bourbon that you don't want to drink. It's got
Oh,
a bottle
shit.
of box bourbon in it. You don't want it.
All right,
That
hey,
is amazing.
all right. So here's another one from Leaf LeBlanc.
Hey!
No. It's from Le
Live LeBlanc.
What's up, Bob? What's up, Bob?
Hey, Bobby! Oh, Bobby Boucher!
Bobby Boucher!
Reggie Frenchman, Livy LeBlanc.
Okay, now
Hey,
No, we
hold
call
on.
him Bob because he got the jump. Now remember, the cutoff for coming to this parachuting course was 240 pounds, and Leaf, he's a
246 pounds.
burly dude.
He's a robust guy.
He cut like 30 pounds for this, and he was still down at 270.
I'm sorry, Leaf.
So
He's such a dick.
they wanted to tell him no, but
They
he's
put him on
part
a
of the
pallet?
tactical rifleman family. So they're
So
like,
they put
"All
a
right."
cargo chute on his
They
back.
put a
Put him on a
fucking
pallet?
cargo chute. It's orange, and when that shit would open, they actually it actually says B-O-B on the parachute harness. B-O-B.
Big old boy.
No, it's big orange ball. You
Begin
look
your
up in
own
the sky,
burial.
and it's like the sun is up there.
Now, hold on.
It was
First of all,
beautiful. It was beautiful.
not a lot
With
of people.
friends like
Leaf,
these
we love you,
fuckers.
brother.
So we meet a lot of patrons and all that. All of them are awesome.
They're all awesome.
Leaf,
They really are.
Leaf is one of my favorite people that I've met so far.
Yeah.
He is genuine, sweetheart, fucking love you. And he
Fucking
actually
love
came. He actually came out with combat jump wings.
Yeah,
he
here's
did.
the deal, guys.
Buster, didn't he?
He used to be he jumped into Panama with the Rangers,
Double
and
fisted.
he had they call it the mustard stain. But when you've done a
But
combat
in his case,
jump,
it was really mustard.
he had he's got the gold star on his jump wings. So
You're a prick.
the funny part
Jesus, that's
was
good.
they're
You're
all
a fucking
round
prick.
canopy
You're a prick.
parachuting team is pinning basic wings on everybody, and they're pinning them on him
On top
way
of his-
above his actual
legit
parachute wings
with a combat
that has
star.
a combat gold star
Yeah.
on it, which I thought was hilarious.
Oh,
so
and-
then, of course they had a guest speaker who was a light colonel that got blown up, lost his legs in Afghanistan. Great guy. He pinned the wings on and kind of whacked them in, gave Leaf his blood, and then Leaf had turned and looked at me, and I'm like, oh yeah, I slid him over a little bit. I came
Put
from
him
way back, dude.
Way back.
Boom! But you ever hear? Some people use a period at the end of a sentence. You ever seen that comma where you hit and
Yeah.
then you slide it to the side?
Oh,
or whatever?
yeah.
Yeah! And it's, yeah, it was a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing.
You're a prick.
No, not me.
You're
Not
a
me. I
prick.
wouldn't do it. But to get me
prick's too
back,
small.
I get remember I got to pin my son's blood wings.
Yes.
I whacked Emery. I hit Chad. Hit a bunch of the guys. We had a great bunch out there, guys. But then they called off the jump masters. I'm like, fuck, dude. I've been a jump master since like 1996. And they're like, no, we're gonna pin your round canopy parachuting team,
We're gonna be
jump
fucking
master
hammered
wings.
by the
I'm
end.
like, oh fuck. So I got
And who got to pin
all
you?
the jump masters lined up.
Oh no shit! Oh.
A couple of them whacked me, and then they bring me into the tent, and John Hotstetter has got a helmet.
You
Thank
finish
you.
that, bub.
Thank you. Here, I'll let you have some of this one.
No, fuck that shit. I
He
like
pulled that wings
Yeah, you got
over
nice
and
ass.
he hit me with a helmet.
Oh God!
He's like, dude, you better turn your head. I'm like, dude, just don't hit my collarbone.
You better turn your head.
Dude,
Weatherman's like,
good.
there are so, dude, there are so many holes right there
Chris.
in my chest.
Chris, that's some good shit.
oh
man.
shit, that's like a vampire.
Yeah.
That was good shit.
Dead
Was.
soldier. Dead soldier.
All right,
So y'all know
so
we're
can
gonna
I
get-
can I
we're not ready to
actually
get shit
can I
faced.
actually read what Leaf wrote in the thing?
Yes,
Because
LeBlanc. Go
as soon
ahead.
as I said his fucking name, you guys went off on a tangent again.
Leif LeBlanc.
Had an awesome time jumping with the TR team this week.
Except they're all assholes.
Flight got diverted to Atlanta, so I missed my connection. But now he gets to watch the fucking live stream. Rangers lead the
Awesome.
way.
Leif, I'm glad you made it, dude. I'm glad you made it.
LeBlanc.
Great jumping with you, Leaf.
Awesome.
Had a
LeBlanc.
great
Watching you go out the door, pushing that little what's the little
that
win?
he's a fan.
Mike Wynn.
Mike Wynn. He hesitated for a little minute, and I'm filming it, and I see Leaf behind him. I'm like, oh, you're going, dude.
Neil,
You may not know it, but you're going.
All right, now, you guys will get a chance to see this video. You'll get a
Leaf,
chance
you
to
will
see-
remember
French word
this.
for surrender.
Leaf.
and Neil.
Right is left, and left is right.
Oh yeah. So
Oh, there's backward
his
parachute.
what was his second jump, third jump?
Third jump.
Third jump. He goes out. No. I'm not bashing the riggers. I'm not bashing anybody. We're not supposed to be saying this on camera. But even the rigger admitted, he's like, yeah, man, that
wants
chute
to
wasn't
screw you.
inverted. It was put on backwards. So literally, he's trying to turn into the wind. And what that did was that made the chute face running with the wind. So as soon as he faced it, I'm like, yeah.
He's like hauling ass
He's
backwards.
flying. The boys doing like 12-mile-an-hour wind with a 10-mile-an-hour parachute.
Giant orange
Giant.
parachute.
He's
Everybody's
doing
looking.
21 miles an hour, and everybody else is basically standing still, and he's
just screaming across.
flying by.
Yeah.
And they're like, "What's wrong with that?" And
Is it
they're
a
like,
cargo chute?
Wait, but it's still designed to go forward. It's got holes in it.
Yeah, it's got vents on the back.
Except we're looking at him like those holes are on the wrong side. And he didn't realize it till he was like at like 200 feet.
Oh shit!
Oh,
But
dude.
he flipped that bitch
He
around
flipped
and he
that shit.
landed that shit.
Leaf, he did good, buddy.
He landed it
He
good, right?
kept presence of mind.
It was funny to
And,
me because when your stick went out, I really wanted to film you guys. It was just my phone, but
Yeah, sorry, Neil, you weren't on that one, you fucking asshole.
Yeah, Neil.
yeah, Neil.
Hey,
whatever.
Neil.
Quitter. Nobody likes a quitter, Neil.
Oh, I'm gonna
He
take
went
my
to
family
Disney
to
World
Disneyland.
instead.
You know what?
Neil went to Disney World.
Neil didn't want to get a divorce. Okay.
Yeah, Neil, I'm just giving you a hard
Look, all
time.
I'm
We love
saying
you,
is there's
Neil.
a lot of women in the world, and
Man up,
you know,
Neil.
whatever. Anyway,
Women.
but when he said divorced,
I know.
find another one. But when Leaf went out,
Neil.
No, Neil's got a
They're
good
everywhere,
one. Neil's
dude.
got a good
Neil's
one.
got it worked.
They're
but
everywhere. Grow a beard.
when I know I don't know I don't know you, Neil. I'm just
mosquitoes
fucking
and
joking
shit.
around.
Neil's
Yeah, they
awesome.
are. They're annoying, buzzing your.
Some
when I
more
looked
than
at-
others. Some more than
Are you
others.
rethinking this?
Some
shit, dude?
more
You met my wife, dude. You've met her.
I've met your wife.
So-
I've met your wife.
When you
God
guys all
bless that woman. God bless her.
God bless
That was
me.
it, bud.
I'm the saint.
Utterly.
Utterly. Fuck you.
Why
Hey, you
all
spent the
I heard
money.
was, all I
You
heard was
spent
the
the
word
fucking money.
utters.
You spent the fucking money.
Well, that fucking comedian that said that thing was hilarious. He's
Dude, I
like,
toasted to her.
Cows
tits.
can milk
her.
her.
Tits are like a character.
Shit.
so when Leaf went
Yeah,
out,
they're on the zip code.
the plane, and I looked out the window.
Boom, boom.
The only person I was able to identify
Bye,
you
JT.
going out first. But I was like, well, there's Leaf.
Yeah, he's
he's-
a big orange ball. Big orange ball.
I didn't know where anybody else was, but I knew where he was.
Big orange ball.
Bye, JT.
Guys, the cool part, and you'll get a chance to see the video.
Cool enough. Let's light the fire.
So we pulled strings, and they did everything for us. They did everything for us. But the last day that we jumped, they brought in this World War II C-47, right?
Which is badass.
The
Tico
day prior,
Bell.
but the second day,
You need it flat.
literally,
Flat shooting.
I asked humbly. I know you guys don't know who Chris is.
I'm a nobody.
Nobody.
I would like Chris to be able to put on a bailout shoot and just be on the bird to observe. And they're like, call anything you want, anything you want.
Wow.
They let him
They
on.
hooked me up.
All right. But then, me in my World War II uniform, literally brown Cochrane jump boots, World War II helmet.
Not just
everything.
him, Nick too.
Yeah.
Nick, you
Nicholas,
two were.
World War II uniform.
And let's
GI
talk about
helmet.
Tico Bell for a minute.
Oh,
She
epic,
towed it-
epic fucking plane.
Tico Bell towed a glider into Normandy on D-Day.
Yep.
She returned and dropped 2 sticks of paratroopers,
Yep.
participated in Market Garden and the Berlin Airlift.
Yeah.
Yep.
That plane is when I climbed up them steps and I was standing in that thing. All I can imagine was those guys,
Did you feel the honor,
dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like I texted you.
Like it's weird to me.
Imagine
Like
the flak.
I
like,
walked up to the
shooting
front.
and
I'm
shit.
looking at the radio operator station.
Yeah.
There's a fucking.
You know what? Look, these
Morse
motherfuckers
code.
in World
You
War
don't
II.
have
Keep
to
that
imagine
there.
the flak because when you get up there and you sit down,
Dude, that son of a
and
bitch
you're,
is
and you're,
rattling
and you're
and
just
banging.
sitting on the floor, and I'm running my hands down that skin, and it's all covered in epoxy because they're covering up all those little flak
Shrapnel holes
yeah,
and shit.
and
Listen,
bullet
listen.
holes.
Can we take a minute to have a fucking toast for all those badass?
Those were men. Those were
badass
fucking men.
motherfuckers that flew in
All right.
during
To
fucking D-Day.
all
dude.
those,
God,
you
man.
guys see
Men.
them at the mall. You see
Heroes.
them everywhere with the old World War II
Yeah.
hat and with the walkers.
You fucking
and,
worship
and you're
those
you're
guys.
pissed out and you want them to get out of the way.
No.
Those
Those
motherfuckers were more badass
Dude.
than you will ever be.
They were,
Or
they
any
were
of
men.
us.
Yeah,
Ever.
or
Or
others. They
any
were
of
more
us.
men than all. Dude, they were fucking.
Yeah.
They were men.
When
on
you
a
look at
level,
what them
on a
guys
level
went out
we'll
of
never
place
fucking
with.
know.
A
Can
toast.
you, can you fucking
And a
imagine?
moment of silence, because you motherfuckers talk too much.
Fuck you.
You call him motherfucker?
Moment of silence for them
It's
boys.
better than
You're
being
right,
a
you're right.
fatherfucker.
Way better. Way
Way
better.
better than
fucking
being a
prick.
Or a
fatherfucker.
sister fucker. or-
You fucking prick. You couldn't hold a
Sister
nut.
fucker.
on
You
one
are
of
from
them motherfuckers.
Alabama, aren't
No,
you?
I'm not. He's from Kentucky though.
Ooh.
You live there too, goddammit.
Yeah.
But no, the history of that. I mean, climbing up
My
that
sister.
plane, looking at
You ain't
that
met my
cockpit,
sister.
looking at the navigator station,
I also haven't dated
looking
your
at the
sister
radio
lately.
operator, and knowing that like when one of those planes went up, there would be
Best friend
23.
she has
I'm
around.
married to
24
Southern Belle
guys
from
on it.
Kentucky. I
You're
did.
not
I
How
love her
many
to
of
death.
those
You're from
fucking
up
things
north,
went
right?
down?
Yeah, I'm a
And you know what?
Where you
How
from?
about
I see
this?
a
How about
Yankee comes down
Where you
to
from?
visit.
get
A
on
damn
that
Yankee
plane,
comes down
right?
and stays. I'm
And
from
you're walking
Connecticut
vertical.
That's right.
Don't
Yeah,
hold
you
it
are.
against me. I fucking hate
And you're
Connecticut.
sitting down and you're
Dude,
going,
I hate
this fucking
Connecticut.
thing is
You're one of
not
my
leaving
favorite
the
human
ground.
beings on the planet. I wouldn't hold
This
it.
is not leaving the ground.
This Jew fucker,
And then,
I'm gonna hold
and
it
then
against you.
it taxis down the runway, and then as it rolls, the rear wheel lifts up.
And suddenly you're level again. You're
This
like,
is
hey,
not right. This is something's
look,
backwards here.
Not to digress, but let's talk about these dudes in fucking World War II and the technology that they had to deal with, and the gliders and the dudes that went behind enemy lines. Not to mention the badasses that landed on the beach, because we all know those are men on a different fucking level.
Yep.
But those guys that jumped and landed behind enemy lines more often than not, think about the amazing shit that they did.
oh yeah.
Dude, can you imagine being in the nighttime, guns shooting around, horrified, landing, trying to find your friends?
There's 88s just working your ass.
I
just
mean,
trying to
I
get
mean,
No
out,
night
man.
vision, no
flat
radio,
anti-aircraft
no
guns.
GPS.
What
Dude,
remember what
you
they
know-
had? What they had? They had the cricket. Remember the click clack.
Hell itself.
That was it. That was click clack.
Hell,
And for the
that's
record,
probably
we
one of the
still use
reasons you
those.
wanted to
I
be
know we
a
do.
bravery.
Yeah,
One of the reasons you wanted to join.
without a doubt.
Hell,
without a doubt.
itself, dude. I had two. My grandfather's brothers both landed on beaches and on D-Day, and my grandfather fought in Europe. And I'm telling you, the stories that they tell me about frozen toe. Two of them had toes missing because their toes froze, and when they were fighting over there.
Battle
How many
Bulls or something
grandfathers
like
did you
that.
have?
No, my
You said
grandfather.
two of them.
No, it's two uncles. No, two uncles.
Oh,
His-
uncles,
His two,
okay.
my great uncles, his two brothers. Look, dude, these guys were just on next level.
That's like my brother Alan. His
Next.
grandfather was on Ewo. He was a stretcher bearer. So he'd have to run through all that shit with an empty stretcher, pick some wounded fucker up with another dude, run back with that guy, pick up ammo, run back to the front, drop off the ammo, pick up another wounded dude, run, and that's what he did all day long.
Those guys that
Like, could you imagine? I mean, think of Iwo Jima.
the guys
what that
that
was
fought
like.
in that shit.
Oh my
that
God.
came back were like my ex-wife's grandfather was in. He fought in Patton's Third Army. He literally. They were afraid of nothing after that. They literally had no fear of anything because they went through hell.
They developed something
Yeah.
around the Chosin.
Look,
back
and now
a few
we
years
got
later.
this shit in this country,
Those are
these
Marines
people.
that are different.
All these guys did all this so we could have this, and now these
we're giving it away.
these motherfuckers now, excuse my language, I'm sorry, but these motherfuckers are fucking turning our
I gotta
country
start
into a
drinking
piece of
this
shit.
shit here.
They dishonor every single one of them.
Drink this
No, I
shit.
don't wanna drink that shit.
I'm sorry. And in Vietnam, I mean, I'm dealing with a client that's a Vietnam veteran right now, and all these guys that are war fighters and they go war on terror, and the shit they're doing now dishonors every one of them, and that's what hurts
Yep.
me
Yep.
more than my rights and my we all live in a great world. We all live
Without a doubt.
We all live in paradise because we really do.
Yeah.
How many
We
of
need
you
to
actually
appreciate
are
what we
any of
have.
you actually hungry or worried about having a meal?
Oh shit, no.
Are any of you worried about having a meal?
How much food do we throw in the trash?
Listen,
Literally.
these people.
We ain't throwing away no shrimp
These
and grits, I'll
people
tell you that.
went
No.
through, and you went through hell. And goddamn it, dude, I love you and I appreciate you for going through the hell you went through. And I know you're cool and all that.
Oh wait, now we can tell about Ben Alley. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I'm
Dude.
a little behind
No,
everybody.
no.
Look.
Yeah, we have to
look,
tell
look.
that.
We have to honor.
For me.
And we have to think about that as we go through in these next
Yeah,
times
without
that
a
we
doubt.
live to.
Yep.
Because that should be the guiding light of us and what
Or
we
we could
do
tell the dildos.
as all this shit comes down.
Oh, you gotta know that.
You're a prick.
Yeah. You
All right, so
Fucking
Miguel's
prick.
grabbing
I told him.
her.
I told him that the other day. He's like, "Nope, stop. I want to hear it on Sunday night."
I'm just saying, I don't mean to get
Um,
all serious, but that shit means the world to me. Because
Oh,
my
yeah,
whole
you
life,
owe
my
us
whole
the
life was
dildo
possible.
story.
I do know the
My whole
dildo
life
story.
of leisure and pleasure,
hilarious.
even getting to train and do all the shit. I think I'm cool. I ain't cool. Those fucking guys are cool.
you guys want to hear a couple?
For the record,
World
folks, I
War
want
II
everybody to
stories?
remember that Donnie
wanna
just
hear
said
about
he's
that.
not cool.
I ain't
Just-
cool at all.
I want
I'm
to check
not.
mark that one.
Well,
I
yeah, it's
said
pretty
that.
fucking hot out here.
I'm not cool.
Yeah.
I'm a humble
It's also
civilian.
pretty hot.
All right, so
But I want to hear what he has to say.
here I was. When I
What happened
when I
was-
first got married, my son, he's sitting right over there. He was about that tall. All right, he's got his little bib overalls on, his little
He's
white
like that
leather
tall
shoes,
now.
about that
Like-
big.
like
Yeah,
that tall
yeah,
now.
he's taller than me now. But my little man is about that
He's a
big.
guy.
My wife worked as a hostess at her mom's Kentucky Smokehouse restaurant, nice family restaurant, and the hostesses they had it. It's called the coffee table. It was an 8-seater right by the front door, and that's where the hostesses hung out. And my mother-in-law owned the restaurant along with Helen, who I make the wine with.
You're a dick.
But I also had another aunt called Ann. Ann passed away early, but she was awesome. I used to flirt with Ann all the time. She was
Oh,
awesome.
fine, trust
It was like I had 3 mother-in-laws, right? Well, I would get off from work at Fort Campbell. Now, SF guys get off at work at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. in the afternoon, we're off work. Now, that sounds like we don't work very much. No, but the reality is, and the support kids, they got to work till 4:30.
Well, you started at like
They
3.
get pissed, but what they don't realize is a lot of times we come back to do like night ranges or night jumps and stuff like that. But come 2 p.m., if you got nothing to do, they're like, they know we're going to go home, we're going to work out, we're going to go do this, we're going to go do that. So 2 p.m., jumped in the car, raced back, and I come into the Kentucky Smokehouse because that's where my wife is. I come in there, and there's always one of the state troopers sitting there, Randall Cruz or one of the other guys. John, the old pastor that married me and my wife. Well, I go in this one time, and I'm sitting, I've got my uniform on, and I've got my air assault wings. I've got my my expert field medical badge. I've got my combat infantryman's badge, but I also have my airborne wings with the star over it, not the star and wreath. I had just gone through jump master school, but I hadn't done enough mass tax yet to actually get my wreath. But I had been through jump master school. And then, I got my SF tab, and I've got my Ranger tab, and I got my combat patch from the 101st. And I'm sit down, green beret hanging out of my pocket. There's this old guy sitting there, old guy. He's at the time, I'm like 27 years old. So, anybody that's over 30 is old as fuck to me. But he looks at me, sitting there at the table. So he's obviously a friend of the family. If you sit at the coffee table, you are a friend of the family. So I immediately, the guy's a member of the family. Old guy. And he looks at me, he's like, "How you doing, Sarge?" I'm like, "Sir, I'm doing well. How about you? And he's like, I see you got airborne wings there. How many jumps you got? And I'm like, well, I haven't jumped very much. You know, I just got the group. I actually just finished Jump Master School. I just got my 22nd jump. And he's like, well, shit, I only got 3 jumps. And hold on for a second. All right. Now, remember, if you go to airborne school, it's 5 jumps. 5 jumps to graduate from airborne school. So maybe he got hurt and he only got 3 jumps, right? But he actually started off with, well, I got my airborne wings too, but I only got 3 jumps. So I'm wanting to throw up the bullshit flag here, right? Because I know for a fact,
Kill it.
you always had to do 5 jumps.
5 jump.
So he starts talking about, I'm like, so sir, how is it you only have 3 jumps? That's about the time it clicked in my head, his age. He was older than my father. My father was Vietnam era. This guy was a couple decades older. This guy was a member of the greatest generation. And he said, he's like, I jumped into Market Garden. And then he basically, all 3 of his jumps were combat jumps. He listed them off by name, literally. And I'm like, hold on for a second, because you've got to be airborne first, right?
Yeah.
You got to be. So again, my hand's getting ready to go up. I'm wanting to throw up the bullshit flag, right? I'm wanting to throw up the bullshit flag. I'm wanting to call this guy out. I'm like, wait a minute. Well, what about jump school? And he's like, I showed up in England late, and there was the big push to do D-Day. And I did airborne school with about a dozen other guys, and all they had us do was jump out of boxcars
And do PLFs.
all of his jumps were out of a boxcar, a railway card on railroad tracks, with it parked in England. Now I want that to sink in because my son is sitting over behind the camera. My son got to get a course with geared to civilians, and then don't get me wrong, guys, they did a great job. These are military instructors, and they literally, I learned more in the class that I just took this week than I did in the real U.S. Army Airborne School at Fort Benning. Literally, that's how good the instruction was here. Yep. I learned more in the 1-day Jump Master course, Static Line Jump Master course, than I did at the Static Line Jump Master course that was taught at 5th Special Forces Group. Wow. Literally, that's how good the instruction was. So my son just did a couple days of this, and then he had all that training. They brought him up one-on-one with an instructor, jumped 1 student at a time. I'm good, man. My son was scared to death. I was scared to death on that first jump.
Chad was scared to fucking death.
3 minutes before. I actually got 2 jumps that first morning so they could check the block.
I ain't scared of you.
My reason for saying this is I am scared every jump. Literally, guys, every jump that I've ever done, I have been scared. Now, here's the deal. Everybody thinks courage is the absence of fear.
No,
courage is being scared and then embracing it and saying, it still has to be done. I need to be able to face this. Now, so, okay, let's say you did airborne school. You've done all the rehearsals. You're like, I can do this. I've got my 12 jumps. I can do this. I've got all my infantry brothers to my left and right. I'm going to get on this plane. I'm going to jump into France. Now, how about you've never, ever jumped out of an airplane before? Can you imagine what it was like to put that first parachute harness on, realizing that when it opened, your ass was going to land not just a mile behind enemy lines, not 2 miles behind enemy lines, not 5 miles behind enemy lines. It wasn't measured in miles. It was measured in days and weeks. You are days and weeks behind enemy lines, and we hope that they can get off the beach and get to you. And this guy sitting across the coffee table from me didn't just do it once, but he fought and finished the battle. And then when they got back, he said, remember, airborne units are volunteer, guys. He got back on the plane a freaking second time, fought that battle, and then did it a third time. This guy's, all 3 of his jumps were all combat jumps into Europe during World War II.
For the record,
That's insane.
I can't even remember my first 3 jumps in the military.
Exactly.
I don't even fucking remember what happened because I was freaking the fuck out.
Only jump I remember is the last one that was a TR jump. That's the only one I remember.
It was a good jump.
It was a good fucking jump. I had
Shout
chills.
out to the live
I had
stream.
chills because I had Nick in front of me in World War II uniform.
Yep.
And I had Carl standing in the door, calling commands, and I
In my
fucking
World War
had-
II uniform.
I had fucking chills because we talked about Tycho Bell,
Being a World War II airplane.
World War II airplane, did fucking Normandy, did pulled paragliders.
Yeah.
I'm from.
So there was
I
holes
ser-
patched.
He's a
in it.
101st guy.
I'm a 101st guy. I was in a strike brigade, you know, paragliders. And to sit there and experience that with Carl in the door,
And
calling
I'm a little
commands,
animated,
and
you
he's
know.
animated as
I'm a
fuck. We
little
got a video.
animated.
We got a great video that Chris fucking filmed that is awesome.
Yeah,
that whole
Chris
thing.
did a good job
We got the
filming.
wing video. We already put that out, but to sit there and to have that whole experience. I was nervous as fuck. I did 3 jumps out of the Cessna. I will never sit in a fucking Cessna, even if I'm just flying in a nice new one. Never fucking again.
Let alone facing backwards.
We'll get back to that because I had a little bit of an experience. I got the highest static line jump
2-2.
from a Cessna
2-2.
this week out of everybody. But to get that feeling and in reflection, having the chills and thinking about the fact that we did it and there wasn't shit going off outside.
What a fucking
gunfire.
honor.
No gunfire.
Thinking about
Yeah.
jumping, not at night,
Yeah.
Oh,
without
yeah, shit.
fucking,
Yeah.
without
Carries
10,000 fucking
bullets
Nazis
and
trying
flak.
to kill you.
Yeah.
Shooting flak and fucking anti-aircraft.
Thinking
at
about
you.
the little clacker.
That what an
the fucking
amazing
cricket.
honor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
like,
dude,
that
it
was
was,
great.
it was
Trying
an
to
honor jumping up.
trying to
And I didn't
transpose
jump.
yourself. on
How
another
we
guy.
got talked into doing this was
What
Rick
I liked
Lamb.
about it is
You guys love Rick
I've been
Lamb's
retired for
videos
15 years.
that he's done for us. Rick Lamb was
good.
one of my command sergeant
Yes,
majors,
sir.
and
Yes, sir.
You know,
he jumped into Normandy, the 75th anniversary of
I'll let you
Normandy,
finish.
All right, now go ahead. man.
with his son,
No, I don't want you back watch
and
I didn't backwash. That
there's
was all
bubbles
bad.
in it, dude. That's all backwash.
No, that is. Well,
you
that's
might
from
as well
Chris.
urinated in. I urinated.
That's
in
for the record, that's called the officer sip.
Yeah.
The officer sipped.
Here,
the last
sir,
bottom
drink
of it.
this.
After-
Chad, we're bonded now,
Yeah,
Chad.
yeah. Oh, yeah. You drank
you
my
have
fluids.
his semen in your mouth. Yeah. Okay.
Fuck you, bitch.
I'm sorry,
but I mean-
saliva. There's
Sorry.
saliva.
All right, I hope you're
Amazing.
watching live.
Let's start with this.
I
Does
can't
this
even
mean-
imagine the
Does
honor.
this mean that Chris gave up before we got the dildo story?
No, he's coming back.
Dude.
I hope you're watching
He's
this
in there-
live
he's
because
in
it's
there
going to be the
douching real quick.
second
He's
live
puking
stream that
real
gets
quick.
pulled from
No,
here.
he's out there with his wife
He's
with the big
douching.
tits
No,
right
his
now.
wife's crashed.
Can't
He's
blame him.
douching.
Can't
Listen,
blame him.
listen. Being an aficionado of World War II history, I can't even imagine the honor.
Oh, dude. And then the cool part was
the honor that you guys experienced.
Dude,
being able
they
to do
had
that.
the tent set up with like all
Actually, all I
the
did
Morse
was
code
stand out
and
there
inside
to
the
hear
old
what kind of shit y'all fuckers
radios.
were talking.
They had the old motorbike
Here,
that they
I claimed
airborne
your
in.
spot.
No,
They
hey.
had, they had a couple of old
No, brother,
Jeeps
I'll come
there.
back. I got to go check the
They had
comments
all-
because this
it
shit's
was
running
awesome.
wild.
Did it give you fucking goosebumps?
I'm sure.
Did it what?
Did it give you goosebumps?
No.
Oh, for the record,
It didn't.
when he clears the
It
camera,
didn't.
get your ass out of the
It
way.
didn't.
Really?
Fuck you, Griff.
I'm fucked up. I guess.
Was it Griff?
No, no,
But,
but it
I
honored
knew
you
it was-
though.
it had to
like-
be
we
Griff.
definitely.
He was talking
definitely-
shit. I had to
to
do
be
something
able
else. I
to-
had to
to-
take care of
to-
shit.
Dude, look, I'm telling you.
Because we all grew up. You're my generation, and we were
Yeah.
a couple years apart.
Yeah.
We all, and Chris too. We all grew up with the stories, not just the movies, but
How old do you think I am?
You're a
68.
You're a baby. But
There's dirt.
I mean,
There's
Carl
old
and
and
I-
then there's
I was
dirt.
saying
old.
Carl.
Dirt
Carl.
and I are the same.
I was saying Carl and I.
old man.
53.
No, no. Well, you look like
Oh,
this
There's
fucking
I
ninety.
did
old and
54
then there's
August.
dirt.
Listen,
old.
Santa.
You're fucking jealous.
Shut the fuck. Bitch, I ain't jealous. You think I can't grow that?
Look, dude.
Yeah, I do.
You think I can't grow that?
Give me all your loving.
And my
all
shit,
your hugs.
and my shit will look better than
Which
yours.
one are
You
we
got
gonna
that
get first?
You just got that 15th century English fucking thing. I don't know what they call
So
that
which
shit.
one are we gonna hear first? We're gonna hear Baboon
Like
Alley?
Santa
Or
Claus.
are we gonna hear Christmas?
You know,
But baboons or
alright, so
dildos? What do you guys
I
want?
just
Baboons
shared-
or
Says I
dildos?
look
I
good
just
without
shared
a
a
beard, you
World
don't.
War II story for you guys.
Before we do that, Carl,
I'll tell you what,
Hold on.
Chris.
Wait, Chad's.
Chad's
Carl,
turn.
before you do that, can I hit a couple of these because we
Alright,
got
let's
some
get a
people
couple
that
of
threw
them.
down their bones to us.
Alright.
Let's see. We got Chet Common Sense. He said, well, this live stream title should be 4 drunks around a pile of wood. Should be 5, but only 4 slurring. Good fun. Also, prayers to Jerry.
Don't even hit me. Don't hit me.
And then,
And the dog.
and then Marvin.
4 drunks around a pile.
4 drunks and a dog. 4
Hey.
drunks and a dog.
And then our buddy Marvin from New York City, he said, sup guys, hope you had fun and hoping Jerry J a quick recovery. If Jerry needs anything, he has my number. Don't hesitate to call. I got more. Don't talk. Chad, it's a lost cause rounding them up. Might as well grab a drink and join them. Might I suggest a few shots? We're working on it.
Shots? What the fuck is that? Work on it? We're out of booze.
We're drinking 2 bottles of
no, we're
bourbon.
not.
Last one.
No.
Last one.
Kentucky Hooch.
Come here, bud. Come here.
Our good friend Mike Hammer, who does a lot for Second Chance K9.
Yeah.
He also said, tell Carl, let me know on the Jerry front. I'm sure we can handle whatever. So thank you, Hammer.
Fuck yeah.
You're the man.
Yeah, Hammer,
We
you're
love what
awesome,
you do, brother.
Dude,
No,
honestly,
guys, sincerely,
Jerry
Hammer-
needs a fucking
Hammer,
hand.
brother, and I know you want to stay anonymous and all, but brother, you're good people. You really are. Without a doubt.
All right,
Oh,
so
your Patreon.
Dude, I've got a great
You
family.
got a
dude.
great
I
fucking
really-
Well, those
Carl.
shit that you do, those videos,
Chad.
those war stories that Carl
Right
does
here.
are just badass, dude.
Yeah.
Once a month
Tell your
for
war
my
story.
patrons, I do story time with Carl.
Story
Badass.
time? I have to remember that.
Dude,
I like that.
Dude, it's badass. And his office is badass. Because he's got like
Dude,
skulls
when
of
you
his
come down,
enemies.
you'll love my man room.
Skulls of his enemies.
I had a cool one too,
I
Carl.
bet you did.
I
Thanks.
professionally do man rooms. I'll make
yours
it better.
No,
Fuck
you
you.
Oh, I can't.
No, I don't
can't.
know, dude. That's the whole thing. My man room.
Mine was the shit.
Mine's all made out of cheap pine and shit.
Oh,
dude, it's
yeah.
awesome.
My office used to be, once upon a time, pretty fucking
It don't
epic.
need to be better. It
There
don't.
was cool shit.
My-
That
my
building
man
was
don't need
There ain't
full
nothing in
of
the
cool
world.
You know what I need? I
And you
need
never
a light
invited
over my
me to
pool
see
table.
it.
That's
I
what
did
need.
invite you. You came a couple
that?
days too fucking late.
Me too.
You know, my I
Talk to
got
Moses.
a
He needs to
one-eye
park the shit
projector
faster or
from
whatever the fuck it
Saddam's
was you people were up
office.
to.
Serious as a heart attack during the initial invasion of Iraq. So in my man room, I had my one-eye projector from Saddam's office hung up. And,
No shit!
Serious as a heart attack.
I got a one-eye
I
projector
needed
too,
a
but it don't do
projector
that.
screen, and I couldn't afford it. Right? I remember, you don't join the military to make money.
No, you don't.
Couldn't afford it. We spent all the money on the house. So what I bought was a roll of paper, 10-foot wide paper, and I made
Just pull new ones out each time.
Well, I framed it with 1x4s, and I bought some the black like velvet from Walmart.
Oh yeah.
I covered a frame, but it is literally I stapled 10-foot wide white paper on the back and hung it up on the wall
That is the
frame.
most ghetto shit I've
Yes,
ever heard of.
yes.
But let me tell you,
I'm gonna tell
you
you-
have no
No,
idea.
that is the most creative A-team
No,
shit
that is
I've
the
ever
most
heard
ghetto-
of.
ghetto
So I
shit.
finally get it done. 3 months later, Saddam's projector dies.
I'd have sent
So
that
then
bitch
I
up
had to
for getting
buy an
repaired.
American projector.
I'd have sent that
You mean
fucker
a
up to get
Chinese
fixed.
projector?
You would have sent it back to Iraq. Fix this shit.
I would have sent it to some,
Saddam,
Habib,
fix this shit.
Waleed, what the
Friending
fuck ever.
me is a home run in that avenue.
Hamad.
You didn't finish it all.
Salam
Are you
Habib.
seriously, Chad?
Salam.
You're like some drunk whore.
When me and Alan
Don't get me started.
When
Walking
me,
around a bar,
Whenever-
looking
if
for
I
drinks.
call Alan
You
or
like
if
to
he
do it
calls
on
me, the standard
Caddyshack.
answer is Salam
Hey,
Habib.
where's that fucking thing?
What
What do
thing?
you got?
The thing that takes
I
the
got it,
fucking.
I got it.
Oh,
The thing is
I didn't
here.
check it about it.
Painted ass.
No, not that thing.
This one's good. If you just fill it up for me,
Let's do 3 in the middle.
that'd be
I
awesome.
didn't
What the
check
fuck
it
is
about
this?
Come on with it.
Why are you
Chad,
checking
you
out my
prick.
ass?
I
We
was
got
thinking
another
about it.
Addies.
Carl,
He was trying to grab
are
it.
you texting?
Shit.
See?
Hey, Carl.
Texting?
Hey,
Oh.
you know, we didn't die jumping out of perfectly, sort of okay airplanes.
That was not a perfectly a good
No,
airplane.
we didn't die jumping out
That's
of
for Carl.
kind of
Hey,
garbage
listen,
airplanes.
listen,
More, but
did-
all the
did
This
you
shit's
guys-
gonna kill
Did
us.
you guys ever train to like jump out of camels?
So,
Jump
I'm
out.
just gonna
We
steal it.
shoot the camels.
May all your
All right,
camels
so
on
what
3
do you got?
Let's
Chris?
talk
so
about
for
that.
the, for the record,
For the record.
this is your copy of
You remember that?
Decline and Decay. It's signed by both me and Alan.
Alan's good.
I don't even know.
I'm gonna write some more shit in there.
I don't
because,
have a signed
you know, I
copy.
got
I didn't
Alan's
see
good
that,
shit
by
in
the way.
there.
I don't even have one.
The cool thing, one of the things, my favorite thing about this book right here is here in this page. Y'all, I don't know if you can fucking see it. I do a little tribute to my old man. He passed away a couple years ago.
God bless
He
him.
suffered from a thing called IPF, which is idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis.
I just threw her on my
He was
cover.
not living a life he wanted to live.
She is.
And Alan K, 2 days before my dad passed, he called me and he's like, "Hey man, I'm thinking about coming down." I was like, "What the fucking house is? Come on."
Yeah.
So he calls me later and he's like, "I'm 4 hours out." I'm like, "Cool, come on." I meet him in the driveway. Alan gets out of his car, which was a raggedy ass Explorer. You know it was, fucker. And he stretches and he's like, "I don't know why I'm here." And I'm like, "We'll figure it out." The next day, me and Alan are doing some shit. We're just kind of hanging out. My dad calls me, and all he says is on the phone is he says, "Help." That's it. Hangs up the phone. Me and Alan jump in my truck. We haul ass. I dial 911. I ask for transfer to his county.
Yeah.
I get EMS rolling.
Yeah.
We're about 10 minutes from his house. Volusia County EMS calls me and says, "Hey, we're here. Everybody's fine. We're going to stay here till you show up."
Yeah.
We roll up. We stay there. And we stayed there all that night, and we had a great fucking time. My dad was terminal. He knew it. We knew it.
Yeah.
He and I had talked a lot about it.
Yeah.
I have a much different take on death than a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because my philosophy in life is, life is a sexually transmitted disease with a 100% fatality rate. Nobody gets out alive.
Yeah.
We all die.
Yeah.
And so I accept it. And me and my dad, his humor is a lot like mine. We joked, we laughed, we made jokes about it all the fucking time. But that night, me and Alan and my dad, we sat and we told stories. He told Vietnam stories. We cut up, we laughed, we joked, we talked shit all
Like
night
this.
long. It was fucking epic.
Yeah.
And I tell people, there is such a thing as a good death.
Yeah.
And my dad got one.
That's awesome.
He sat in his fucking recliner with me and my buddy Alan, who my dad knew well.
Yeah.
We talked shit all night long. We joked. We laughed. And then at about midnight, my wife calls me and says, "There's something wrong with Landry. I've got to take her to the fucking ER.
Yeah.
You need to come home to be with our youngest."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Fuck." Alan's like, "Dude, do what you got to do. I got him."
Yeah.
So I come home. Mel takes the middle one. I stay with the young one. She goes to the ER. In the middle of the night, Alan calls me. He's like, "Dude, I had to call hospice. He's not good." And I'm like, "Do what you got to do, man. Do it."
Yeah.
And he did it. He took. I mean, that dude is something
He's
else.
badass, dude.
And Mel comes back from the hospital. I jump in my truck. I haul ass. And I roll up in the driveway of my parents' house, and I'm talking to Alan. He's telling me what's going on. Because the hospice nurse showed up, and she's like, "We want to move you to our care facility." And my dad was like, "No." And Alan looked at her, and he's like, "This shit is happening here, and that's it."
Yeah.
And the nurse, she was cool. Hospice, she was cool.
Hospice
She
are
was like,
amazing.
Yeah.
"Gotcha.
They're amazing, by
We'll
the
do
way.
it right here.
Okay.
I'm in."
Yeah.
So I pull up, and Alan meets me in the driveway, and I'm talking to him for a minute. The nurse sticks her head out. She's like, "Hey, you two need to come in here, like now." And I walk in Mom and Dad's house. My mom, prior to this, she had half her liver bisected. She had liver cancer.
Yeah.
She was bedridden. Could not get out of fucking bed. She's in a hospital bed. She's on all kinds of meds and shit. And I walk in the house. My dad looks at me. He nods at me. I walk over. I take his hand, and he fucking died. That quick. Like,
Brother, man.
gone.
Dude.
But I was good with it.
Yeah.
We had a great time. We told stories. We talked shit. It was awesome. The bad part was I couldn't get my mom out to see him.
Yeah.
That hurt.
Yeah.
But we dealt with it.
Yeah.
But the fact that he called and said, "Hey, I'm going to come down. I don't know why."
Divine intervention.
Dude,
Yeah.
No,
That's a brother.
You needed
that's
a brother
a
there.
fucking brother.
So you went there by
He's a
yourself.
brother.
Absolutely.
You went
He's
there
a
by
brother.
yourself.
And I
Brother.
couldn't have
Good
imagined a better death for my dad.
Yeah.
than
We
to
just
have
opened
that
it, so let's send it
motherfucker
around.
sitting
Good. I pray I
with
get a
him
death like that.
and me.
You're gonna get it.
With my
Dude,
cute little man.
You're
right
an
there.
a-hole.
We fucking
But you're gonna
laughed.
get it.
I mean, at one point, Alan was like, "We need to go to a titty bar."
Alan, you son of a bitch.
No.
My old man, he's like, I got this fucking scuba tank. Alan's like, "I'll carry you on my back like a goddamn scuba tank." He's like, "I don't give a fuck." He's like, "Let's do this." And I'm like, "I'm in. Let's fucking go." My dad's like, "That shit'll kill me." I'm like, "You're dying anyway, motherfucker. Let's do this shit." That was the relationship. I mean, we knew it. We fucking knew it. And too many people today, and I'm talking to you motherfuckers,
That's what brotherhood
they have
is.
this idea of death, like it shouldn't happen, or
Yeah, we gotta avoid it. We
folks,
gotta
I'm
avoid
going to tell you a secret right now that'll make your life a lot goddamn easier if you listen to me. And it's this: life is a sexually transmitted disease with a 100% fatality rate.
Period.
Fucking none of us get out alive. Enjoy your day. That's it. That's my philosophy of life.
Hey, let's go jump out of planes in Palatka.
Dude, I would have jumped. I started.
Let's do this shit.
I looked at that dude in the back of that C-47 the other day, and I'm like, how mad would you guys be if I fell out? And he's like, that wouldn't be a good thing. And I'm like, all right, I won't do it. And I started I mean, when I went, I had every intention of falling out of that fucking airplane.
Yes,
I would have done it.
But so bad.
I can
They would've been pissed,
Now, you understand? You would have fucked it up.
I wouldn't have got my 5, you motherfucker.
I wouldn't have cared. The reason I didn't do it was for you.
And I appreciate
I didn't
that,
want
man.
the people to be mad at you. So I didn't. Now, if I'd have organized that event and I'd have been
Been
there,
epic as fuck.
I'd have jumped out of that motherfucker, dude. I wouldn't have given a fuck.
I can
'Cause
vouch for that because Thursday after you guys left,
Listen.
that's all he talked about until we got there.
I was gonna fall out of that fucking plane, dude.
Nice.
So we're gonna get him to go in
October, we're
October.
doing that. We're doing water jump.
October will do it. But I
do water
wanted,
jump in
I
October,
wanted to
guys.
jump out of that plane so fucking bad.
Hey,
I've never
October.
skydived.
October.
Chris,
It is.
this coming October.
October.
I'm going. Oh, I'm going.
yeah.
Jumping
No,
with
I'm
us.
coming with you.
If you
We're
two
jumping.
fucker,
I'm
you
in.
two
You the water.
I'm in.
And
And
Nick,
you better
I'm already jumped.
Oh,
I'm ready.
Hey, Russ,
listen.
quit looking away, motherfucker.
Russ,
You gotta be there too.
Russ, they don't have a weight
No, I
limit.
was looking at
Listen,
There's no weight
listen,
limit.
listen.
You wanna hit the water?
Yeah.
Listen to
Hey,
me.
I'm down.
and this
Hey.
is all you guys out there. If any of you have that passion, that drive, and you want to do something cool, come jump with us.
And I'm gonna
Do it.
tell
You fucking do it.
Or
My
if you
motherfuckers-
don't have that
or
passion.
Yeah,
you
if
don't
you-
want to do that.
But you
Hold on.
need something in your life.
Yeah.
If you don't know, you're standing on the edge, and your life is shit, and you're like, man, fuck, my life sucks. I'm
Yeah.
here to tell you. First, go to the fucking local VA. And as much as
yeah.
you think your life is a fucking
doesn't
shithole,
suck.
Yeah.
brother, you got both your legs right now. And
And-
Robin sitting in a fucking wheelchair will tell
Yeah.
you that there's other shit.
And I'll tell you fuckers now too. If you're having that kind of thoughts and you're thinking some dark shit, you can find me on Facebook. You look me up on Angry
Hit
American.
him up.
You contact
Every
me.
person here.
I will send
Without
you
a
my
doubt.
phone number.
And if he's an
I will talk
if
to
he's
you.
an asshole, you call me because I'm way
I'm
cooler.
gonna be an asshole. I'm gonna tell you that now. But I've done it before. I've taken a gun out of a dude's hand, literally.
Yeah.
Took a
Yeah.
took a
Yeah, I know
1911
you have.
out of a dude's hand that was fixing to shoot himself, and I have spent over 8 hours. 8 hours was the shortest time, and they were longer than that. Talking to motherfuckers, vets
Yeah.
that were having a hard time,
Yeah.
that wanted to
There's a
commit
lot.
suicide, and I talked to those motherfuckers. I mean, hours, an
Yeah.
hour, drunk, just nonsense bullshit.
Yeah.
But I would sit and talk to them all
Guys, come
fucking
jump with
night.
us. You
Yeah.
want to find focus.
But
come
in
jump with
October,
us.
Yeah.
hey
October.
Griff, I'm talking to you, you
Yeah,
fucking dick.
midget.
Yeah.
You midget dwarf bastard. All you fucks that are watching in October,
Bro, of the 9 fingers.
him, him,
Look.
you're going to. I'll throw you out of the
Oh,
fucking
I
plane.
know.
And I know that Hebe's going to
It
jump.
ain't gonna be a plane.
I don't care if it's a helicopter.
No,
it is.
I want to bring this up. October is actually a.
What are we jumping out of? I do want to know. Shut the fuck up.
October is gonna be
no.
Huey's.
UH1.
Oh, fuck yeah.
A Huey.
Fuck yeah.
A Huey.
And a
Little
water
bird.
jump.
Listen.
in a sky train.
Water jump.
All right. Yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to jump into the St. Johns River. I'm going. I'm going to be there.
Unfortunately, Carl gets to put a fucking
Like a
eye
manatee.
in my
Like a
pocket.
manatee. Listen to me.
Like a manatee. Have you seen yourself?
Have you seen yourself?
fucker?
Yeah, I've seen myself, bitch. You seen yourself?
I have seen
Listen, I want
myself.
to say something. Heart of my heart.
Dude, brother.
Hey,
Listen.
Oh,
grab
God.
a drink.
I didn't
I was
know
gonna
this.
do
Grab
this.
a drink.
Hey, listen. Hey,
Heart of my heart.
Whoa!
Grab my drink. Heart of my heart.
thank you for telling us a
Blood
story
of my blood.
about your dad.
Yeah.
Soul of
Let's,
my
let's
soul.
take a hit
Let's
off
move
this
on.
wine.
All right.
And we'll do this.
And you
together.
guys are all toasting with us.
Let's do that.
Because you know what?
To,
We're
all
all
right,
brothers
this
and
is-
sisters, dude.
This is to old
I love
dude,
every one of
also
you.
known
We're
as
brothers
Smokey,
and sisters.
or-
We're Americans.
depending on the time, the Mad Bomber.
Chris,
The old man.
The Mad
thank you,
Bomber.
because I know
Bro,
that story.
you know. You
Hey,
know.
who
I
set
know,
up these
thank you.
fucking lights, Carl?
Dude, because you know what? That is what fucking friendship and brotherhood and sisterhood is all
And I
about.
want,
Nick.
and while we're
That's what
here,
it's all about.
for a minute, I want
That's
to take
what it's
a,
about.
I want to take a note for you
Nick
guys
is
that are
Where'd Nick go?
that may
He's
be
over,
watching that are
taking
got
care
here
of some
from
things.
me, not because you're following
what?
Carl.
he's on the phone.
To all the folks that contributed
He's pumped,
to the GoFundMe and that
did a
have
good
sent
job
me
on that.
mountains of shit, guys, I
Mountains of
cannot
shit.
thank you all enough. I talk a lot about community, and I fucking mean it, and I don't like to be on the receiving end.
He didn't want it. Look, he didn't. I had to
I did
fucking
not.
push. I had to fucking push him to do the
You're a real
GoFundMe.
motherfucker.
Just so you know, he's like, fuck that shit. I'm like, no, fuck you, bitch.
But-
I had to push him to do the GoFundMe because he didn't want it.
Yeah,
you know what? And he deserves it.
huge fucking thank you.
He deserves it.
Yeah.
And this guy that just broke his femur,
And it's not because I'm drinking.
he's a
fucking
badass.
bullshit
He,
tonight.
no,
I'm
he needs it too.
being legit. It's
No,
thank
we're
you
all
guys.
dude. Everybody here is legit as fuck.
But I came out here
Sorry.
to do this
Got so much
bullshit.
in
Oh yeah. Here, let me move over so you can get next to him. Go
Sit
ahead and do
here,
it.
sweetie. Come
No,
on.
no.
No,
go do your
if
thing.
you're scared,
Go
say
do
you're
your thing.
fucking scared.
Come
Goddamn.
snuggle, man. Come snuggle.
I can't handle your ass.
All right, so this
Cheered
is
up.
this is the last book that I published. This is the book that I wrote with Alan Kay.
Oh, would that be 10?
No, fuck you.
Nice.
Hey,
Yeah.
yours.
So-
hey, yours,
Sit your
more
big ass
stock.
down.
Hey,
Shut up, bitch.
followers just
This
went
book
up.
is called Decline and Decay: Strategies for Surviving the Coming Unpleasantness. This book took 2 fucking years to write, and for all you jackasses that don't want to know where book 11 is, here it is. This is what took all that time.
There's legit.
This
shit.
one is for.
Hey, hold on. Give me this. Keep talking.
It's not for you.
Keep
Oh,
talking,
All right,
motherfucker.
Nate.
This one's for Carl.
Thank you.
There's good shit in this book.
There's a lot of good
You
shit
need
in
to
the
own
book.
that book.
We think so.
Hold it so they can see.
This is a non-fiction work, folks. This is not.
This is
This
all.
is nonfiction.
This is
had to
nonfiction.
Look, it's so accurate that they wrote it before this COVID bullshit hit.
Yeah.
They had to go back and change it because
We had to
they
change.
predicted it.
We
It
had
was
to
like
ch-
it was cliche as fuck.
We had to change so much shit
Right.
because it was already happening.
They already
And we're
said
like,
it.
shit.
It was
We
already
don't
in
want
the
to look
book.
like the guys that are being like,
It's in
oh,
the book.
this could happen when it's happening. We had to change a lot of shit.
It's a practical.
Chapter 11,
The
the
chariot.
chariot. No,
It's
guys,
practical.
it's literally
This-
This
this-
thing is filled with checklists.
What this
everything.
book is about is
Nice.
so the actual real title is Decline and Decay. There's a lot. I mean, our working title, our original title, which I wanted very badly, was How to Survive Fuck All.
Dude, I
That's
love
a
this
nod
book
to our
already.
British brothers, you know, fuck all.
Yeah.
But we had to settle on Decline and Decay.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
This book is kind of like your checklist for what you need to be doing for right now because we're running out of time, folks.
We are
That's the
running
book you
out
need
of
to
time,
read.
folks.
We are running out of time.
This is a no nonsense. There's no BS. There's no fluff. There's a lot of humor in it. We try to keep things a little bit light at times, but when it's necessary,
Chad, can
we're
they see
very
it?
fucking serious
Tell me
about
up,
it,
down,
guys.
left, or right.
Hold on.
Um,
Buy
and
that shit.
Yep.
and
You
for
can see
those
it.
of you out there that live in a fucking cave someplace and don't know who Alan is, Alan Kay is my brother. Not by birth or no shit like that. I chose him as my brother because the two of us were fucking meant to be together.
You're like
by
a
choice.
homosexual relationship, really.
No,
by choice.
no, we don't. He's tried a lot. I keep telling him no.
I mean, he's the bitch.
But-
I'm just saying, Alan's the man.
He's the man.
I'm
He
just
is
saying. It's
the
okay.
man.
But
Now-
it's cool.
When you read this, if you know Alan, you'll be able to pick out the parts he wrote
Look,
versus the parts
Look,
I
he's
wrote.
what Bear Grylls
They're
dreams
different.
about being.
Yeah, and this really is, folks. If you're looking around today and you're going, "Holy shit, what do we do?" This is the book to read.
It's-
And I'm not
it's-
being an
it's
ass.
a- no, it's a
I'm
good-
being legit.
It's a good guide, right?
It's not very big. It's not huge, but it kind of tells you the things you need to be doing. The number one thing, one of the biggest chapters in here we talk about is community. This
Period.
right here. This is
Community.
community. This is my
This is brotherhood,
community.
sisterhood.
I'm lucky. I'm fortunate that I've got guys like Carl
Oh my God,
and Emery and Russ and even Donnie. And you guys know Donnie.
ain't that a bitch?
But I love that fucker. He's one of my boys. I mean, I call him a brother. I call everybody sitting right here brother.
Hell, dressed like that, you can call him your sister.
Look,
Yeah, you could call him a sister.
if you're facing it, you fucking
Oh,
prick.
shit.
If you're facing hell, you want me in my fucking
Look.
show. With-
Look, Carl
Like,
has
'cause
Aunt
I'll
Helen.
cut a
I got
bitch.
Aunt Donnie. All right, I mean, I'm just saying.
Sorry,
but-
Jess from Dukes of
This
Hazzard.
book, and I'm not saying this to you guys because I'm trying to sell books. I'm saying this to you guys because there is a combined 110 years of knowledge in this book.
There's a lot of good shit. in that
Actually, it's
book.
probably even more than that because this wasn't wrote by just me. Sam Culper at Forward Observer wrote the intelligence section. If you guys don't know what Forward Observer is, look up forwardobservermagazineonline.com and check out Sam Culper. Brushbeater wrote the comm section. If you don't know who Brushbeater is, go to AmericanPartisan.com, find Brushbeater, and he has podcasts where he talks about this stuff. Brushbeat is a brother of mine. I love that guy dearly, and I love Sam Culper dearly. This is a collaborative effort. This is an example of community, what we talk about. No man, no woman, no family is an island. We all need
agreed.
people.
We are.
You have to sleep at some point.
Yeah.
You can't do it by yourself.
No, you need people.
Survival's a team sport.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You
Absolutely.
need people that you will trust your fucking life to. And that sounds like hyperbole, but it's not.
Hyperbole.
Selco is a guy, if you don't know who Selco is,
Selco's the shit.
Google Selco.
Yeah.
Selco's a guy I talk to
He
fairly
lives it.
regularly.
really
He's kind of a friend of mine. Me and him communicate quite a bit. I talk a lot with his assistant guy, Toby. They're great dudes. Selco just put some stuff out that's great. If you don't know who Selco is, look it up. But this is legit. In the United States of America, the last conflict really on American soil, and I'm not talking about the Aleutian Islands in World War II. The last conflict here was our Civil War. There is no one alive on this planet, in this country, that can remember what conflict looks like here.
Right.
And it's ugly. And whatever you think it looks like is not what it looks like.
No.
It's just not going to be. I talk with Selko a lot. He lived through the Balkans War in a city completely surrounded.
Isolated.
Isolated,
Cut
100%
off.
isolated, under constant sniper, artillery, and machine gun fire. He's a good dude. And Toby, his assistant, is a good dude.
Selco first came to fame from being on the forum.
Yeah.
And talking about his experiences.
Like where I started.
Right.
And I'm really not just trying to pimp the book, but like Carl is about the same thing I am. Carl and his team is about the same thing that me and my team
I
are.
don't want COVID.
Donnie's part of my team. You pussy. Russ is part of my team.
Red as you are, you might.
Carl's part of my team now, and so is Emery.
That's from Sun.
These guys are all part of my
blood
team.
pressure.
We, as a collective, what we want to do is share knowledge with you guys. We want you guys to be ready when the shit hits the fan. I don't care if you're 2 steps ahead of your fucking neighbors. You're at least 2 steps ahead. This book is it really is no nonsense. There's no fluff in here. There's no BS. There is a short fictional story in here that a lot of you will probably take exception to, but it's real. Romance never lives up to reality. When you watch bushcraft videos and you watch YouTube videos about training or about what the fuck ever you're watching, you're like, oh, that looks cool and I can do that. Well, that's great to say from your recliner, folks. Get your asses out. Come see Carl.
Train.
Come see anybody. We don't give a shit who you train with. Go train with some damn body.
Period.
Get some training. Get the proper equipment. Take that ruck that you've built from watching YouTube videos and bought off Amazon and filled up full of shit.
And get out in the woods.
Take that sumbitch and go live in the woods for 3
Get out in the
days.
fucking woods.
That's-
You'll dump half that shit out.
You will
in there.
dump all that shit.
I was gonna say, go out without your ruck.
No,
That or you'll have a peaceful day.
I want them to start with we did a class in Kentucky. I like to use an example. And then Howie, if you're watching, fuck you, Howie. I'm gonna talk
Fuck
about
you,
you.
Howie.
This kid is awesome. I love this guy. He's in his
awesome.
mid-30s. He owns an installation company in like Maryland. He does industrial work. We gave a survival class in Kentucky. He drove from Maryland to Kentucky to take it. Since the motherfucker won't read his emails, he didn't have the address to the site. He sat in a Walmart parking lot for 12 fucking hours. Until I finally drove to the gate and checked because there was no cell service. I checked my emails. I saw it. I'm like, fuck. And I called him. I'm like, dude, where are you? I'm in Walmart. I'm like, you're retarded. And you are retarded. But I got him to the site.
retarded.
So I got him to the site of our class. It's dark now. I go out with him. I put my headlamp on. I got a flash. I help him set up his shit. It was cold. It was so cold. It was raining. And so, folks, I'm going to tell you something right now. There's a difference between cold and wet cold.
Yes.
Oh.
And if you want to know the difference,
That's why we do Operation Valkyrie and fucking
folks, if you want to know the difference, come
You
to
might not die. Maybe.
Maybe.
You might
Well,
not die.
let me tell you how Howie ended up spending the weekend. And I'm talking about you fat bastard. He ended up in his excursion with socks on his hands.
Right here.
Because he was so goddamn cold he couldn't take it. He poked his head out of his tent at night. And I helped him set up. I held a light. And I'll never forget this. And Howie, I'm sorry, but I'm going to tell on you. He had an Amazon's Basic. No shit. That's what it said. Amazon Basic backpack. It was actually a fairly decent ruck.
Yeah.
I was impressed with it. Full of shit. And he set up his little hooch, and he got his sleeping bag. He wakes up the first night in the middle of the night. He's freezing to fucking death. It's below 30. It had been raining. It's fucking cold. He looks over at my hooch. I have, which I no longer have, Kafaru International. Pay attention. I had a Kafaru modified TP with a wood burning stove in it. All fit in my ruck. Every bit of it. It weighed 8 pounds total for the shelter system. So I've got my wife and me. We're in a nice hot tent. I got coffee on the fucking stove. I'm laying in a sleeping bag. I'm fucking
Jerking off. Fucking love it.
Fucking Howie wakes up, unzips his tent, looks out, sees smoke coming out of the smokestack of my fucking tent, and he's like, huh, I wonder if they let me in there. He never asks, because you're a dumbass. He goes to his truck instead and sleeps in there. And I'm like, bro, if you'd have woke up in the middle of the night in one of my classes and said you're freezing to death, I would come in, I'll make room, we'll take care of you.
And then call you a dumbass.
And I'm like, I still fuck with you. You see it now. It's happening now. Howie, fuck you. But I love this guy. He's a great dude. After my fire, he sent me a bottle of that right there. That Long Branch and some quality cigars. He's a good kid. Great dude. But he's a guy that now understands he needs training.
Yeah.
So we did that class with him. We had a great time. He froze his ass off. He replaced every piece of kit he owned. Like, he was like, holy shit, I get it now, this is real. And he's going out on his own and done shit. And then he showed up in North Carolina when I took the scout rifle course with Brush Beater. If you guys don't know who Brush Beater is, I know Carl gives classes, I give classes, Donnie gives classes, we all train. Look up Brush...
Thanks, douchebag.
You train too. Dude, you're part of him. Emery trains. If you guys want to train with the Heeb, with the Bear Jew...
The fucking heap.
This guy right here is an animal, and I,
That's okay, keep
I, no,
He's
no,
a
no,
fucking
no.
like.
I am gonna host classes where he will be your instructor. Of course, I, as always, will be the entertainment for the cruise.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
He'll be your instructor.
Nice. Always
But-
need entertainment.
But Howie showed up in North Carolina for a scout rifle course. He was not properly prepared with his weapon system, and you know it. Fuck you. It happened. Sorry, you didn't hit 400 meters. But he stayed. The dude soldiers through it. Like, guys, training sucks. I tell everybody, the romance never lives up to the reality. When you're watching YouTube videos of Carl or Emery or, I don't know, is Chad ever on camera? Or is he just always...
Chad's on camera. Yeah.
Chad's on camera? Okay.
Chad's pretty badass.
Well, he claims he is, but I'm on the fence yet.
Hey, fuck you, Chris. Hey, where's book 11, you cocksucker?
Fuck you.
It's
And
up
you
your
can,
ass, you motherfucker.
you can be next.
You fuck.
You can be next. That's all I can tell you. You can't be
Hey.
first, but you can be next.
Chris, write me in the book.
Oh, I will. Trust me. It's next one.
Hey, look for it, boys.
Chad's gonna get.
The
Chad's gonna get
transvestite
fucked in the ass by
Exactly. Yeah, he's gonna be a trainee. He's gonna
to the
be.
death.
He's gonna have all kinds of fucking pronouns. Is that what they use? Pronouns. I don't have a fucking string of them, dude.
Hold on. Did you just assume my gender?
Yes, I did. No, I didn't assume it. I'm gonna give all of them to you.
Hey guys,
All
I used to
54, however many
be
there are.
a male trapped in a female body. I used to be.
I'm a
I was
lesbian.
Then I was born.
I'm a lesbian.
When I was born.
I'm a
I
hardcore
identify as
lesbian.
lesbian.
I am a hardcore lesbian.
oh.
I'll tell you that now.
Great, great.
But anyway, what I'm getting at is, come out and take training, folks. Like, you think it's expensive, and you're like, well, I could take a training class from Carl,
Or I can buy a new AR.
or I could go buy a new Glock.
Right.
Tools are fucking useless if you don't know how to use them.
Knowledge is
Take-
power.
They're
Knowledge.
fucking.
You can't
It's
get-
the
lose
best money
knowledge.
you'll ever fucking spend in your life.
You can lose
Going
all
to
your
a
kit.
class.
You can lose every. And we just did just a couple months ago. We did an event up in the mountains of Georgia, where Alan, myself, and several other guys, we walked up on a mountain with pocket survival kits. That's it.
Yeah.
And the guys were expected to build shelter, procure water. If they can find food, great. If not, well, hate your fucking luck. They had certain tasks they had to complete. I was acting a cameraman, so I pitched a hooch, which was just a tarp and a sleeping bag. I wasn't fucking goddamn in the Four Seasons or nothing. But the second night, we got 4 inches of fucking snow.
Oh shit.
You talk about fucking up a survival class, dude. That'll do it. But
Chris
the guys,
and Alan were spooning like a motherfucker.
we were. He's warm. He's like a furnace, dude.
He is spooning, like
But
totally spooning.
actually, in that class, Alan made a subterranean shelter that was off the chain, epic. Really was.
Well,
That
Alan
cast.
lived in fucking British Columbia in the wild with 10 items for
For-
57 fucking days.
Yeah, but
Think about it.
go
One
out
of
and
the items happened to be a house.
huh?
No, little items.
Oh no, what a house!
I'm
There's no
fucking with
house. Alan went up there with some shit kit, and I still fuck with him.
Don't hate.
But
I don't hate
but
him.
go out and train,
Except
guy.
for a few people.
And we genuinely do not care who you train with. But like,
Yeah.
where'd that fucking book go?
I
Will
threw
you
it away
fucking
already.
give it to me? and again, I'm really not just trying to pimp this. I'm not that guy. I don't just try to make myself money. I'm genuinely interested in community. The community, my community, has shown me a lot of love. And to all you guys that have done it, I can't thank you enough. Really, from the bottom of my heart, to give me $35,000 fucking dollars. A lot of money.
Breaks his heart.
But read this shit. A lot of this is from Alan. A lot of this, I mean, there's literally.
There's a lot.
If I added the four of us up, there's probably 240, 250 years of experience in this book. And when people talk about training, they bitch. Like I put up a survival class that I was going to do next weekend, and people were like, "Well, it's all
5
expensive."
people,
What you people fail to forget is guys like Carl and Emery and even Donnie, myself, Alan Kay, we have spent fucking decades learning this shit.
Yeah.
Thousands of dollars.
And tens of thousands of dollars. We have made all the mistakes that you possibly could make or already have made. But you could pay me $400, $500 for a weekend, whatever Carl charges, whatever Emery charges. If you come to my class, you might see Donnie if he takes a day off work. The fuck, you will get the benefit of
Or
that.
takes a day to work.
Or yeah, that too. But you'll get the benefit of that knowledge. And me asking you for $400 or $500 to me doesn't seem like a lot of money.
Dude, it's not. But listen, when you train, when you go train with somebody like Carl or Emery or Chris or myself, whoever, look, we're not making a killing on this
Fuck
shit.
no, we're not.
Look,
I'm generally
look,
losing money.
Carl's trying. So the dilemma is this: when you have somebody with the skill set of like a Carl, a fucking hero. A green beret.
A genuine,
a
real,
real legit.
not me, like genuine, legit.
We're
fucking
just
hero.
chumps.
Yeah.
Like a straight up fucking hero, like Emery. And you go spend money to train with him, dude. You're getting $100, $200, $300, $1 million worth of training.
You're getting
like, you're
decades,
getting the epicenter of that.
Decades of fucking learning
and experience
and
trying to help you.
Give me my book
All right.
back.
No, trying to help you.
Hey,
No,
listen
that's-
here.
look,
This
he
is
ain't
what I
getting it
want
for
to
the-
tell you. No, I want to tell you
Oh,
this,
this
Carl.
fucking
Let me
guy,
explain to him about this book.
All right, Jesus
Carl
Christ.
will never
He's
open
11
this book.
Brav ground pounder, so just
What?
There is no audio. I'm sorry. There is.
Oh,
no
he's
audio.
gonna have to read it. You called the
There is
play.
no audio. I
You
knew
called
you
the
were
play.
I knew you were
Oh, you fucker.
He's gonna have to
No,
sit down and read
He's gonna
this
have to read
motherfucker.
that. That's good because Carl doesn't read books normally because he's a smart motherfucker and he uses it on our road trips.
No. That's not true, guys. You
He'll
guys
read
hear
it.
me say
He'll
it
read
before. When it comes to situational awareness, this is the bane of society.
Yes.
This is
I
literally,
agree.
the digital anchor.
Yeah.
Everybody's like this instead of around. Now,
Yeah.
that said, in a survival situation, okay, this is people call this a phone, all right? This is a handheld computer,
Yeah.
right? You literally can have an entire list of books. Remember, you have that big,
Yeah.
large
Audible,
reference, all
Audible.
those reference manuals at home, right?
Get them on PDF.
A lot of these books are available PDF. They're available Kindle,
Free.
right?
Yeah.
Kindle, you pay a little bit, right?
I'd pay for it.
SAS
though.
Survival Handbook, a
I'd
lot
pay
of
for
them.
your books.
But Gaia GPS, you've got all your layers of satellite imagery. You've got topographic maps. So
Come here, my little
cool
Jew.
if you've got GPS reception, but if you don't, Gaia GPS is still topo maps.
Yep.
And there's so many other great programs, guys. So have the complete list of great reference books. We're going to add this to our Tactical Rifleman
fist
or
bumped
my
you, though.
Carl's book list that we have at our Amazon store. I hate Amazon.
Do it,
but
dude. Well, I hate
it's a
to do
place,
it. They
it's
make
a
me a lot of
place
money.
that I can actually put and make sure they get the correct book, the correct edition. So we're gonna add this, all right? So you guys add it to your library, just like I'm gonna do it, all right? Have it in your library at home. The complete Foxfire series.
Yeah.
All these great
Lost
books.
of mine.
You should have a huge library. At
And-
home.
Yes.
a hard library.
But understand, if you're not at home, if you just happen to be visiting that aunt 3,000 miles away, or even an hour's drive away because you ran to the next city to go Christmas shopping, if something tragic was to happen, 100 miles getting home, you're going to need, and remember, you can't remember everything. So having this book right here,
And what this is,
On
folks,
budget.
and again, I don't like to promote myself. I know that's really fucked up business, but I mean, I like to talk about myself, but my cool as shit.
You are cool.
and your dildo collection.
You're
I-
cool as shit, Chris.
You still owe
My
us the
wife has a
dildo
better
And
one.
I'm not gonna let you. Hey, I'm gonna tell you this. Listen, I've known Chris for a while, and I can tell you that he's a
Solid as fuck.
good dude,
He's a good
and
dude.
he doesn't do it for the fame or for the money. He does it because he likes to do it.
Look,
What I want you to do
ain't
is check out
nobody
his book.
here. There's nobody here doing this
No,
to profit.
no,
to become rich.
because we're
I mean,
definitely
I'm
not
talking
making
Carl,
money.
Carl,
Carl-
Chad, Emery.
We do it
Chris.
because we love to help
Look,
you guys
look,
out.
Yeah,
You motherfuckers are so
legitimately.
fucking lucky that you got this knowledge base.
Yeah.
More so with him than anybody, and Emery too.
Why you
Like-
throwing my book in the fire, guys? That's
Yeah, he's
bullshit.
No.
a dick.
Look,
He's a
look,
fucking
look,
dick.
look.
No,
they're
noticed-
just
I
they're just
noticed
trying to fucking make
Here's
a
the deal.
living, trying to eke out a living by doing this. Nobody's getting rich here, and transmit or
Yeah.
share
You guys
this
see
fucking knowledge.
what
I can say it.
2
you can't
bottles
say
of
it.
bourbon and 4
Whatever, dude.
bottles
It's
of my good
you know
wine
what?
will
It's
do.
it's the truth. You know
happens.
what?
It's the truth.
You know what? In Vino Veritas, I speak the truth. I know as a civilian,
Most of
I
the
am
time.
I'm incredibly
I know. What'd you say
honored
earlier?
to be
He's
able to
opening his
train with
mouth,
guys
it's
like
bullshit.
him and Don Edwards of Green Line
Guys-
Tactical and all the people I've trained with.
I
over
got
the
you,
years.
Carl.
We
As
hit
a
the 3
civilian,
We're
hours.
good. We're all right. We're straight.
you've made me
No,
a
we're straight.
better
How
human
How many are
being,
still in there?
a more
What?
capable
Oh,
human. Hey,
same
I'm
as
talking,
when we started.
bitch.
Go
Chad.
look and see if we got any more donut box.
Chad,
I will look.
I said the most profound shit in my life.
You
made
did,
it kill
and they and
No,
the
it's
white
fine.
guy.
Kill it.
But here's the
I heard
thing.
it,
Here's
I
the
heard
thing.
it, and I appreciate
Dude, I
it.
love
This
Dude,
is-
I'm-
Like, dude,
likewise.
you're a
Just-
hero.
This is no
You're a fucking
bullshit.
Avenger.
We are not going to go another hour,
Yeah, I know you
and I'm going to tell you why.
We're fucking drunk.
Because
We're drunk. No, no,
I've
listen.
never-
Listen.
I've
They
never-
don't
honest.
fucking listen to me most of the time, but please
I've
listen to
never
me
been
now.
An Avenger. He's an
Hey,
Avenger.
would you two fuckers shut up?
Hold on.
Fuck, he won't.
Here's the thing.
I have.
Throw something at him.
Tactical Rifleman is not very different than what they are, and
No.
we are about helping you guys be better
Yes.
being you.
Yes.
And there's a lot of things that we do on a regular basis that may seem shilly, but we don't do shit unless we feel that it fucking works. And
Unless it brings value to you guys.
Yes.
Totally.
I mean, legitimately, that's what
And-
I do. That's what.
Carl,
I
and
don't-
all right, that's our whole thing.
Dude,
if
Carl
it doesn't bring
tonight showing
value
us
to
that
them,
shit.
Yeah.
but
Carl
here's the
tonight?
thing.
Yeah.
We are having a good time. Tactical Rifleman crew has had a long week. We've been working hard, bringing you content. We got a ton of video.
And for you
These guys
TR
came.
folks, these dudes work for you guys. I'm
They're
I'm
badass.
astonished. I wish for my people that are watching, both of you, I wish that I could pull off what these guys do. I'm
They're
just not that-
exhausted. You know
I'm
they're
not-
exhausted.
I'm
right
not that
now.
no,
organized.
but we're not going to stop. We're
And
gonna
I don't have a
continue to drink.
Chad. So, Carl's
Oh,
got
you
a
can
Chad.
have a Chad. You can have a Chad.
Can I have a Chad?
Yeah, you can have a Chad.
Carl was a badass.
I don't like a lot of
Hey,
men.
no,
Carl's
you
a
can't.
fucking
Guys
No,
named
no, because
Chad.
I really don't have the passion for your project that I do for.
He's
Tactical
not really a
Rifleman, I'm
badass,
sorry.
but Carl's a
Fuck
badass.
you.
And so
Get
is
off of
Emery.
me, you
Oh no,
bastard.
no,
No,
I'm cheap.
Are you?
Yeah. No, hey,
better
here's the
than any
thing.
good
Here's the
You be
thing.
cheating on me, bitch.
Here's the thing. That everything that these guys represent and everything that Tactical Rifleman represents is all about bringing you guys good
Same shit.
content and educating you to be
Same shit.
better, capable citizens. And we've been here for fucking 3 hours.
3 hours.
You've been here longer than
Has it been 3
We've
hours?
had a long fucking
3
week.
hours on
Carl,
live
Oh, shit.
Carl,
Has it been 3 hours?
Emery,
3 hours.
we've had our conflicts this week. And We've had some stress.
So we've learned Carl's wine.
But we're gonna move
Carl's
on.
wine is
And
supreme.
we're continue to fight
should buy some.
because we want to bring more great content to you guys.
Here's the deal.
And because we don't know any
Wait,
better.
let Carl talk. Look, this is Carl's shit. Let him talk.
We're starting to repeat ourselves.
We're gonna end this. That's
No,
where
no,
I'm
no,
going
no,
with
hold
this.
on, hold on.
Sit the fuck down.
Real quick though,
Shut up,
real
bitch.
quick is we usually stop at 3 hours because we start getting too carried away. 1, 2.
I don't know why.
I am not allowed to drink on a live stream because my wife says we get
I didn't
carried
see you
away.
drink.
Thanks,
We
Emery.
really do.
Thanks, Emery, because that was the
Drink your
first
share.
one that got deleted.
Oh, my people have seen
no,
live
that-
streams that
hear
were
me out,
total
hear me out,
soup.
all right?
We're gonna end this on
We're
gonna end this on Carl.
Hold on.
We're gonna end this on Carl. You give me the
Now-
word, and we're ending
Chad.
it.
Now,
Sit down and shut up.
the third
Chad, come
thing
here today.
is
Don't be a
literally,
dick.
like Chad was
Don't
saying,
be a dick.
guys, I'm smoked. I got to spend a great week
Tired.
with my son. We filmed a bunch of videos for you guys. We're gonna be filming more videos with
Yeah, we'll
Chris
shoot
here
some
the
shit
next
here,
couple of
yeah.
days. We will. We're gonna get you guys some great content. 2021, I want to say, is gonna be better than 2022. The dumpster fire.
Can't be fucking worse.
Unfortunately,
Well,
and it involves politics going in the wrong direction. So we're going to try to bring you guys better content, but at the same time, guys, I need to slow the fuck down. My life is become a train wreck, and me spending a little bit of time with my son, and I'm really starting to grasp it. I've been missing out on a lot. My wife texts me, like she just texted me in the middle of live stream a couple different times, just with the words "I love you," and the fact that
She's awesome.
I'm not there to actually say that to her in person. I say that to her more in
Emery,
text
come here.
form.
to
than I do
reinforce
any-
that point, I
anything
want
else,
to say
guys.
this to you guys.
So I'm just saying, I need to.
yeah,
I want to be with you guys.
you got to live
24.
life, but
I got
to
I can tell you
reinforce.
this: Carl's son
You see this?
is a
button
badass.
here?
Yeah,
That
next
That
shit.
kid,
I tell you.
young
But
man.
but to
He's a kid.
reinforce
He's a
exactly
badass.
what Carl's saying to you guys,
Plus
and those of you who
There's
watch
the
me,
mouse.
you've heard this
When I
before.
tell you, hit that.
You have to live life.
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
we can't just be 100% focused on this kind of shit that we do.
Because it'll ruin
There's
your
survival
life.
training, firearms training, what the fuck ever training you're doing. You can't be 100% all the time.
Multifaceted
You
in
have
life.
to live life. You probably have families, you may have kids, you probably got a wife. You have to live life because at some point in the future, and sadly, I believe it's very near, you're going to need those days
Yeah.
to look back on, to
To hold on to.
give you the steel in your
That's
spine
what's
to
going to get you
continue
through the
on.
bad times.
You're going to have to be able to remember.
Nothing
you know
is
what?
more important than your family
No.
and your friends.
Well,
And
nothing is
family
more
doesn't-
important than your family and your fucking tribe.
Your tribe.
My tribe got bigger this
Right,
weekend.
right.
I mean, I knew
Yeah.
Carl. I met him a couple years ago.
But
I
he's
met
tribe.
Chad. I met Emery. I like these guys.
They're family.
Last year, we met again. We got a little closer. And now here these fuckers are. They're
Brother,
sitting
we got
up
in
in
an
my
airplane.
garden.
Family.
And we went up in a fucking airplane. A rattle trap of an airplane,
Yeah.
but I fucking loved it. It was awesome.
All right, so here's what we're going to
This,
do.
this is tribe.
Here's
tribe
what we're going
right
to do.
here.
All right, now, honey, you know, I love you. I'm saying this to
He
you
does
right
love
now.
you.
And sweetie, I
As
want to
you're
say
watching.
thank you for
Thank
letting
you,
him
sweetheart.
come.
Honey, I love you.
To my
All right,
house.
now,
Thank you.
here's the deal. We're going to stay a little bit longer. All right, we're going to finish off pretty
All
well.
the booze.
It will be all
the
work.
booze.
I
Right.
promise. It's all
Right,
work.
now,
I'll
here's
keep
the
him in
deal.
line.
So,
I will.
He's been good. He's been good.
We're gonna relax,
He's been good.
and so we're gonna go long for you guys. I'm gonna sit this book down.
Set it
Brother,
down.
First, thank you so much for that,
Dude,
But here's the
I
deal,
want to say thank you to you for bringing your people.
and I appreciate
Here.
Look, he called
I'm
me
honored.
the first
Dude,
night he
you
came
can
and hung
honor
out.
me.
I'm fucking
by
honored having
sharing
you guys
me,
here.
He came
sharing
and hung
us
out.
the dildo story.
He called me. He's
No,
like, look at this.
No, right now.
No,
Why not?
no. This is why.
Why?
Because we're gonna record the dildo story.
We are right
Are
now,
you
by
not
the way.
recording now? It's your job. You had one fucking job.
One fucking job. One.
Failed this already, too.
Where'd you get 11 bribes?
I'm just saying. I mean, you don't work for me, but I'm just pointing it out. I mean,
Did you already hang up?
Why you
No,
so, why you
but
so
there's
red?
a man waiting for me to give the word, and
What?
this is
what's the word? That sounds
Wait,
No.
oddly.
listen. I want to leave them hanging.
Fuck them. Let them hear it.
I want to leave them
No, I'll
hanging.
tell you what. No, we're still gonna record.
Well, you wanna do it tomorrow night?
We'll do it next.
Let's
We'll do
record it next. That's fine.
All right,
But here's the thing.
All right, you
here's the
bastards.
deal.
SOL.
No, we're gonna wrap
No,
this up.
you-
We'll wrap
no,
it up.
it's me,
Chad wants to go to bed.
No, I don't wanna go to
wink,
bed.
wink. He wants to go to bed.
I'll leave you guys with tea.
Chad's a homo.
I'll
No,
leave
So
listen.
we're gonna
Listen.
keep drinking.
No,
but
listen.
You guys keep drinking at home.
This
without
is
us.
Chad.
This is what
Did
I
you
want to
just
say.
go like that?
Listen,
Yeah, Chad.
Did you really? How'd you know, dude? You don't know.
It's
Listen.
so hard to do it.
You're correct, but
Listen.
I'm thinking,
Okay.
listen, Linda.
Shut the fuck up.
Listen, Linda. Here's the thing.
my brother.
We have joined Tactical Riflemen and these guys here.
Oh, I am 100%.
We are,
team
we're
blended.
gonna
We
do
are,
some more
we are
stuff.
blended.
Sad part is he's got to help me with my book now.
Here's
And
the
I'm
thing.
gonna, folks. Trust
Here's
me.
the thing. We are all here for you.
We are, really.
And
Yeah, we're doing this for you guys.
Spit
Not.
it out, dude. For
I mean,
fuck's
we just
sake.
turned the camera on. We'd be doing this anyway, but.
Let me finish this.
No,
We
we're
were gonna sit and drink anyway.
We're gonna save the dildo story for another time.
All right.
We're gonna record this later. But what I want to say is that
We'll hold that.
there's a lot. I'm gonna throw that at you. Why would you do that?
At his
Well, you
face.
said
Throw
dildo,
it
I
hard.
know.
Throw it hard at his face.
No, it's been a long night. We've had a
Wow.
long week. We've had a
Red
good
like
time.
Green
We drank a lot of
Day.
booze, but
Fucking Green
you know
Day.
Put
what?
that arm up and down, man.
We're
Put
gonna
that arm
go
up
hang
and down.
out and we're gonna talk amongst ourselves. Y'all shoot
Yeah.
straight. Have a good night.
Hey,
Emery, end it.
hey, keep listening.
I'm gonna give you a teaser.
Nope. It's
We're
done.
gonna record the
Emery ended
story.
it.
Hold on, shut the
No,
fuck
we're
up.
gonna do
Look,
story time.
we're gonna-
No, I'm gonna give a
We're
teaser.
gonna fuck some
Story
shit
time.
up.
Right?
The teaser for the story time with Carl.
We're all nicey nice.
Before you kids.
You what?
You prick.
All right, so seriously, dude, we'll do it for like story time someday.
We-
but you got to tell me this.
So I know I gave you kind of the highlights this the other day. So here's the whole story of this is this shit.
You knocked the dude out with a frickin' dildo.
I knocked this motherfucker to the floor in a gun shop with a dildo. So the real story is this: I worked in a gun shop in Fort Lauderdale in like 1990, I don't know, fucking 2 maybe. Hurricane Andrew had hit Miami Homestead. The guy I worked for had a gun shop in Homestead.
That also sold dildos.
Next door to it was a porn store. When Hurricane Andrew come through, it destroyed the porn store. It didn't touch the gun shop. So roof, glass. Somebody had tried to pull the doors off the front.
Dildos floating all over.
They were all over the parking lot. Dildos, videos, magazines, shit that couldn't be identified. I wasn't there at the time, but shit that couldn't be identified. So the guy I worked for, his name was Grumpy. He owned a gun shop in Fort Lauderdale and one in Homestead.
Grumpy.
And of course, as soon as the winds die down, these guys run out to check on the gun shop.
Yeah.
They're very worried. It's a gun shop.
Of course, really.
They pull up, and the parking lot is covered in all, every device you could imagine out of an adult store. The doors are still in the gun shop. Somebody had tried to rip them open.
Yeah.
But they didn't get in. So they check on the gun shop. Gun shop's cool. They post a guy. He stays there. And, of course, what do these dudes do? They go through the parking lot and they start picking up party favors.
Yeah.
So one of them, which was about that long, say, yay, fucking.
I know you hold your hand by your mouth while you do
No, I
that.
did not. I held it way far away.
But you were working it towards
I
your
was-
mouth.
well,
like that. Yeah. Okay.
It was about that long. Had a handle like a nightstick on it. Like it had a grip. I mean, like a PR-24, dude. It looked just like a fucking.
So this was like a crew serve device.
It could be crew served, all right.
Okay.
It makes its way back up to Fort Lauderdale to the store there.
Yeah.
And when I start working there, I'm behind the counter one day and I find this fucking thing and I'm like, what the fuck is there?
It's a gun store.
It's a gun shop, military surplus.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm like, why is there
Why
a
is
dildo
there
back here?
yeah.
And they tell me the story. And I'm a bit of a jokester, prankster. I like to make people laugh.
Yeah.
I like to make people cry if that's what their thing, whatever. But I like to fuck
Yeah,
around
yeah,
people.
of course,
If you're my friend and I'm fucking with you, I like you.
Yeah,
If I'm
exactly.
not fucking with you, I don't like you.
Yeah.
So I find this dildo, and this thing's enormous. I'm like holding it, going wobble, wobble, and it's a wobble, wobble, back and forth. And I kept it behind the counter, and regular customers I would fuck with. Like, if you came in the shop and you're leaning on the counter and you're just talking to me, if you're not paying attention, you're likely to get slapped in the mouth with this fucking thing. God forbid you yawn. I'm going deep. And I had this one customer, Harold, who was a Cuban. I fucked with him. He hated that fucking thing. So one day, I worked with a guy, another dude. It was just two of us in the store. We sold surplus in the back, guns in the front. And this dude comes in our store. We had a big sign on the door. You got to remember, this is like 1992.
Okay.
Maybe 3. We had a big sign on the door that said, no concealed weapons allowed in the store.
Yeah.
We're a gun shop.
Yeah.
And so this dude comes in, me and the guy I work with, we're standing behind the counter, we're just shooting the shit, doing what we do. This guy walks in, he looks at me, makes eye contact. And as soon as you came through the front door, there's a little partial wall full of holsters, all kinds of holsters. And he walks up and he's looking at the holsters. And me and the guy I work for, we're just shooting the shit, doing what we do. And the dude turns around from the wall of holsters, he looks me in the eye, he raises his shirt, and he grabs a handgun. And my brain went, holy fuck, oh shit. Mm-hmm. Now I'm wearing a gun,
Yeah.
but behind our counter we had pistols in holsters just all the way around. Yeah, I mean, all you had to do is this and you get one.
Yeah.
He's walking towards me as he draws his handgun. And I'm looking right in his fucking eyes, and my eyes are this fucking big around. It's early 90s.
Yeah.
I'm very young. I hadn't been exposed to much of this shit. But I knew that there was a Smith & Wesson 38 in a holster right here. And I'm looking him in the fucking... I'm looking right at him like this. And I reach for that 38. And I close my hand. And I look over. And I'm holding a big fucking dildo. like no shit dildo. Like the one from fucking Homestead. And I look at the dildo. And I look up. And now he's on the other side of a glass case from me. He hasn't said nothing yet, but he has a gun in his hand. We're in a gun shop. Now, a week before this occurred, the gun shop across the street from us had been robbed. The guys were tied up in the back. They beat the dog shit out of them and robbed the store. Fresh in our heads.
Yeah.
And so when I close my hand and I'm looking at him and I look over and I see a dildo, I'm like, fight with what you brought.
Yeah, exactly.
And I hit this dude in the side of the fucking head with this big fucking dildo. Like, as hard as I could. It sounded like dropping a steak on the floor. Slap! And he goes down. I jump over the fucking counter. The dude I'm working with jumps over the counter and he shoves a 1911 in this cat's mouth. And he's trying to scream, no wait, no wait. But it sounds a lot different when there's a Colt 45. Yeah, exactly. It sounds a little different. I take his gun from him. And Bill takes the gun out of his mouth. And he's like, I'm a security guard. I'm a security guard. I'm like, motherfucker. I'm holding the dildo still, too. And I'm like, fucking sign doesn't say no concealed weapons unless you're a security guard. Sign says no fucking concealed weapons. And I'm shaking a fucking dildo at this cat. And he's like, what the fuck did you hit me with? I'm like, fucking duh. And this thing's just wobble, 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 all bouncing around and shit. And he's got a red welt, dude. Like, I mean, the brightest red raspberry that runs from like his ear literally to the corner of his mouth. Because when I hit him, I came up low. And I hit him like this. I mean, just fucking pow! With everything I fucking had. And knocked him to the fucking ground. And when he asked me, he's like, what the fuck did you hit me with? You know? And I'm like, this motherfucker, tell your friends about it. Like, beat this motherfucker to the ground with a fucking dildo.
He probably doesn't tell that story.
I bet he don't tell that story to no fucking body. I bet no one outside of the people I've told, which are a lot, has ever heard the story. And so we take his gun. My partner takes it in the back of the gun shop and takes it, disassembles it. I mean, like, knocks the pins out. Like, we disassembled this cat's gun. And it was something like a Lorson or a Jennings, some kind of piece of shit gun.
Yeah.
And we put it in a plastic bag and we tie a knot in it. And we walk him out to the parking lot. We're like, open the trunk of your fucking car. And he opens his trunk and I drop this bag in. And it sounds like broken glass hitting the fucking trunk of his car. There's so many pieces in there. And I'm like, don't ever fucking come back here. I don't want to ever lay eyes on you fucking again. And the fucking kid leaves. And I felt kind of bad about it, but who the fuck walks into a gun shop, pulls up their shirt, grabs a gun, and draws? Look at a motherfucker in the eyes as he's walking towards you. That's one of those
Operation bad idea.
Operation fucking terrible goddamn idea. Because not only did it, I mean, because he said, I'm just looking for a holster for my gun. I'm like, motherfucker, sign says, I'm holding a dildo. Sign says no fucking concealed weapon. And I'm hitting him like in the forehead with it. It was a bad, but later, of course, naturally, once we get him out of there, me and the guy I work with, we're behind the counter, like doubled over, pissing ourselves laughing. We are laughing so fucking hard. I thought I was gonna fucking die. I mean, how many times do you get to take a dildo with like a PR-24 handle, like it had a sculpted handle, and just, I mean, and hit a motherfucker as hard as you can, and knock him to the fuck. Well, that's the other side of it. So this thing's behind the counter the whole time, and I would fuck with regular customers. Like I said, if you're at the counter and I know you, and you're somebody that I deal with, and you're talking to me and not paying attention, you're very liable to get slapped in the mouth with this fucking thing, or if you fucking yawn or some shit, I'm gonna choke you with it. It was a known thing to the regular customers, and I had this one Cuban customer, Harold, and Harold, if you're watching, God bless you for being here. But second, you know how many times you choked on that fucking dildo. This motherfucker, he would bring me in Cuban coffee. He introduced me to it, and it's one of my favorite things in the fucking world. This cat introduced me to it. He shows up one day. He's got this little Dixie cup, and you know what creamer comes in? Those little plastic cups.
Yeah.
He had a stack of those, and he's like, "Hey, have you ever had Cuban coffee?" And I was like, "Nah." He's like, "You want to try it?" I'm like, "Yeah." So he pours me one of those little, literally a creamer cup, and he hands it to me. I'm like, "What the fuck am I gonna do with it? What's this, a coffee shot?" And he's like, "Oh." He's like, "You've never had this before, have you?" And I'm like, "No." He's like, "Sip it." And I'm like, "It's fucking coffee." And I just downed it.
Yeah.
Cafecito is some shit.
Yeah.
That is some shit. And Harold and me, we got to be really good friends. He was straight out of Mariana boat lift. Like, that's how he got here.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, this is in the early 90s, like 92, 91. He drove a white Dodge Diplomat. He wore uniform shirts that had the 2 holes for a fucking badge in it. I don't know what the fuck he did for a living. I never really found out. But me and him one day were going to buy ammo from a supplier in South Florida. We're in his white Dodge Diplomat, this Cuban-ass motherfucker with his uniform shirt on, and then me. And we come up to a stoplight, and there's police. They've blocked the entire intersection, and they're pointing all the cars to the right. They're telling everybody to go right. We come up, and they go like this. So Harold just does what the cops tell us. We drive into this neighborhood, and there's more cops pointing, and we drive down, and eventually we stop because there's a fucking armored car sitting in the middle of the road in front of a house, and there's fucking cops everywhere. And the armored car raises its ram and drops it in front of it, rolls up and punches the front door. And the goddamn entry team goes in, flashbangs are going off and shit, and me and Harold are sitting there going, huh, that's pretty cool. And they drag all these dudes out and they're handcuffing them in the front yard, and we're sitting in the middle of the road just watching this shit. And they're handcuffing all these dudes, and I'm like, I'm sitting in the passenger, I'm like, hey, Harold. He's like, what? I'm like, we should probably go at this point. We should probably just get the fuck out of here. And after, we literally, they dragged like 7 dudes out. They fucking, no shirts, shorts, weird shit. They cuff all these dudes up, and finally Harold's like, yeah, I think that's a good idea. So he starts driving away, and the cop just points. And we drive the fuck out of this scene. We rolled up, watched a felony takedown, house search. They banged the front door, flashbangs are going off and shit. They're breaking and raking windows, and me and him are sitting in the street going, I'm like, this is pretty fucking cool. What the fuck is this? And he was the dude more than any fucking body. He hated that dildo. He fucking hated it. And he knew it. And he knew it was there. He knew every time he came to that fucking store, if he wasn't paying attention, he was going to get hit in the fucking lips with his goddamn dildo. I had so much fun at that shop. It was great. But yeah, I actually beat a dude to the ground with a fucking dildo. That's pretty epic. I relish that day.
Someday we've got to share it with all the monkeys out there.
One of these days we'll tell the story.
One of these days
I want to say a huge thank you for, number one, getting me onto that plane.
Dude, we had a good time.
Being able to film you, Nick, really
the jump command.
For me, filming Nick for you. I know it was a short shot, but I got him in that fucking moment. And you were, dude. You were like a boss. I could see you crossing the coast to Normandy. You're on your hands and knees. You're looking out that fucking window.
Looking out the
You look back and you yell, "This guy's 6 minutes!" And you're in that fucking uniform. You know how surreal that shit. I'm a history buff. I love fucking history.
Yeah, me too.
And to see you dressed like that, and all those guys standing there holding them fucking static lines.
It was cool. It really was. It was. Cool.
It was beyond cool. It was. That's a life moment for me, for people like me. That was a moment that I couldn't pay for. I couldn't ask for. But you get me on that, and that plane flew 3 rounds in Normandy.
Yeah.
It flew fucking Market Garden. It flew the fucking Berlin airlift. Mm-hmm. That shit. You're stepping into history.
Yeah.
To think of the men that climbed those steps and went up in that plane and sat on those seats and that's humbling to me.
Good deal, bro.
And to have for you to get me on that dude.
We had a good time.
It was so much fucking fun.
We had a good time.